going on, YouTube chat? How we doing today, guys? We're live on Twitch and YouTube right now. We got FNCS NA Group 2 qualifiers. And just a few minutes, really. But this round is really crazy because it is the most stacked NA round. This is how you qualify for the grand finals, which is that big old FNCS tournament, if I can find it. Is this it? No. Okay. I don't know. But it's the big tournament where you win hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this is the qualifier tournament today for the big FNCS tournament, which is grands, where you win all the money. So if people do bad today, they won't be able to win any money in FNCS because they won't qual. So it's a very big deal. We got pretty much every pro you can think of in NA playing today. So it's going to be some very stacked lobbies. It's starting in, like I said, just a couple minutes. We're just going to play a quick game of ranked and then probably skip some of the yapping that they do in the beginning of the I can't speak. Oh my god. Broadcast. We're going to skip a bit of that yapping and then we're going to watch the live event. Or not live event. Oh my god, bro. I'm all over the place right now. I'm sorry. I gotta drink some tea or something, man. But this is like the mini live event here. It's starting to really come together. We got the live event this weekend. But yeah, we're gonna watch FNCS very shortly. Peter isn't playing. Yeah, there's a few pros that aren't playing, but most of everyone's playing in terms of like big name teams. This is gonna be for a YouTube video? No. I'm not doing any YouTube videos today. Just streaming. It's not today, the live event? I don't know. I've seen so many people say the live event's today. I've seen so many people say the live event's this weekend. I've seen so many people say it's tomorrow and Tuesday, and I really don't know. But we're at like stage 4 of whatever the heck that purple thing was, so it's coming together, you know. We got stuff going on. I'll definitely be live for whenever the live event is. Why is Peter not playing? He already qualled. Ah, this is a terrible inventory. Come on now. That's a little better. Hold on, I can work with this. Okay, double grenade launcher is crazy. Come on. I need one sentinel pump, please. It's so hard to get a sentinel pump nowadays. It's like getting a spaz and reload. What? Oh, it's in the... What the heck? Oh, you're not real. I'm dead. Oh my god, didn't shoot. Are you serious? He sold. Oh my gosh. No way, I just killed him with a gray outlaw. That's crazy. Let's go! GG. Tony just started. Are they doing the yapping stuff or are they starting the first match? Because I don't want to go through all the yapping unless you guys want to. You guys complain every time I show the yapping on stream, so. Anyway, let me check. Hold on.
We're gonna be so excited.
They're yapping. The first game starts in like 5 minutes. So do you guys want to listen to the yapping or what? It's up to you guys. Oh, finally. Yo, Jake with the $5 thing, man. Love videos, bro. Thank you. W Jake, bro. Appreciate the 5. Thank you. W5. It means a lot to me, bro. Hang on, I gotta focus. 31? There's no way that didn't pre-fire him. Oh no. I was unreloaded. Oh, don't take my loot. Oh, you're actually messed up for that. He didn't take the loot, okay. He's just sitting right above me. What is he doing? There he is. Out of here. Goofy? Goofy, come on! Come on, come on, come on. I'm cooking, dude. Gray only inventory? I got it. What, he thought he was gonna do a sneak attack? That's crazy behavior, man. Even for ranked kids. Halo Peter is group 2. I don't know. You guys keep saying Peter's already played. I've literally had, like, I kid you not exaggerating, over 100 people tell me that Peter's already played and that he was group 1. I don't know what to believe anymore. Half you guys are lying to me constantly. I don't know, man. I just know that Clix is playing this tournament and pretty much every other big NA name. So it's going to be very stacked. That's all I know. That's it. Everything else, I couldn't tell you. Hi, hello. What's up, bro? When I got live on YouTube, I'm live on YouTube right now. For whatever reason, I'm like shadow banned right now on YouTube, and the noties are not going out to anybody, bro. It's really weird. Yeah, we're live on YouTube and Twitch right now. It's probably because I haven't been uploading. I need to upload more to get back in business, you know. The game started? Has it? Let me check. Nope, game 1's in 9 minutes, guys. So I'm gonna finish playing out this match. Unless you guys want to listen to the yapping, it's up to you guys. But, like I said, usually everyone complains about the yapping, so. That's a lot of yapping, yeah, it is a lot of yapping. It's up to you guys, though, I don't care. Was there a storm by your house earlier? Nope. It's been chill all day. Oh. I didn't even mean to buy those. Just bought random medkits for no reason. The next person can take them. Alright, is there anyone I can key here? I just want to like hop in some boxes real quick, you know? See if there's any extra loot over here. Usually if the kid gets the mythic shoddy, they'll drop like a purple or green or something better than what I have now, right? No, I'm already max metal. Nothing. Wow, that's kind of surprising. Yeah, that's kind of surprising, bro. Unlucky. Unlucky. Why don't you go live on Twitch? I'm live on Twitch right now. HaloBT on Twitch, HaloBT on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube and Twitch every day. Yeah, I know, guys. Yeah, I know. I'm going the opposite way of circle. Maybe all these kids just rotated early and made surge bases. You never know. FNCS is in 5 minutes. Yes, sir. Who you guys got winning today? Or like winning the qualifiers, you know. Who do you guys think is going to qual? Who do you guys think isn't going to qual? Let the videos keep going. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Not every day. No, I'm live on Twitch and YouTube. Every time I go live, pretty much. There's like a few exceptions every once in a while, but... Nah, if I'm live on one, I'm always live on another. Oh, big pot, finally. Been waiting, bruv. Top 17, still haven't seen anyone. What do you guys think of the McLaren, by the way? I feel like it's pretty tough. It's fire, in my opinion. The stars on the sides are kind of weird, but like, I like the gray. When are you gonna go live on Spotify? Ain't no way. I'd have to think about that one. Should I drop baseball bat? This is kind of crazy, but I'm doing it. Hey guys. Oh, I would have stole that too. That's kind of rude, don't you think? GG, bro. Oh my. GG. Oh, this kid was rich. Oh my gosh. But he had everything in the lobby. 8 Dilbits? Oh, nah. Thank you for the loot, bro. Appreciate the supply drop action. Is this thing any good? It's exotic, so I'm assuming it's good. What does it do? Does anyone know? I've never used it before. Hey. Ah, this is a pretty nice inventory. First game on, unwarmed, we're cooking like this right now. Ooh, that's a nice Lambo. Aventador Countach. Let's go for 2 mil. IRL. It accelerates, it shoots faster. That's nasty. That is disgusting. I feel bad, but at the same time I don't. I just nuked him. Oh, yeah, the Midas drum gun. Alright, let me hide this so people don't pick it up. I'll pop another bob in a second. Alright, GG. GG, GG. Drink some more coconut water. Chat, FNCS started yet? I kind of want to finish this match. I'm top 10. No, we got 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes to end this match before the first game begins. I gotta get some kills. I don't know where everyone's at, but we'll find them. Come on, ranked game. Let's speed up the progress a bit. Yo, cool vibes for the $5. Thank you so much, cool vibes. Nice content. Thank you, man. W cool vibes. Appreciate you, bro. W5. You are not real. Are you serious? Riz? I'm gonna be honest, I just rizzed that guy up. He sees the medallion. Okay, he's not coming out. Ah, man. These are always the kids I'm fighting against in ranked, bro. I'm just gonna sit in a trash can and get top 10. And then he's gonna be Unreal Ranked even though he can't even do a single edit. Cringe. Jump gun's so much better. Nah, bro, I feel like this thing's better. I mean, I've used this for all of 30 seconds and I like it more than the drum gun. Just being honest. It accelerates. I mean, like, is that not stupid OP? It's like a legendary hollow twister that shoots faster, and then doesn't it give you the pepper effect, or is that my medallion? Nah, it gives you pepper effect. Yeah, like you can't tell me the drum gun's better. Should I just kill this dude? I might as well. Like, come on, that's pretty OP. That was a slow reload though. Dude, FNCS is gonna start while I'm still in this match. Chat, would I finish the match and like miss out on a minute or two of FNCS? Or what? What do you guys think is worth? Oh, he just cooked me. That was so rude. Are you serious? What do you guys think is worth? Oh my god. He's everywhere. FNCS is starting? Yeah, I know. Do I finish the ranked game and get a win, or do I back out? Because I pretty much win this if I just finish it out, you know? Okay, someone killed. What? How'd that not hit him? You were one shot. Oh my god. Get back here. Oh, don't be annoying. Don't be annoying. You are so annoying. Oh my gosh, you're not real. These are the ranked players I fight against. Unreal Ranked lobbies, by the way. Alright, chat, do I back out or no? I mean, I could just sit in a box. I don't know, man. I just have such a good inventory. I kind of just want to get a free win, you know? They're just yapping, are they? Nothing much is happening. What just hit me? What the heck? Alright, I'll try to W key these kids as fast as I can, okay? If I have to die to end the match faster, that's what I'll do. I'll just brainlessly key kids. Oh, let me reload this first. Let's not do that. Don't run. What? GG. No, I reload and then I W key the other kid. Hold on. I'm gonna end this match fast, chat. Okay, we're gonna go quick here. Give me that, bro. I swear there's a kid over here. What just happened? You're not real. You're not a real human. You're not a real human. There's no way you're a real human. That kid's in champion rank, chat. Top 4. Has anything interesting happened in FNCS yet, or are they just fighting off spawn slowly? Hurry up, I know, I'm top 4, man. These kids are all camping. This is Unreal Ranked, though. I want to get a free win here. Let's just sit in a box and then tab out. Alright, I don't think they're doing... Yeah, nothing's really happening. We'll be able to watch mid-game, no problem. I don't see this match lasting that much longer. Chat, where do you guys think the last kids are hiding at? Pretend like I'm fighting, get someone to shoot at me. This is not real. Yeah, someone's definitely on this island. See what I mean? These kids are not real. What? Oh no, you're not hitting me with that. Did you seriously go? He went back in the bush! Alright, here we go. The match is about to end. These two guys found each other. My guy's tops. I don't know how you phased down with it. It's like I have a pre-fire macro, bro. I don't mess up. It's kind of funny. Ooh. Dude, the movement's really messing me up. Let's make this quick. That's a little bit of fall damage. Let's go! Alright.
Team, I am enough. Just trying to hide out here and might not be long.
Little 11 kill win action. Let's go. That was a good match. First game on unwarmed, bro. I think I'm starting to get unwatched, chat.
Can't be a player under there.
Alright, we didn't miss much. We're top 88 right now. No one's really died.
So out of place for that cone. That's actually good for them because this is typically how they get their surge. Whiffy, they usually find themselves up there getting surge tags, but now with a contested fight just towards
let me double check.
Oasis that's just southwest of where they land, they're able to get
I'll make sure I'm
into
in
the
an
action
infinite
much
box fights
quicker.
match.
You gotta give Rise all the credit. Crashing on the Aptos guy, winning a 1v1, and being able to solidify that third elimination, going to show that IGLs this season are going above and beyond their typical role in a lot of these games. You're seeing it from Rise here, and we might even see it from Yamzo, uncontested. They're going to continue to play their game out as you see a third party trying to sneak up the side of the mountain. Powerless and their teammate were able to kind of spot that one out, and that's the biggest thing. When you have that amount of elevation on the side of a mountain, I feel like you should never get snuck up on.
Yeah, definitely. And Frag here almost has this whole thing go bad, and there's actually trios on both sides. One's going to go ahead and bail out, using the Ice Gauntlets to go ahead and re-maneuver here. Not looking too hot for Azteca Civ, but he seems like he wants to stick around and play for some tags. I don't blame him, right? This is your opportunity to go ahead and find some of this surge damage while you have the opportunity to. The other trio.
Are you watching this FNCS, guys? What do you mean, what am I watching?
Here, Jacob.
It's in the title.
Like they're content with giving it up. Talk about teams.
I'm sad right now. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Hopefully the stream will make things a little bit better.
Carillion and Northern looking to do the same.
Yeah, just playing this one very, very slow. They know that team has to come down eventually for the most part. I know they're just barely outside of zone on the top of the mountain.
So I'm trying to keep it with chat. You guys are yapping today, bro. I'm like, I'm struggling, bro.
Hoping they make a mistake.
I'm still a little bit washed up when it comes to streaming.
They know that's going to be a huge important rotational tool if they do want to take it. Especially you see, there's no kneecappers, there's no gauntlets in this inventory. But luckily for them, they don't even know how blessed they just got going down the other side of the mountain. That means Carillion, Hound, and Northern are not going to be able to get that sneaky play that they were looking for. But they gained the position on the top of the mountain. That's
yeah, they got positioning
to kind of assess the situation of how many players are actually in and around this location.
And look, they actually have no idea. Now they figure it out, like, wait a second, they're gone. And, hey, they're going to tail them, which I still think is pretty decent because, yes, if they get to this this edge here, you know, this is free tags here lining up. We'll see if they end up 3-2-1-ing a singular target.
Oh, we got Booga. Booga and Threats.
But all eyes on Threats. Booga here. And of course, Rapid. I just really didn't even expect Rapid to become a part of this team. This is one of those, you know, pickups.
Rapid, Booga, and Threats have placed top 10 in 86% of their final games, but haven't won yet. That's crazy.
Of a player
so they make it endgame a lot, but they just can't clutch up the win.
Tons of firepower and.
But to be fair, it's consistency that wins tournaments, not necessarily just getting the wins.
Percent of their attempts, so far very, very consistent. I think actually the most consistent as far as top 10 appearances of any trio here on the evening. So the likelihood of them going straight to finals is there. But look at this, Jacob. We get to continue that action here. Northern, Hound, and Carillion, they just couldn't let up on it. They wanted this fight. They know they need the damage, and they already found the elimination.
Yeah, that first one was kind of like taking candy from baby. Completely picked him off, going through the open water. Remember, there's really no mobility, no kneecapper, no Sub-Zero gauntlets to go ahead and create that distance. So they're just kind of stuck right now in this 3v2 position. But so far, defending off well, playing defensively. Hound not getting the confidence to move in just yet. Probably listen to the huge cues from his teammate Northern and Carillion, waiting for one of them to really break the mold open and try to stretch in. And you can see they're just doing what they can on the other side. When you're in a 2v3 situation like this, you cannot take any free damage. If you put yourself in a situation, you got to be sure of it. And right now, that would have been a good 2v1 opportunity if they wanted to push it, but they just don't know exactly where everybody's at.
Yeah, it's kind of box fights are really hard to do, bro.
New names here,
especially in trios.
These are players fighting for their first
and then once one person gets knocked, the whole trio's
dead,
bro. Almost every time. It's kind of crazy.
Yo,
Exotic with $1. Thank you, Exotic. Appreciate you, bro.
This type of territory, it's big players, it's big fights, and it's big names here.
Exotic.
Action happens everywhere, and this is one of those ones where you could just tell that for Annonia, they don't know what just hit them, but they are putting up a wonderful fight here against this three-man team of Carillion, Hound, and Northern. And it seems like they've attracted the attention of another team from the upstairs, and Hound is going to be the first to fall by the third party. So, just showing you that anything can happen.
Yeah, that's Civ, Jairs.
Yeah, no one's in zone here, too. They're just all fighting this in Storm.
Quite a long time in this early game. They went off of that launch pad, and they immediately found this team fighting. Even with Northern still alive, it's just a sliver of HP, so a lot of the pressure is going to be on Carillion to stay alive as they get just a couple of quick shots, some damage, and the fall of one of the players early on. Querzy is going to try to get revived. That trio did not
Exotic with $1. Thank you, bro.
On this player, so they don't
know YouTube and Twitch, yes.
But they know somebody's there. 3v2, that's a huge advantage, and I think this is going to be an opportunity for them to stay on this. This is how they're going to get their surge, and it's almost needed at this situation.
Yeah, Jerry's Fire taking no chances there, utilizing that Chug Jug to go in and cap off here, allowing Azteca to go in and finish the job. You saw they had the gold rush effect from the splash too, so just such an advantage that they put themselves in here. And, you know, it was worth it, right? They
Yeah,
got
the
a
gold
couple
splash
tags
makes
on
an
the
interesting meta,
previous
bro, because
team
it's kind of
there,
like
and
Nitro
then
Splash in a
singular
sense.
elimination at the end of the day.
Because your
all
pickaxe swings
damage
so fast, especially in
starts to rack
trios.
up
If
here.
you're trio swinging into a box, bro, you're just
They're trying to hunt
clean like
for
butter
what's
right
left,
in.
but Carillion and Northern are already gone.
Yeah, I saw that. They were just, I think this maybe the second revive onto Northern. They don't have HP back here. They're splitting 7 bandages between the two. Luckily, they are able to find more, but this is just a tough situation to be in because now you're just playing for scraps. You're almost like hoping and praying you find a med kit or anything that's left over by any one of those teams. We're going to see if they can not only get themselves back into the game in zone, but if they can get their trio up later on as we switch on over to Brutal Boxcars. Freeze, TK, and Quanti. Kind of uncontested over here towards Brutal, and something that we've seen since this POI became the thing is how important this mountain is just outside of the POI. Not only is there a lot of loot, so if you are uncontested, you can kind of split the drop a little bit, but you know so many teams are going to rotate through and around that mountain, so that way they can try to get in zone, especially since it is pulling to the north.
Put a big shining light here onto Bucky, Okus, and Cam earlier today. It seems
There
like
we go, a
Cam's
little bit of surge
already
tags.
so things not quite going their way, but Bucky putting
That
up a
twin
great
mag
fight
AR
here
is
as he
so good, man.
kind of looks to
You're recording a vid
disengage
now.
right now.
I'm just streaming.
Why is the med kit off in the distance here? Has to make a mad
Yeah, I'm
dash
not
for
turning
it.
this event into a video,
Couple
guys.
moments left
There's
go ahead and
nothing to
pop
do
it,
for a
but no
video.
Sweat comes in just the nick of time here.
I mean,
That
I could do a
trio
HaloBT reacts
paused
video
up
though.
in the distance there, according
Reacting
to the map, so
to
they're thinking about the
FNCS
direction they want to
Grands.
take.
That could be a
Luckily for
video,
Okus
but
here, seems
that'd be
like
for
the
Grands
pressure is
though.
off, and he'll be one of the first to go ahead and get to this safe zone.
Yeah,
but
fair streamer, thank you, bro.
man,
Appreciate
not
that.
looking
Thank you
too
so
hot
much.
right now for this team here. We'll see if they can go ahead and bounce back. Can't count them out just yet, though.
What's up, Finley? How you doing, bro?
Meanwhile, for Sand,
Bucky, I thought he retired.
Xanda.
Nah, he's playing comp.
Envy here, they're below the surge. They have to go ahead and pick a fight here shortly. Seems like they do see Jake's team off in the distance there.
Oh, here's Clix's
Then we
trio.
jump
Hold
in
up.
with Clix,
Hold up, hold up.
In XZ,
They're doing some cooking here.
in the mix right now.
Little box fight action.
I'm sticking to their game plan from Lone Wolf to the black market.
Is the gold infiltrator even that good?
Nearby,
Have you guys used it?
along to try to get surge. They're only
I know the infiltrator got
102
buffed
above.
recently, so maybe
And with
the
some
gold
teams,
one's
they
all
fight feel
right.
pressure to try to get more and more.
I don't know,
This is a
I've
team that
literally
feels
not
more
found
and
a
more
single gold
comfortable when they're in this
infiltrator.
situation.
Kinda funny.
Josh is going through the mythic collateral AR in Clix's hands, proven to be very, very formidable weapon.
Yo, Exotic with the $2. Thanks so much, bro. Shout out to you, Exotic. Appreciate you, man.
There's a green light to go.
W $2.
And with one down, there's another one almost getting taken down as well. He's barely able to slip out, but surviving for just only a few seconds
they win
longer
this.
before Higgs and Yamgo.
They got that first
find
kill, all
second
they two are
elimination
weak.
out of the trio.
I don't know if they're gonna key though.
Going back to the basics.
Oh, they're gonna let them
hey,
dip.
You know
Okay.
what? Not worth putting it all on the line with the 50-50
Okay.
here. Decides to go for the quick heal instead, and luckily for them, they finished this fight before those third-party teams get situated and decide to make a push onto them. But this allows that one player to go ahead and get away.
Hiccups right now, bro.
Either way, it's going to swing them way up the damage
man.
threshold, given that they were only 99 above just previously. So they're in a great spot here coming into the mid-game. Meanwhile, Evan, Xanda, and Sandalit got into a bit
Did you
of a
notice
fight
that
here. Things are
X
slowing
signed
down on
Higgs?
all
Yeah, I
sides
saw.
right now. And
Definitely big congrats to him. He deserves it, man.
Not too sure where the
He's been
opponent's
grinding.
at. He's taking the risk of
But
walking
yeah,
and
I figured
sneaking
for
through the builds
a
here.
very long time they were going to sign him, so it's not very surprising to me.
Xanda takes advantage of the push here in the shield crack. He's on in.
Almost runs into him there, but
The best, thank you.
doing a job slow him down, but
Appreciate
Jake
you, bro.
goes down, so that slow play is only going to last for so long as they immediately continue to put that pressure on. 3v1 situation, zone moving in, and I think that player's finally going to go down. They're able to kind of clean up yet another couple eliminations, but off the top of the mountain, you see Selg, Sinetto, and Blake working their way over, taking control of the actual Brutal Boxcars position. And typically, I would say, hey, if you needed metal, this would be a good spot to
Elite
kind
with
of
the
pick up
$1.
any
Thank
bit
you,
of that
Elite.
material that
W
you might
Elite,
be
bro.
missing. But they find eliminations better because now they're getting material, they're getting resources, and they're getting position if that zone does pull off.
I'm gonna Twitch how to get HaloBT tokens. I just gotta watch the stream.
Right here.
You get them the
Violet,
more you watch.
Aaron and Nut right
If you're
now on the
following,
move.
if you're subbed, you get a
Great
bonus.
tags for Bila through the trees there.
Predictions,
Oh, this is onto
you can
Xanda's
get a
team,
bunch.
who, again,
it's
just
not good.
wrapped up that
Predictions
fight
are kinda
there, so
OP.
they're coming out a bit desperate for
But yeah, that's
wares,
kinda
and
the
one
idea.
of the few kind of
Jeremy with the
trailing
$1.
behind
Thank you,
as far as
Jeremy.
trio's
Appreciate you, Jeremy.
concerned. And this is definitely a team that has been in the finals multiple times before, obviously led by Bila. Looking to find their way to the finals right now.
They land over towards Flooded Frogs this game, so the zone helping a team like this and a bunch of the other teams that are landing towards the north side of the map overall. But you can see the zone pushing more and more of these teams in, away from the black market, outside of Magic Monsters. But when you hear a reboot, you're below on
they're
Surge.
farming.
That is almost a must.
They're below on Surge. They need to be
They're
weird.
able to get the knock on one, but they're still 182
They gotta
below
keep
the
that.
threshold, and now it's active Surge.
Wait, they can kill all these guys and not get enough still.
25 damage. They
Oh
need
my
to find
gosh.
more than just eliminations as they get a knock on another one.
They need
but
to
it's
get max.
still
Okay,
hurting
yeah.
them barely two
I was about to
above
say,
the
they need to get
damage
max Surge on
threshold
each
with
body.
two straight eliminations, Monster. They're almost
Oh,
feeling the
no,
pressure
man.
to have to go after this third one because at a second,
Hit a
they
max.
drop below 28.
60. I don't know if that's
They find
enough.
the third, and even then, after the elimination, they're barely
Oh,
above
man.
the threshold, so they know they're on the clock
That's
once
pretty
more.
bad, bro.
Sad part
That's
about
not the
it,
type of situation you
that
wanna
team
be
was
in.
also under Surge, so the Surge is like actively taking damage that could have otherwise been sent to the team there away from them, and it was just all around a net negative. Very tough spot to be in, but hey, there's a lot of players getting active right now. All hope is not lost. And speaking about that, Okus ends up picking back up Cam and Bucky here, so they're back in the game right now, but look at this rotate happening here. We have 4 trios on the move coming out of the same exact area of the floodgate here. This is all around
my.
questionable. Okus with a huge beam onto
Dude.
Fraggy AK. A quick
That mythic
shot
drum
right
is
there is gonna go ahead
actually
and give him
crazy, bro.
a huge damage lead, and not only that, I was gonna say
Dang.
potential elimination to come, but no, the team's
Just
there to
30,
go
30,
ahead and
30, 30 dead.
pick him up. Actually, I take it back. There it is. The Surge ends up
His
doing the rest,
controller.
it seems
Yeah, that's a
like, for
controller
this team.
player.
I think Okus
I knew
recognized
it.
there could be more chances here for quick elimination.
Is Peter bot in this? I have no idea.
But Jacob, what do you
Everyone's saying
think
yes and
about
everyone's saying no at the
these
same time.
edge
So
fights going
I
down
don't even know.
right
Half
now?
my chat's lying to me.
It's just
I don't know.
tough. It
I
almost
don't know
kinda
which
reminds
half
me
is
a little
lying to
bit
me,
of
but
last
someone's
week,
lying to
how
me.
slow and how impactful Storm Surge was. I know Vivid was breaking that down in the pre-show about how many players were
Sorry.
alive.
I'm taking my
And
shoes
that's
off.
the thing. When so many
Taking the
players
dogs out.
are alive early on
Gotta
the
get
game,
comfy,
that just
right?
increases the Storm Surge threshold tenfold.
Focus and
So
Cam
if
are
you're
both
not
controller
being
players. Yeah, they're
proactive,
crazy,
seeing,
bro.
even with 2 eliminations on Northern and Carillion,
It's good to see a
they're
good
barely
bunch
100
of,
above, so they stagger just
Go
on the
controller
edge
players
of the
popping off,
zone.
you know?
There's a lot of space for it to open up, but for now, this is where a lot of trios will find themselves trying to position themselves, and 20 finds himself the focus of it
Oh,
all.
wow.
Broken
That was
goes
a nice
down
pre-fire.
as well. This is not a great situation for a team that might not be the most healthiest
Can't
coming
even get
out.
that, though.
And
Oh,
even
no, he
with
got
them
it.
being the
Nice.
aggressors, Hound, Carillion, and Northern have garnered the attention of other players in the lobby.
Don't wanna get
Saw
lobbied
for a
here,
split
though.
second, they were becoming the focus until it all just slowed down and stopped.
You would have thought they didn't need that much damage, but just with how quickly things are kind of going back and forth there, it was important for them to find that elimination. And now look at this, they cap off on
Was
material.
that in the game or
They were looking a
IRL?
lot worse just a couple of moments ago, so all
That's
that
sort of
loot
weird.
comes crumbling down. I wonder if they ended up picking up 20's
That's a
team
really
there
weird
as
noise.
well. You saw he was just, definitely did a few layers above them.
Peter was in the
And
first week,
now
so
they have an
100% Peter
opportunity
is
to
not
go
in this
ahead and
tournament.
be
He already
super
qualified.
set for the end game here. This is just
100%.
game 1 though. Catching up with Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs here. 3 eliminations for the trio. Already digging into those very prestigious splashes here. Kind of early into the end game right now.
Yeah, you don't want to be wasting
Yamzo,
this.
Higgs, and Clix do look like they can use a refresh here.
Yeah, typically they're
I feel like they're a bit too split up here. I don't know, they got an interesting strategy going on.
The black market due to the lone wolf layer.
Alright, hold on,
that they're
Seth, I
able to
gotta-
get. You see him sneaking around, found
Gotta
that
fix
one on
my hairline, bro.
Deco, kind of saving Higgs from taking a little bit
not
of
looking
damage.
too
You
well,
saw
I'll be honest.
earlier on before that play kind of
cooked.
ensued. That Clix was a little weak as well. So Yamzo, the IGL. I'm talking about this season. I feel like
Alright, there we
Monster,
go.
a lot of the North American IGLs are taking it just another step further. They're becoming kind of side fraggers for their team, especially in those front tarps where they're able to take a
And now
lot
I'm
of
back.
position in the zone as it pulls all the way towards the north. A good chunk of the lobby has a short rotation, but I feel for those players that just got that max pool.
Yeah, definitely. Max Pool is nothing fun to play
Booga.
around with, but hey, if you got a knee capper, you should be just fine. And
I find it cool that
speaking of
Booga still
which,
competes.
Booga here, already.
I mean, he's technically still has the most earnings out of everybody.
At the moment, seems like they're trying to size
And
up
he's
their
still
next
going
pickup
at it, you
here.
know? I mean, it's been, what, 6 years of comp?
No,
He's
Elan's
still going
right
at it,
now
bro. Still
for
going strong.
Batman,
Gotta respect
Booga,
that.
Rapid, and Threats. Of the 3 big trios that we were keeping an eye on, this team here does have the, I'd say, about the lowest average elimination count per game. Just shy of 5 per game, so typically
You gonna watch
picking
FNCS
up more
tomorrow? I have
wins
no
towards
idea.
that
I gotta get some stuff
very
recorded.
last end game moment.
because I gotta start uploading more, right?
Sinetto and Sales, they're playing for high ground right
good
now,
games.
trying to set themselves up for
So
early
I don't know.
victory.
If I am gonna watch FNCS
We'll see
tomorrow,
if
it'll
it's
only
gonna
be
worth it
EU. I
going
won't be
for
able to do
Hyptus early, though,
NA.
Jacob.
So I
Yeah, they're
could
gonna get that
minimally do
knock on the
EU,
quantity.
but I'm not sure.
With everybody else having to rotate.
I really gotta
in,
get
they're
recording.
kinda hoping
I gotta
that
make sure I'm
they
productive
kinda
this
jump
weekend,
over
you
in
know?
that position. They're able to get the revive, especially if they do have some heals. Maybe a med miss smoke. Good resources will allow you to kind of make up for that blunder. Sinetto goes to the front side of zone. Him and Sales are going to reconnect. So Blake, Sinetto, and Sales, 8 zone monster. They're looking to take the high ground and hold on to it. But I look at their resources at the same time, and I'm almost getting a little worried. This might be a little too early, especially if somebody contests them in the next couple of zones.
Yeah, undoubtedly. That's an early time to go for high ground right there, especially with how much they have to commit. They are going to be in desperate need of a refresh soon, and they'll have to give it up ultimately, but not without a fight, of course. Quanti, TK, Freeze, they managed to get themselves out of that. Or sorry, Quanti, I thought 20 for a second. I'm like, wait a second, I thought he got taken out, but no, Quanti, TK, and Freeze very much situated here, looking for a refresh themselves. They need more material count. Love the little pre-edit play there. Doug doesn't turn into a pickup just yet.
I don't think Blake's gonna be able to hold
Wide
height
shot,
here.
giving us the bird's eye view, if you will. Muzz, Rising Jabco.
Yeah, no, Muzz is going for it, bro. He wants it.
They're breaking it out. They notice some weakness in the structure, and this team doesn't really have a lot of mats to keep
Wait,
this
they're
connected.
missing something.
I'm wondering the same
Yeah,
thing.
they're just gonna
look
crank it. They
back,
don't
they're
care.
like, wait, where is it connected?
Oh, maybe
it's
not.
still up. Sinetto was trying to
Oh, they're gonna
save
get it later then.
And realizing that we cannot waste too much time on this. The zone is now pushing us in. We have to rotate along with it. That's something
Yeah,
we
Muzz
can
is
check
definitely
out
more of a
later
high
because
player,
they've
so
already weakened the structure.
they get that, they
Down
pretty much
below,
win.
ultimate low ground, business as usual. Clixy, Yamzo, and Higgs. This is one of the team that have the utmost
Cooking, let's go,
confidence
boys.
to dominate the low ground every step of the way. 280 above the damage threshold, still able to hold on to those splashes, and they find a team. They're going to quickly move in, get some damage onto Aerial before they have to converge back on out. Yamzo is just keeping, you see him formulating the strategy, making sure to keep the team on the same page.
This is very impressive as well. Notice they've been only using splashes. No minis, no big pots, one chug jug, right? And they're making this work, taking very limited damage. However, they are in
Yeah,
this
they're doing a good
endgame
job on low
right
ground.
now. And it
They've
is
been
starting
practicing
to
a
go
lot.
down now. Sinetto, Blake, and Sales seem to be running out of gas
Oh,
on the high
man.
ground. Big name teams are starting to fall now. Quanti,
Yeah, you can't
TK,
res
and
them.
Freeze
This
down
is
to just
cooked.
32 total
Oh!
health here, working with
Oh
the
my
edge
gosh.
of zone on his tail.
Wait.
Forced to run his way through.
Wait,
and
wait,
he's
wait,
the
wait.
last alive,
Don't take a
which
storm
is
here.
so risky, but he needs the health. He's desperate for it and just trying to squeeze
Oh
out as many
man,
points
just
as
barely,
possible.
bro.
Meanwhile, a fight
Storm was
goes
right
on the
there.
high ground. Two teams trying to make a name for themselves right now, trying to see who can be the kings of high ground. Somehow Blake has just enough to stretch it out, but his resources are running down, counting down ever so fast. It's going to be a very important elimination for him, and they don't get it there, Jacob. It's not looking hot.
Yeah, it was Frogs. That was good, boy. They immediately leap their way down to the low ground, but down comes Blake. Sinetto's going down altogether from high ground to down.
Great
in
pre-ed play. Hold
shambles.
on.
The tables have turned, and they're trying to figure out
Clix's
which way
team
to
is
go.
stacked
That was
right now. They
fresh
might
out
get a
of
first game
Builds
win
using
here.
the Menmis to try to stagger him back, waiting for Sinetto to go
I don't know.
down.
Vbucks
Those
still
are
alive too.
very
Why does my mouse keep doing
important
this?
siphon mats for Blake, because now he's the last one alive.
And he's going to slide up. Blake jumps behind
Great
the team
play.
up for
Dang.
2v1. Talking about playing the cards on the table right
Holding
now.
that height, bro.
Really trying to make a big
That's a
play
solo.
here now. This is
He don't
desperate,
care.
though. It's giving the low ground teams time to
Bro,
fight.
what
while
does
the
this keep
high ground
doing?
Teams are
keeps
distracted.
teleporting my
This
mouse
is
to the
a
middle of my
perfect
screen.
situation for the other teams on low, but Frogs isn't here to give it up, and they do a good job maintaining it. But now they're just two
Higgs and
players
Yamzo died.
left
I don't know
on
if Clix
this
is still alive or
trio
not.
here. Meanwhile, in the low ground, Muzz, Rising Jabco, one of the only full teams that seem to be relatively healthy with material count, but the zone
Muzz's trio's
bounces back
chilling,
over the
though.
mountain, and that's going to work
I got that
against them.
chuggy juggy.
Jabco forced
Hold on.
into a fight here against Byla's team.
This might be a Muzz
who is
win.
also
Vbucks
now
just went
fully
down.
situated. Everyone's got their own layers, though, Jacob. It's going to end up crumbling here and now.
Yeah, they just immediately drop down to the low ground. They
hold
don't
on.
want to become the target from height or any of those players running
I
around
don't
in
know
that
what
mid
this is
layer.
doing, bro.
Double chugs, mythic pump. They have the
Sorry.
recipe for success.
Technical
But on the high
difficulties.
ground, Frogs, good boy. They have not looked back at this opportunity, and they have the pressure with the drum gun, trying to force those
Bro,
teams
what
down
is this?
below to exchange shots, and Aaron's going to feel.
Does anyone know what's happening? My mouse keeps teleporting to the middle of my screen. It's on my side monitor, and it
Damage
just
has been done,
goes
but
to the
they
middle
lose
one.
Yapko along the way. This might come down to a straight 2v2.
And Byla's just waiting it out. Byla healing in the zone, so a 2v2. Muzz and Rise
Oh my
have
gosh.
to clutch this one up, but Byla with the distraction.
Yeah, this is looking like a Muzz win, bro.
Frogs and Good Boy forced the fight. Good Boy charging up.
Oh, he's trying to hop.
Seeing if he can
He's
set
trying to
the
hop in with
flag,
that.
and he will.
Oh,
Send one
man.
and another.
He's griefing him.
Slide his way into the zone.
Rise goes down.
Damage down. And good boy. Good play.
No way he clutches
for
this.
the siphon here, but Muzz all really healing. I think he has enough to maintain it through to the end.
No way. It's either going to be Muzz or Good Boy over here.
Chug drops in just a couple moments there. Muzz now on
He has to hit a max.
has to come in.
He has to hit a max.
One shot.
They can edit.
With the wall block.
No, he choked that. Oh my gosh. Muzz with the absolute clutch there. Holy cow, that was sick.
Solo victories.
Well played, bro. Holy cow.
He is one of the best
I got Twitch
individual
drops.
players on the region.
Right, hold on.
It comes down
Let me
to
look at this real
1v1,
quick.
a fight that was really started and broken open by Rise, but he had all the trust in Muzz to finish that fight. When it went
Wild
down
card
to a
spray
key
and
lock, I
Hunter
don't even
back
think
blade.
they were worried
You gotta watch for
a
2
second.
hours.
And this was the path that
Sick.
they took to get there, dominating so many teams when they had the
I
chance.
got the drops on, so
taking
you
down
guys can
so
claim
many
them just by
players, and
watching my
those
screen,
final
dude.
resources were able to find
That's awesome, man.
chugs, empty or not, that was Muzz's key to victory.
What a close game there. Rise falling could have cost them all, but Muzz said no. Hold
Dude,
on,
it
I'm
keeps
gonna
doing
fight.
it.
And he
You guys see
finds
this?
the tag there. Wonderfully done.
What is my
And
mouse
a big
doing,
win
bro?
for Muzz. Japco and Rise now in game number 1. Zeke, what a game that was.
I don't know why it keeps doing it.
Muzz! This is why if you don't believe in Muzz, this should
How do I fix
prove
this?
to you that you should believe in Muzz. This is why he has titles in multiple regions, right? When you're back
Yeah, Muzz
against
is
the wall,
definitely a good
most
solo player, bro.
players wouldn't
You can
just,
count on
like,
him to clutch, you know?
super calmly, accurately, precisely go, that's where they are. I need to do this. I need to do this. And this is where I flip the coin. 50-50, you or me. In Muzz's case, it's always 100% in his favor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Game number 1. We get the victory royale.
He's
from
definitely clutch.
Yapko and Rise. And I'm just telling you right now, Yapko and Rise, if they were not popping off, I don't even know. I don't even know, dude. Muzz, that was sick.
I love it. This is exactly how we want to start Group 2 with Muzz, Rise, and Yapko coming out on top there. And you know those little hypothetical games that people play where, you know, oh, it's going to be like a horse-sized duck versus 10 duck-sized horses. Well, now we know that Muzz versus 38 million frogs, Muzz will actually come out on top there.
Oh my
So
gosh.
congratulations once again to Muzz, Rise, and Yapko.
That's a good
They
point
played
right
that
there.
So well, but
Muzz
down to
taking
the
out
final moments
48
there,
million
Vivid,
frogs,
I was
bro.
so worried, and then
Not
Muzz,
even
of course,
close.
clutches it out.
That's pretty impressive.
I mean, the final moments, right? Of course, we're going to highlight those, but controlling the low ground throughout the entirety of that end game, that's gonna be the highlight of the match for me, right? They just had full control over it. And honestly, I thought Clix, Iggs, Yamzo, they were going to be the ones that had control over it. No, they overcame them as a trio. Ended up coming down to that 1v1. Of course, Muzz is going to win that. Rise has already kind of hit socials. He was
The
like,
Twitch glitch is so
in
annoying.
and
Yeah,
out,
it's driving me
a little
crazy, bro.
smiley face
The mouse
after
thing.
that one. Game 1. The rest of the day is your guys' as a trio. What an awesome game number 1.
Man, I'm sad. I'm sad because that means we won't get to see them. Like, that's it. They're good. The next time we see them is next weekend in finals.
Yeah, they
I want to see
auto-qualled,
more
bro.
Muzz, Yapko, and Rise, but for them, now it's all about finals. How do we focus up? Where are we going? What's the plan? More on that next weekend. For now, though, we have to go to a break. When we return, we'll talk about what we saw out of game number 1. So, we'll see you soon.
W game, bro. We got game 2 in 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna quickly play some infinite box fights. Oh, the round restarted. Oh, interesting. It's bugged. Whoa. What did Fortnite do to my map, bro? What? Was that just the server? Come on, Fortnite. Don't tell me you cooked my map now. Yeah, it was just the server. Weird. What happened to that server, bro? My map's just fine. It was just... I don't even know, man. I'm not warmed up enough for this right now. What? Peace control? Peace control? Peace control? No way that hit 30. Chat, how much time do I got? I gotta hit champ soon, man. I'm still an elite on my own map. Kind of crazy.
Mouse is getting caught on
My desk. Oh my gosh. I hate when that happens. Oh, hi there. Chat, we're doing an update to Infinite Box Fights this upcoming week. Is there anything you guys particularly want to see on the map? Like, I mean anything. If there's an update you want, let me know, okay? It's kind of your last chance, because my devs are getting it done right now.
But man, a lot of things happened in that last game. Welcome. This is
Next match is starting.
If we're looking for the victory royale to make it to finals or to end the day in the top 5 in consistency. Let's talk about some of the things we saw in that last game. We got to start, of course, Clix, Iamzo, and Higgs. I almost said Batman Booga. That was close. I caught myself.
Bro,
they
clutch.
performed well in this last game. They ended 7th place with 5 elims, right? I like to see this kind of strong start. We go ahead, we get some momentum building, and over the next few games, rather, we aim for that VR. Maybe we just play for consistency. Either way, I'm happy.
Oh, yeah.
Combat
This
SMG
is
and
a
Hammer
pretty
Pump.
standard game for what we see.
I think we have both of those on the map already, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I would check the vault.
Sticking to the front of zone.
Well, I know we definitely have the Hammer
A little
Pump.
bit of a hindrance when you also have
Unless we
Muzz's
vaulted
trio
it.
on the edge of zone.
Actually, we could have vaulted
There was
it
a
in the last
moment there
update.
around zone 10, zone 11, where
50-50 on that,
if you
but
look
I think
actually
we
at the
have
front of zone, it's both
couple different
trios
SMGs that are really
neck
good.
and neck for each other. I believe Clix's trio was on the left-hand side, and just a few boxes over was Muzz's trio. But this, I don't think, is going to put a stall in their momentum whatsoever, Vivid. I think that this is just kind of, you know, what happens in the group stages.
I think what we'll do is
no,
make it so you get the
relatively
twin
speaking,
mag
so
AR
pretty
instead of the
game
hollow
out of them,
twister.
right?
Because I feel like the twin mag AR is a lot better this season.
Right there at 6.
What do you guys think about that?
place. Pretty decent game from them. Another
Thunder Pump already in the game.
trio that we should look towards. It's gonna be Booga's trio.
Did you guys
right?
already
Actually,
implement
not.
a rebirth system where you can rebirth that Unreal,
Crippen
gives you
in the
boost rank?
8th place spot. Booga
we haven't,
Rapid,
but that'd be
and
kinda
Reds also
cool,
keep
though.
themselves in the conversation.
That would be
there.
kinda
There's an
cool.
Incredible stat that was flown that mentioned, you know,
I'll see what my devs can do, but the thing is, we gotta be careful on like making the map too complicated with code, because the more code you have on the map, the more input delay will happen inevitably. So we're trying to keep the map as like a zero delay practice, but still having cool features like kill streaks and ranks and all that.
Trio, and something that I've noticed them do before is that they kind of like this second height, not necessarily.
There's no hammer
to
pump.
steal
Yeah, then we
height
probably
away,
vaulted it in the
but
last
I think that
update
they just kind of
because
like
no one
being
was
able
using
to,
it.
you know, take shots at the high ground,
most
but also
likely.
look
I don't
low,
know.
go for
I
those
forgot.
loot drops if they're
It's
able
been
to
a
grab
while.
it. So that's kind of just an interesting little tidbit that I've noticed.
But
from
we
Booga's
vault
trio
guns
in the past.
occasionally if we notice that no one's
I
using
love
them.
it. You can
so.
never count out Booga, right? He'll steal away those games, and I'm sure we'll see that happen in one of the 4 that remain. Another duo we saw in this game, Blake, Sales, and Soneto up on high ground. Let's go, Blake. Let's do more of that.
Hollow Twister is
Blake
not better
on
than the
high
Twin Mag.
ground
That's what I'm
there.
saying.
They
Twin
had
Mag is
it
better, bro.
for quite a while.
Because the Hollow Twister is the one that you spawn with in the box fights, and I was
jumped
thinking of
up at
changing it
once
to
and tried
the
steal
Twin
away
Mag.
from them. But really, what
'Cause
was
I think
surprising
most
to me,
people
Vivid,
prefer the Twin
was,
Mag for practice
his ability
anyway.
to take height once again. Blake lost Sonendo and
power-ups?
Sales,
You already had
but was able
power-ups.
to kind
You
of
get double
try
damage.
to go for height as a solo and have various
Kill streaks equals
degrees
double
of
damage.
success controlling high ground here. But still, to see that from Blake, I love to see it. I'm excited to see what they do in game 2.
Yeah, kind of the battle for high ground right there, right? It was honestly incredible. There was a team that was kind of playing that second height, and they were very, very distracted by the team trying to pressure them down. That team never ended up actually going down, continued to fight for it. And unfortunately for Blakeshire, right, they couldn't actually find any space to go find any refreshes, any time to go pick up some mats. Nevertheless, just ended up running out of mats, and Blake tried his best to kind of solo clutch and take that high ground back, did not end up working out though.
Yeah, let's just do it again, but this time let's just get impact, let's get refreshes, or just kind of save mats, right? Whatever that puzzle is, we just need to solve that, but it begins with the high ground, and I love to see that from Blake and his trio. With that being said, though, game number 2 is ready for us. Let's just jump right back into the action.
Get it.
Casters, take it away.
Let's get it, bro.
Things are heating up very quickly with a spot opened up. Shiny Shafts. That is a great spot, a great amount of loot that
was a good first
Muzz
match,
has
though.
just
Add new
unleashed
kill
to the
streaks.
rest of the lobby monster. And
Like
with 4
what?
games left, makes you wonder what change-ups will we have.
Yeah, and if you're the Western team that got taken out right away in the early game, you're pretty happy.
I had a code around the map. Whoever gets the first gets 10K Vbucks. That would be kind of cool.
Also get into the game, and this is what happens. The dynamic
Little secret
changes
action.
round to round. That's what makes these group stages very fun.
Add a nuke. Already have a nuke.
Shout out to Muzz, Javco, Rise. You saw.
Are y'all not playing the map, bro? Y'all are just saying the features we already have, dude. You're getting caught in 4K right now. Go play the map. Into the Box Fights FFA, bro.
All right, Jacob. Well, things are going to be heating up here.
Go check it out.
For the Major 2, game number 2. What a piece of action we just saw play out for game 1. Very fun start to the day. And, you know, sometimes I find myself in my head like, wait, I got to pace myself, right? We got a lot of Fortnite in front of us.
Nuke doesn't
when
work.
It starts to get
well,
good,
I mean,
it gets
yeah, it's a bit
exciting.
buggy. It works
We already know, though,
sometimes,
Jacob,
but
some of
that's
the
one of the things we're
reaction
fixing
to
on the
Games
next
Dojo is
update.
gonna be one of those
But you guys are
places
saying
that we wanna
add nuke.
focus
There's
in on,
already a
but
nuke.
We
It just
also got, of course, Nut.
1 out of 10
Very,
attempts.
Very close game for them.
It actually works. You know, like it bugs out a lot.
Yeah, right there. This is one of those teams in game number 1
It
that was
happens.
supposed to be contested, and already it seems like switch-ups are happening after a spot opens up. People are realizing who's dropping where. That might not be one that I would want to take as Vortex, Bacon, and Nerface. Kind of a pretty good performance in that last game, willing to fight for high ground, and this is a team that we're gonna have to be watching out throughout the course of the day. If you're brave enough, if you're confident enough to at least go fight a contested fight on high ground, even when you lose a player, a teammate along the way, you're still trying to contest for it. That's such a good sign of confidence, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do for the rest of the day. 75 points, 2nd place overall on the consistency leaderboard after that first game.
Gotta give them credit, and a very appropriate drop spot for them here at the Crime City. Going up against Azteca, Dave Reigns, and of course Jerry's Fire. So from game 1, this is a fight that actually broke out, and another team came in, and then they actually all disbanded. So they didn't get to finish that action there, and that was luckily, you know, in our favor. They gave us a wonderful game 1 endgame. Meanwhile, back on over to the Demons Dojo. Liam, Vivid G's, and AOKOD.
Just add a fake icon series skin of yourself? Dude, we can't do that. That's against TOS.
That
would be funny, though.
Who gets boxed up and forced out, but he puts up a great tag, at least does some damage before getting fully eliminated there. Nicely done for Proxy defensively, but him and his teammate are already down, and Tenya and Viper coming in for some visuals. Tenya just trying to disengage right now. Viper seems to have spotted the solo. He's looking around from that high ground saying, wait a second, where's your team?
It's like a huge difference, because remember game 1, it was very, very slow, basically splitting Demon's Dojo, going their separate ways. Hey, but when you have an open opportunity, you jump on a player from that trio that's just separated, out of position. Those are the opportunities you got to take, and here's another example of that. Blake Sonetto Sales, they see somebody just a little bit too far from their trio, from their liking. They get the full piece, boxes them up. and takes down their first elimination of this game. And that's big for a team like this that knows that they can play for high ground, and they may have went for it a little bit too early. 8th zone, they got overtaken.
I'm back.
To keep fighting for it, but these are little experience with how many FNCS finals Blake has achieved while being contested. I think this just starts to build his confidence game after game.
Yeah, definitely. Confidence is important. Going for high ground, still, there's lessons learned in those moments. And now I'm sure they're weighing their next game accordingly. Meanwhile, back on over to Bucky, Cams, and Okus here. We saw that at game 1, Cam was one of the early casualties before they had to find a way to kind of get them back in the game. And now here's a one takeaway from game number 1. At least it wasn't a 0-point game for them, right? They allowed themselves to at least get a foot in the door here. And if nothing else, they're still fighting for consistency.
Should I buy the backlash skin?
We all know here, this is a team that can surely win a game.
Is that the male whiteout skin, right?
Yeah, and
yeah, if you want to, it's pretty clean.
Of this team, Bucky's team with Okus, Bucky's team with Cam before in duo competitions. Now they bring it all together. They're moving their.
Is that the real Bucky? Yeah. Anyone in this tournament is the real person. You're not going to see any fake people.
Mythic drum gun right out.
These are all pros.
The only real question is the metal material. How much of that they're going to be able to get as a team, and where they're going to get their Storm Surge. Kelly said something earlier about Vbucks' team. It's because so many teams around that area are uncontested, which means there's going to be a lot of open space. So it's not going to be easy to come by as Clix, Higgs, Yamzo. They already
quick stat, they've qualified for 13 out of 13 finals this season and have never placed worse than 6th place. That's crazy, bro. They're consistent
on the other side. The full trio
is
going to try
good.
to take that.
This is a good trio.
Already on the move right now. I like what we're seeing from Clix.
Add an invisible power up. Nah, that would get annoying quickly, bro. The map's supposed to be for like competitive practice for like sweaty players or people that are trying to become a sweaty player.
Definitely the strongest team in the vicinity.
Adding invis would really frustrate people. I don't think many people would like that very much.
Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs didn't necessarily have a ton of damage, right? They kind of were forced into a fight.
An area we could spectate other players in the map.
Early action here.
Would you guys use that? If you guys want, we could add that, but I don't think many people would use it, though.
Because of that gold, that's what we're going to see. I expect maybe no less than 24 splashes, maybe even more total out of that trio once they do leave the black market, as we tune into Booga threats and a Rapid, and you're seeing how they spread out. And that's one of the things I did want to mention. Seaport, uncontested. It might be hard to get surge, but the way this trio actually plays, they make 3 different surge bases around this POI, so they can cover as much ground as possible, and they focus mainly on this black market because they know whether you're landing there directly or Mass Meadows or Hopeful Heights. Any at least of those 3
Who has the most experienced player today with 24 FNCS finals and a World Cup win?
Towards the north, so there's a lot of chances for them to start accumulating that surge. And that's been a consistent game plan for them all season long.
Definitely a great game plan all around, and what a W stat. Booga, the most experienced player in this.
Yeah, he's qualified for everything.
Here. You love to see it. Whoa, 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 now let's get back to some more experienced players. Freeze, TK, and Quanti not looking good for the team right here as some of the new blood coming up here. Ariel, T-Ram, and Rico are on the hunt right now. They've caught off one of the opponents here. Freeze, though, coming up with no shield. Still looking for the fight, trying to go toe-to-toe here. Has to be careful, though. Gets boxed in, and look at the mechanics out of Freeze. He somehow
remove fence and blocks division as delay. We did an update 4 weeks ago, roughly, that the fence doesn't block you anymore, and it doesn't add any delay. It's 0 delay.
So much advantage here.
It's purely aesthetic right now, but it doesn't block you anymore.
TK to find his tag, and he doesn't.
I had a lot of people request that we fix that because before, like, your camera would go through the fence and it would block you, and it was hard to play if you were on that side of the wall. But yeah, we got that fixed. It doesn't do that
exactly what they do right now.
Why are you not playing this? I don't have a trio. No trio, can't play. No FNCS, no trio, no FNCS. You know,
they've been almost a mainstay more times than not.
In the pro-ams, I was not invited. No,
I see this team in finals, and now it's time for them to really put the rest of the lobby on notice. They're not just a team that's taken part in these group stages. They're a team that you have to worry about because you can only imagine how they were able to open up that fight because Quanti and his team usually position up there to get surge.
Infinite Box Fights. We're talking about Infinite Box Fights.
Shots, some well-coordinated pushes for them.
The best box fight training map. Yeah, I know.
Basically just wipe the team and be able to kind of take that position for themselves.
Why not Pro-Am, though?
From one side of the map to the next, you see in this side.
I wasn't invited to the Pro-Am. Fortnite did not invite me. I can't do anything about it. I mean, like, you guys keep asking, but it's like, dude, I wasn't invited. It's an invite-only tournament. If I don't have an invite, I can't play, you know? Like, why wasn't I invited? I don't know. Ask Fortnite. I don't know. Maybe I'm not cool enough. I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't invited.
Though so carelessly for Casey, Frenzy, and Kill though. They're attracting another trio here on the eastern side. It's not Aaron and Byla looking to make a mark here, potentially looking for some big damage. Zip holding the high ground here, pushing some of the teams off just outside the shiny shafts. Sleeps and Gloom in a box fight right now. Doesn't even need Zip's support for a second there. They're just holding down the fort.
Yeah, just north of shiny shaft, so the Buzzrise Yapko no longer in the game. It kind of frees up a lot of that space, and where they would typically push teams to try to get Surge, you're seeing another team take that place on top of the mountain, just trying to put pressure down below. There is opportunities for two teams to third party this. You see them towards the north making their way in this location. They're out in the open on top of the mountain, especially with Zip weak. Could be a good opportunity to strike, but you see how on the other side, Gavin, All in God's Hand, and their trio is just kind of box fighting. They're trying to play to bait their opponents into a position that they feel like they have a good upper hand.
Gotta be careful though, as Vixie and Avenger are sneaking their way up down the outskirts here. God's Hands, Gavin and Monty right now looking to disengage off this fight. That was a good call, but no.
Dang, bro just got quad headshot dinked.
That miss comes down for the trio down low. Smart play. However,
holy cow,
the attraction is all in here. It's a three-man dive, and they get it just in time before the pickup gets to come through. And
what a good shot.
That, they clean them up, and damage has been done onto Zip and Gloom. Vixie Avenger have an opportunity here to jump in, but
it's a good amount of stuff. It's not like the biggest update ever, but it's gonna be a solid update. You guys will know when it's updated. It should be this coming week. I don't want to say everything because I want you guys to be kind of surprised by it. But I was just wondering if there's anything in particular you guys wanted added or taken away to make the map a good amount better, you know?
Because everything else is going to be sealed, and there's that opportunity. Did they see him? The cone breaks. The first shot can be fired onto Zip. Vixie opens up.
That rat stuff actually works, especially in trio tourneys. It's weird,
but he gets the piece, forces him
but
down
it gets the job done, you know?
To start off this fight, monster,
you need that free shot
exceptionally well.
I'm not gonna lie, King Vixie's kind of nice with it, showing us what he's made of, and nearly finds the elimination to really set the stage for himself. But they've given Gloom's team a little too much time to go ahead and recalibrate here. I think they recognize they have the numbers advantage too, and up Sleeps, he's going. Looking to continue to make a name for himself, and this is going way up to the top now. Surely
yeah, they're
the trio
cranking
down
this,
low.
bro. This should not be this high.
Down. You just can't resist.
They might get chopped.
If I had to guess, and they're pushing all the way through, so all attention is on Vixie right now, taking him ever higher. And then he finds Zip in the trade there, so Avenger with the finish and the takedown. It's a 2v2.
Yeah, if Avenger has any HP in his inventory resources, this might be a good chance for him to disengage, but he still has to watch out. He gets taken
this
down
team's
by
coming
Gloom.
to third party. Yep.
This is not
I was waiting for this, bro. They were going too high. It was a matter of time before someone noticed.
Effort from that duo. They're even able to get that elimination onto Zip, but they are able to spot out that third party team, making their way on up. And that third party team knows this is a good chance for them to fight this 3v2, but Sleps jumps off towards the edge. Hey, if anybody's going to stay alive, Sleps is hoping it's him, but their chase is on. Great damage is there, following up without not skipping a beat, but it gets stolen away. User on the other side steals away the points, even if they're not going to be able to get the loot.
And they're diving in. They're not looking to let this one go away. This is Frogs and the rest of the team coming on in hot right here. And I was about to give a lot of credit to Elush right there. The way that he made the comms to push for high ground, you knew he wasn't going to let that Elim slip away. And all of a sudden, it actually does. You can't account for a team lurking.
You should add Chun-Li party ups to the map.
Still at the shiny shafts, mind you. So
nah, y'all are crazy, dude.
Rotating in this vicinity here. Getting back over, though. Bacon and Vortex.
Ain't no way, man.
Give this one up right now.
It's supposed to be a competitive practice map, guys, not a sus
Seems
map.
personal though. Elush
24-hour stream.
Regardless of what.
If we can hit 2K viewers between Twitch and YouTube, I'll do a 24-hour stream. How about that?
Easy shots to that duo down
That's a pretty good deal. 2K.
Bacon, Vortex. and Nerface. A big game in that game, number
I'm
one.
just
Really
saying,
setting
it's not
themselves up
bad.
with a good amount of points. A
Make sure you guys hit that like
cushion,
button, man.
some would say, just in case things go wrong.
You guys want to check me out on
in
Twitch?
any
It's
of their
HaloBT.
future
We're live on
games.
Twitch
Since
and
they were
YouTube
able
right
to
now.
get the damage, they were able to get that elimination. They might be looking to disengage, take the little wins while you can, and just continue on with
Dude,
the rest
look
of
at
the
that
game,
tower
knowing
over there. Oh
for somebody
my.
that might not be in that same position,
Chilling.
getting that storm surge, they
It could
might
be live
be
tomorrow,
on the lookout
yeah.
and put themselves in a bad position having to fight for it.
Only factor I can think about is maybe they need more damage, right? Because clearly they're sticking around for a reason, and sure, they got the elim, so they get some points. However, that player was definitely super weak, so not much damage being accumulated there. Noxy, Mason, and Virgo, though, we didn't get to see much of them in game number one, as they only
Who's that
earned
medals in the map
3
so you can
points,
box
so
when
pretty
you're low in
tough
metal?
kickoff for them.
Nah, we can't do that. I'm sorry.
However,
We had medal on
chance for
Infinite Box
redemption
Fights
is here
when
now.
we not first launched the map, but it was a little bit
Yeah, they
later.
land all the way at the side,
And the
kinda
metal
towards the
became a
cap of
problem
Fat
because
Green.
people
They
would
just making
only
their way
build
up
in
the
metal.
eastern edge of the
And
zone,
so
and they kinda
the
beeline their way
whole
towards the
map
west.
would just be
Taking it step by
metal
step,
structures
via
everywhere.
broken.
You know what I mean? So you were just sitting there
21
chopping
above the
through
damage
metal
threshold.
constantly to try to
They
keep
have an
people,
opportunity with
and
a
it got
trio
really
down
annoying because it was
below,
max
just
metal. You know, it's
outside of
fully
mass
built
metals. They
metal.
have
So
to
you were
be
just
very,
chopping
very
and
wary,
chopping
though,
and
because
chopping,
there's
trying to look for
a
people to
second
fight
trio, a
because
third
everyone would just
overall
tarp and
in
tarp and tarp and
this
tarp.
fight,
You know.
rotating outside of mass meadows that
So we got
can
rid of
potentially be
metal
dangerous.
just to make the fights a little bit faster. We kept brick though. I don't
See
want to
what's
get rid of
going
brick.
on
We're gonna
here.
keep wood and brick.
Eight Nonia.
But yeah, I don't want to add
Second
metal because it
time now
causes
they get
problems
their
with the pacing of the map, and it gets
opportunity
annoying because you got to break
here
through all
on the
those builds, you know,
broadcast. Game one,
while waiting for the builds to
they
reset.
won
The
a
builds
fight,
reset every
and
like
then all
minute
of a sudden
30,
got
but
third party now coming into game two.
yeah,
They
it's
made
just-
it a
it's
little
annoying
bit
in the
further.
meantime.
So some improvements being made. Elim's on
I mean,
the
we could
board
add
for
a
them as
limited
well.
amount of metal.
Plenty of damage here.
So everyone has like 5 builds of metal,
probably
but at that
thinking,
point, what's
is
the
this
point, you
team
know?
in a desperate situation, is the
One
surge
box
gonna
of
turn
metal
on, or
isn't
they're
gonna do a
just,
whole lot.
You know, key towards us. I like the passive play here to kind of wait this one out, but little do they know, the read is just slightly off. What's going on here? How do you make make way with this? I'm looking at 3 teams in a mix here. This is a blender of action, undoubtedly, but Azteca, Jerry's Fire, and Davies Rain from the Crime City underneath the surge now. Still haven't managed to find themselves an elimination just yet. Splash is coming out. It's all or nothing now.
Yeah, it might not even be a fight they want to take. It's a fight that they have to take because Storm Surge dictating a lot. But great shots by Blake. The rest of the team following up as well. One knock's going to go through. Civ trying to make that decision. Do I heal? Do I fight back? As he takes yet another shot. Storm Surge turns off, but that's not even his worry anymore.
Wait, great
There's
play there.
Davies, Rain breaking him into
We're
the
just
box.
going
Trying
to his
save
teammate.
the best they can. Sales, Blake, Sinetto. They need to heal up
They're
as
gonna make a
well.
map
but they
for
have to
casual
make that
players?
conscientious
Yes.
decision.
My team will
Do
be
I let
working
that
on it, I
down go
think
and get revived or keep pressure?
early
They're gonna
May.
chase the
That's
ladder.
when they're starting
Still
it.
Trying to break their way into the box, revived and instantly
Something like that.
put back down.
We will have a map
Yet
for casual
again,
players
Blake
eventually,
finding
though.
these opportunities to shut down a full trio down below.
I'll advertise it on my
It
Reacts
happens,
channel
you know,
when it's
sometimes
out.
you reach your
You'll know.
limit, and it looks like Davies Rain just reached theirs. The boiling point is here. Sinetto, Blake, and Sales picking up the elims right now, racking up the points, and another team is hopping into the action. They just couldn't wait. They just couldn't wait. It's Flexi's trio here. But no, they don't find the elims they were looking for, so things kind of ease out for a second, and somehow, someway, Azteca manages to just slip under the cracks there, through the cracks, if you will. And he'll live to see another day. But we're a long way from the end game here, so we'll see how things end up playing out for them.
Yeah, I don't even necessarily like this spot to rotate on out. You're going from a high
Playing
mountain
WSD?
down
Nah,
towards the
nah,
edge.
nah.
Brilliant trio.
I gotta
already
stay an
positioned there.
Eric
Civ,
kid,
but
you know?
Solo that you were just
How long you
talking
streaming
about,
for?
still trying to land damage.
I mean, unless we do a
across.
24-hour
Even as a
stream,
solo, there's still a lot
probably
of pressure.
another
Storm Surge is active as he tries to break his way in. It's
2
almost
hours, give or
all
take.
nothing for him.
I think that's
Storm
how long
Surge will
the
take
event's
him
gonna
out.
last for. I'm
Blake
pretty much just
Sinetto
watching the rest
themselves
of
get
NA.
credit for that elimination. More points for them as they continue to move up that leaderboard.
About 2 hours.
Blake, Sinetto, and Sales putting up the elims right now. 5 eliminations now. Definitely in the lead for the lobby here. Really showcasing why they are one of the veteran trios to keep an eye out on. We had to talk about them just in game number 1, and they're making sure we don't forget that they're here to put up a fight indeed. Bucky, Cam, and Okus right now trying to rotate their way to the new zone. Teams
Not
on the
great.
high
They're
ground,
stacked,
taking
but
their
now that's
picks.
gonna take all their heals. Yikes.
Doing good, even with one elimination. You see 1,000 damage above
Can we get a
the zone.
mechanics
They're
training
not
map with
in
video tutorials? I'd be kind of
the
down for
next
that,
overall
yeah.
safe spot just yet, but they're
HaloBT
so close,
edit
they can
course
start to
or something,
build
you
up
know?
just a little bit, separate themselves from the low ground, because they know with active storm surge like this, even if they don't want to necessarily fight a team, all it takes is a full trio below surge close enough to try to start the engagement. They see one towards the outside. There's another one slowly but surely. Viper and his trio sneaking up on the side. Again, these are the questions you ask about how you're able to manage your surge early on the game, because it kind of frees up a lot of what you're able to do if you are well above that threshold. Like Bugha, Rapid, and Threats, they can rotate the slow sides, take their time in towards the zone, so that way they can position themselves perfectly how they want for the end game.
Yeah, Bugha, Rapid, and Threats is, again, a very interesting trio, because if you look at their history, again, they don't get a lot of eliminations. However, they are consistently finding themselves in positions to
Are you
earn
playing? I don't have a
massive
trio, guys.
placing points.
No trio, no
And you can
FNCS.
see this is why. They don't put their games at risk for elims, but they
Where do you live?
find
I live in the
damage
US.
just through pure
America.
veteranship, right? Just understanding of the game here. Even Rapid now thinking about fishing for tags. But it's a mass zone pull here, and look, they're gonna go all the way dead side, making sure they avoid full lines of sight.
Every time
from other
pros jump
opponents,
off
and no
hills
one even
with
knows they're there. Right?
the
They're
baseball
just
bat
keeping
always scares
that
me,
hidden
'cause
profile. It is possible.
That thing can bug
even
out a
in
lot
these
of
types
times,
lobbies.
or you like don't properly sprint
Aaron
jump and then
Vbucks,
just get
center
cooked, you know?
zone in a fight right now.
It's like a difference right now. Bugha, Threats, Rapid.
Especially in these laggy lobbies, there's always something that can go wrong with those, you know?
Then you got Bylon, Nut, and Aaron, center zone. Don't really have to rotate too much, but there is going to be a team right next to them. And you can see that they're 361 above the damage threshold. It's not something for them to worry about now, but if not too many teams around them rotating him give them opportunities, that Storm Surge will be something that is in the back of their mind as this game does continue. Luckily, you see it kind of moving down the side of the mountain. So if any team position themselves,
They doing a
on
ranked
that
reload
side of the
speedrun?
zone,
Yes,
that
this
will be
week
an
100%.
opportunity for them as Yamzo
Oh my gosh,
finds
Yamzo going crazy.
quick couple of eliminations on the other side by himself too.
A little mean highlight for the books there, just to go ahead and put some respect on it. Yamzo, Clix, and Higgs fully gathered their bearings here. It seemed like it's a refresh that they absolutely deserved and needed there. Decent amount of material here coming into the end game now, but you have Bugha, Rapid, and Threats, a very scary trio sitting and hovering just above them now. Of all the teams alive right now, this is definitely one of the most experienced, obviously.
Dude, I feel like my back's starting to ache from sitting in this chair all day.
Speaking about
think
Bacon
Threats-
and Vortex
Oh
team,
my
they're still
gosh.
in it.
Yeah, I was saying, I don't think Threads gets enough credit. If you kind of look at the stats in terms of damage,
I gotta go
dealt
on, like,
in
a walk
lot
or
of these
something.
finals appearances.
I know,
Threads
going
is
outside
usually
crazy, but-
near the top of the leaderboard. Today
I don't know.
alone in game one, he
And
had
it's
over
movement, you know?
1,100 damage for his team, kind of freeing up
Should I buy
a lot
Backlash
of
or
that
the orange
mobility,
skin?
the flexibility for them to take these
orange
slow
skin?
rotations towards the outside.
I don't know what you mean,
and now
but
you see the
Backlash
zone
is
gonna
probably
pull back.
cooler.
Higgs, Clix, Yamzo really kind of led that charge. That was the team down below him, and all they have to do is mirror that rotation, and they have to do it quick enough so none of these other distracted players can see him.
Oh man,
I
this
can
is
only
going right
imagine Bugha
uphill
right now
too.
is
Dude, this is just like
fuming
Europe.
at the
What's
zone
going on
pulls.
with every
I
zone
said
pulling the
every
snowy
time.
mountains right now?
But finally now, they're going to be forced
And then it's
into
gonna go
using
up,
some of
down,
that
up, down, up, down.
hard-earned material for
These kinds of
Virgo,
zones
Mountain,
suck.
Mason.
They're very hard to
A little
play.
bit of a different situation here. They're kind of sitting on this sandwich of players here, leading at the front side, just waiting for things to go ahead and move in so they can inch their way to the safety here. And I like where they're positioned. They're going to open up some new angles here shortly. Just give it a moment. Clix, Yamzo, Higgs make it up the mountain. Threats' team makes it up the mountain. And the team on high ground is Ariel, Tira, and Recor. Now we got to look at this team. This team has a little bit of veteranship in here. I do believe Tara might be Dorito here, who's been to the finals before. But hold up, loses
Wait.
a teammate, might have spoken too soon, jumps down.
That's what I
And
mean.
what just happened?
That's what I
He
mean
takes
with those-
fall damage.
with those
This is,
bats, bro.
Not how they expected this to go down. And oh no.
That's what I mean. You guys see why I get
boys see
nervous
it
when
go
pros do
down.
that?
One's
Like they
gonna
go
get
too
taken
quickly,
out
they
there.
forget to
Seems
jump,
like
or they
all
like
that's left
slide,
is to
or
get
they
a full
lag,
save
or
here,
you know
but
whatever, right?
my
And they
gosh,
die
a
of fall
full ton
damage,
of
bro.
events.
Oh my gosh, I want to see what chat
that's-
says.
A big now task for them
no.
to kind of
Everyone's hitting
overcome
with a
here. Now
wall,
they're
bro.
a duo. They know
Yikes.
how dangerous it is. And these zones.
Commander with the prime
mind games of a lot of the
sub!
players.
Thank you so
Once
much,
you see a
Commander.
mountain range in the
838.
zone,
W Commander.
You have
Thank
to
you, Commander.
start to prepare for the worst
Appreciate
case
you, bro.
scenario that it'll be in the game for the rest of these next couple of zones. It's going to go up, over, down
We're
the
up to
side of the mountain.
263
Yet again,
subs
for
now on
those that are
Twitch.
not
Wow.
prepared, better luck to
Straight
you
cooking,
for
guys.
Rapid
Thank you, bro.
Bbucks in threats. This just
Mega
gives them
Baron,
the
who
luxury
wins?
to be able to watch all these teams down below, expend mats, expend
Either gonna be Clix
resources,
team or
and then they
Vbucks
can
team.
pick them off one by one, just
Oh
like
my
that. The
gosh.
weak ones will show themselves, and threats will take advantage.
Dude, Threats is
Perfect.
crazy.
This is exactly where Threats wants to be. Very rarely have we seen Bbucks team on the high ground, but put them in a group stage like
Yeah,
this.
they're standing
you
there,
put
bro.
Their experience at the forefront of the lobby, and they should be able to run away with this. They have the material count. They know what to do with this high ground.
I'm gonna put the map
It's just
code
gonna
for
come
Infinite
down
Box
to whether or
on
not
screen,
anyone
okay, guys?
really wants to be bullish and try to contend them for it, but I doubt it. Clix, Higgs, and Yamzo right now running
like
through
up
their
here.
material. Ever so slightly,
How's
Yamzo leading
that?
the way. This is a
That's kind of cool. I'll leave it there.
scary rotate, cutting through the low ground there, but it ends up working out. Quick layer.
You guys won't play my
here.
map. It's up there.
Put them at the front side. Meanwhile, Sales and Sinetto fall. They're at 7 eliminations in another end game, though. They're going to be happy about the points earned here, undoubtedly. But what more can Blake do? He's going to find Bucky. The little tags there. Just keep him ever so active, but the zone's bouncing back now.
Hey, it could be a worse situation. He has 19 builds, 3 different splashes. He has the kneecapper, a lot of mobility potential coming out of Blake. He just has to be able to find those sweet spots as Yamzo playing box to box, just buying Higgs and Clix time to go ahead and disengage from that fight, put themselves in a much safer position as we're going back over the mountain range yet again. A lot of recycled builds, a lot of chances for players to hide. As you see another one being lost in the backside of the zone. That was Rapid able to find another elimination on the Blake, and this is for them being able to basically shoot down into a barrel.
This is an incredibly difficult spot for Yamzo's team to be in. They're going to force themselves all the way to low ground. Threats, Rapid, and
Chat,
Bbucks
this
doing
might actually
exactly
be a
what they need
Bbucks
to
win,
do.
bro.
Keeping that pressure on these ultimate layers here that are beneath them. And now they're noticing, wait a second, we're a little too high. This is coming off
This
the mountain
might be a
now. We
Bbucks
have to
win,
switch
man.
things up.
They're
They come down
cooking.
a little bit, but
I don't know, it's
notice
either gonna
how
be them or
cautious they
Clix.
are. Meanwhile, Yamzo, Clix, and his starting to
They
get
got 4
desperate
kills here on
for
low ground. They're doing
some
pretty good.
eliminations here for a little bit more resources.
I just feel like they should be more aggressive for the height. I mean, they could just be trying to claw off consistency or just trying to get like Grand's practice. I don't know.
Plenty of space between Threats,
but
Bbucks, and Rapid and the rest of the trio.
I feel like they might as well just get height and get a free win, you know?
Though. They're starting to heat up. They're at 6 eliminations right now, potentially pushing for a big double digit, and their loadout's looking relatively respectable.
Yeah, they were able to find that drop onto Neko. Unfortunately, they're not able to pick up the actual elimination and get the loot. They had to leave it to the side. That was Threats who was able to take advantage and find all that. Clix, Higgs, Yamzo immediately staying under the front side of the zone. As they get contested by Hound, they all turn, they burn, and they knock down onto him, and they float towards the backside. They're trying to pass around.
Hold up. Oh, Higgs goes down.
He realized Yamzo is in danger. He tries to reunite to be the hero, and now they're feeling all the pressure on the front side of the zone.
He ends up finding another elimination though. And then
Oh, Clix goes down.
Hands of Northern there.
Oh,
inside
man.
the storm. So
Northern gets
clutching
him.
up some big points for him. And we're still not even at a top 5 just yet. 6 teams, 5 teams finally remaining now. There it is. Northern.
Oh, Northern goes down.
Elimination, but falls to the hands
Oh, wait, no,
of Nazi from
Yamzo's
the
still alive.
outskirts.
What?
Meanwhile, Yamzo is one of the few
Oh, maybe
still
not for
in
long,
this.
though.
Takes the zip line to the
Oh,
top.
wait.
Beautifully ran
Wait.
the tag onto
Oh,
another player there, but he
man.
falls in the end. Bbucks still
Who's
holding
gonna
on
win
here,
this, dude?
somehow loses all
Oh, Bbucks still
control
alive?
of the game. Where in the world did Hayes and enough come
Dude,
from?
who's
I'm
gonna
not
win this,
sure,
man?
but they're holding down the fort now.
This is their opportunity. Bbucks already healing off to the back.
Oh my gosh, Noxy goes down.
Solo, who instantly gets taken down.
Hayes
As Sumo
FV
tries
gets
to
the
slide
win,
in.
dude.
Bbucks tries to make
Oh my
a play,
gosh,
but it's
well
Hayes,
played.
Ivanov, and their trio.
Dude, what happened to
that
Bbucks
immediately
trio
take
there,
advantage of
man?
that
I thought
opportunity.
either
didn't
them
see
or
where
Clix
they come
had it.
From either monster,
That's
but we
crazy.
know
Well
where
played.
they're going, and that's to the finals.
Well
And it looks
played.
like this is a
was a good
first-time
match.
appearance for enough Mafia.
Those
and
mountain
Hayes
end games, bro. I
to
keep
pick up
yapping
game
about them, but
2
that
in
stuff
a
is hard to
victory
play,
royale
man.
against
You gotta get
that
pretty
likes
lucky,
of
too, with,
Bbucks.
positioning.
I don't know what all unfolded for the high ground team pushing down right there, but in the
I don't know what
end,
happened to Bbucks
it
there,
looks
but
like
yeah, I
enough
mean, they
and
did play
Hayes
good, though. I mean,
did
Bbucks
put
got
up the
second, so
tags that
they
mattered,
cooked.
Jacob. What a game, right? This is what
What's up, New
FNCS
Streams?
is
What's
all
up?
about.
How we doing, King?
This is exactly what I'm
What's
talking
good,
about.
bro?
We all have our names, our tier 1s, the superstars in the limelight. We all expect them to get these big game wins just like Muzz did and take the rest of the day off. But when this happens, an underdog team rises to the top. It just makes me oh so happy that they have a chance to really prove that they are one of the best against the best in the finals. But that's going to do it for game number 2. Zeke, what do you think of all that action?
Man, game number 2. I really believed there that Bugha was going to win. I thought, man, this is that
I thought
time
Bugha had it
where
for a
we just
sec.
make sure Vivid is wrong.
It was either going to be Bugha or Clix,
It
because
didn't
they're
matter.
both
It didn't
popping
matter 'cause
off.
Vivid was still wrong. Just wanted to point that out. Man, congratulations to Enough, Hayes, and I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce that third name in this trio, so congratulations. Either way, they're gonna be going to the finals next weekend. That's got to be big. If this is their first time, they've got to just feel over the moon. They've got to be so excited. And now, of course, that next step begins planning, but still, congrats to them.
What is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions as to exactly where they came from our commentators, and I honestly have the same question, especially when you look at the fact that they ended off that game with 12 eliminations as well. And not just that, but they were landing contested over an Outlaw Oasis. But I'm guessing that maybe having Muzz, Yapko, and Rise, who were landing just to the northeast,
it was like a golf cart, but it was a car.
Gave them a new opportunity to kind of shine in this game.
They're so loud too.
Yeah, talking about shining,
That's
right?
funny,
The
man.
format's also getting a chance to kind of shine right here. You were mentioning that they were contested in that first game. They went down 31st spot, right? So it's like, yeah, you can kind of have that bad game, or when you're contested.
Look at all those bills in the background, man.
Really get to play
People
half
were
the
just
games.
tarping and tarping and tarping
make
there.
the most out of those opportunities, just like this trio did, right? Get off spawn and pick up a victory royale and go straight to finals. A huge game for them. And I have to go ahead and note here, Zeke, that listen, we're actually 2 for 2 on the day so far, with those low ground teams kind of winning over the high ground teams. So might be something that we need to keep our eye on.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of interesting, right? We're pretty used to seeing the other side. It's all about high ground. High ground wins games. High ground wins tournaments. How often have we said that? Low ground, though, looking to make a bit of a statement out of here. So I do like to see that. Now, of course, more happen in that game. But first, we have to go to break. When we return, we'll break more action.
Is that skin in the item shop right now? I don't know how to pronounce her name. If it's a clean skin, go for it. Let me check. Let me check. Make sure you guys are liking, favoring Infinite Box Fights too. Helps out a ton, man. Alright. Let me check. See what we got popping in the shop. Dude, this music kind of going crazy though. I like the beat. Oh, this girl. Yeah, totally buy this skin. This skin's clean. I bought it a while back. Yeah, I'd say go for it. It's clean. Just make sure you have a good combo, you know. How many skins am I up to now? 2073. We're getting there, chat. We're getting there. Slow and steady, man. 400 legends playing Infinite Box Fights. Appreciate you guys. All right, chat. Do we think Clix? Do we think Bugha? Do we think Bucky? What trio do we think is winning this match? Try to predict it right now. See if you got it in the bag. I've seen a lot of Clix. Muzz, he had a quad. He won the first match. Just instant quad. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Clix. Yeah, I'd say it's probably gonna be between Clix and... Gosh, man, I gotta see who makes it end game. There's been a lot of selling going on today, so... Dude, the bat plays, man. Oh my gosh. I'm getting kind of sick of melee items. Anyone else? I feel like it's a bit too crazy, you know what I mean? I really like the bat for mobility, but the fact that you could just like swing spam like that and hop in a box, it's a bit too much, man. I don't know. I think we need like a season or a chapter with just no melee items. I'm tired of getting hit by Nitro Fists. I'm tired of getting hit by baseball bats. I'm tired of getting hit by swords. You know what I mean? I just want guns. You know? I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, I feel like the bat would be a lot better if it was just strictly mobility and didn't have any other use to it.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the FNCS. Monster's trying to break me. He's not going to do that. Nice try, Monster. In that last game, we saw enough Haze and Mafia get themselves a victory royale in game number 2 and secure that spot going to finals. I'm so sorry I didn't know what the name was. I had to go look it up. You know, just a helpful tip, Mafia. If you want us to celebrate, we'd love to do that. But I have to know what your name is. So just for the future, Mafia would be cool. Out of that game, though, a lot of little developments happened because remember, we're aiming for either a victory royale to qualify to finals or we want to place consistency in the top 5, right? So there's a couple things we want to discuss with you guys. We want to talk about Booga. We want to talk about Clix and Yamzo. We want to talk about Noxy, Virgo, and Mason. I mean,
yeah, what was going on there, bro?
Things off here. Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs. I mean, they almost had.
Yeah, I got time out on YouTube for no reason.
They did go down
were you
fourth. That's
spamming?
still amazing, but we saw
I don't know,
for that, in
YouTube,
that moment, that like final few moments of the game where
and
Clix kinda
Twitch, I have
stumbled, right?
Nightbot
I love
on
that
like
the captain
prison
kinda called
mode, so
out.
sometimes
He
you'll just
kinda
get
goes
timed out for no
that
reason.
chug,
But
then
I
obviously
need
between all the
Nightbot
chaos, it's like,
because
I've gotta back
Nightbot
off,
kind
I'm
of
so
clutches
sorry,
with
and then
most of the
kinda falls
modding
apart
work.
after that.
So
but to kind of see them picking up steam, and
yeah,
like,
he's just a
now
bit
we're starting to
buggy.
place higher
So
and
sometimes
higher.
you'll get
I
timed
love
out for
that.
like literally
I
no
feel like
reason.
once this trio kind of gets going,
But
it's
yeah,
gonna
if you were
be
like
really difficult to
spamming
stop.
or saying something bad,
what
then
I really love
obviously
about this
that'll time you
trio,
out.
and I think it happens a lot, especially in these end games for the group stages, is that our trios tend to go down to duos. And obviously, in a lot of trios, there is that star competitor, that one player that really kind of can carry the rest of the trio. And I really feel like with this trio right here, any kind of combo of a duo, whether that is Clix and the Yamzo,
Even if I don't chat, no, you have to chat.
Higgs and Clix, they can carry it.
But yeah, if you get timed out like 99% of the time, it's
and now,
Nightbot that timed you
Clix
out.
didn't exactly play out the way that he wanted to, but Yamzo there, of course, with the Click slide going, just tried so hard, almost had that last elimination, but unfortunately missing out. But sitting currently in 4th place. How apropos.
Yeah, and Yamzo having another Yamzo-esque kind of performance, right? I remember kind of labeling him as the MVP of the trio last season. Most eliminations out of everybody kind of playing.
Nightbot, don't time me out.
As well. So doing
Bro's
very
beefing
good
with
in that department.
Nightbot.
For this trio, I feel like both
Oh,
of
no,
those games
man.
that we've seen so far today, they've been pretty similar. I mean, they go ahead and they find that refresh and they drop down like a 11 zone to kind of cut off everybody in the front of that moving zone. But for some reason, they can't go ahead and kind of grasp onto that position and actually hold on to kind of fight for the win. But still, regardless, doing very, very well as a trio.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they kind of get probably like 1 or 2 more good games in, they maybe don't need that VR. I'd like to see the VR, but like, yeah, they're still performing well. Like you were saying, I love how Yamzo kind of used that zip line up. Like,
Bro just said, Nightbot said I was on the naughty list.
How do I get from point A to point B?
Just got
How do I
timed
get there
out.
without you realizing I could get there? And kinda, like,
Bro,
pull out these, like, super
Nightbot's
slick plays.
evolving,
I love
man.
Yamzo.
Oh my
Booga,
gosh.
Rapid Threats also performing really well here in this last
Dude, the
game.
AI on
Again,
Nightbot
we
is
thought
crazy.
Booga, right? I thought,
He
okay,
saw you trash
Booga's
talking and
striking,
timed
it's
you out,
time.
bro.
He's gonna try and claim
Holy
one of these
cow.
spots. It doesn't quite go that way, but to still make it.
Bro, I
to
didn't know he was
as
that
far as
advanced.
second, that's huge for consistency.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
definitely going to be sitting pretty on the leaderboard
Bro just
right
said
now.
justice
But what I love to
delivered.
see is
That's hilarious.
the transition from game 1
Nightbot's
to game
cooking,
2.
y'all.
We saw in game 1, Booga, Threats, and Rapid were kind of staying on second height, and there was a moment where I thought they were staying on second height because they potentially wanted to take height, but they never really made that move. However, we can see in game 2 that they are able to make that transition and control high ground.
Be careful,
But
he might
like
do the
you were
same thing with
saying,
you.
Z,
True that,
just
bro.
not exactly
Oh,
the
man.
right factors that they needed to be able to carry that into a victory.
Let us
royale.
first and second have 1,000 points.
Poor Rapid.
So
I was
anyone
like,
who
watch this
wins
game, I
gets
was like,
1,000
Rapid, what the
points
heck happened? You guys
automatically
were on height,
to
chilling, and
show
then all
that
of
they
a
won
sudden
a
it was
game.
like, whoa, Rapid's like going
Because
down
if
to
you
the
win, you
storm.
automatically qual for
Four got
FNCS
chopped down,
Grands.
hits a little roll into the storm right there. Unfortunate.
So it's
but
just
hey,
it's
listen,
just a
me and Kelly
visual
were kind of
thing. It
talking
could be
about earlier,
1,000,
that
it could be
damage
10,000, it
dealt
could be a
by Prince,
million.
it's usually always up
The
there.
point is just to show that
He's in
they won a
first right
match.
now. He's got over 3,000 damage dealt in just 2 games.
Wow.
Doing so good. And, listen, they had that high ground right there. Oh, they were going to win. Snuck into that second place still with that clutch up right there. So still doing very, very good in terms of consistency.
Yeah, I obviously the stress it just went up like a notch, right? But we still have 3 games. We still have 3 3 more victory royales, and of course top 5 in consistency, which if you're watching, just look at like top 10, right? As long as they make it in top 10, it's basically top 5. But yeah, I'm super excited to get into more games. The competition is heating up. So now it's on the players. Do we go for it? What do we have to do with only 3 games left to go? It is now time. With that being said, casters, take it away for game number 3.
Let's go.
That's right, Jacob. I mean, look, we are getting there. Just a couple of more opportunities now to make it through. But if nothing else, you see new teams can make their first appearances now, and that's something big to celebrate.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. 56 players to start the day looking for their first FNCS finals. Some of them have already achieved that dream. There's 3 games left, though.
If Fortnite made a movie, would we watch it? Bro,
our staple
that'd be my favorite movie right there.
Some of the
No glaze.
superstars that are rising
No
up
glaze.
the ranks. I'm just excited to see who overall will punch their ticket to the FNCS finals. With game 3 ready, let's see who's next on that list.
Let's get it.
This is a big moment right here, because this is the
It's game 3 out of 5
throughout the day.
So we're over
overall,
halfway,
game
chat.
number 3, and this is pivotal for those teams that might not necessarily pick up that game.
Have you seen the Minecraft
win,
movie?
because
Not
you
yet,
still have
man.
a
I
chance
still
to
gotta
play
watch
through
it.
that leaderboard, and you don't
I've
want
been
to
so
put
busy
yourself
recently, you know?
into too big of a hole going into game 4 and 5.
Yeah, most definitely, right? There's multiple ways you can make your way through to the finals. Consistency is most definitely an opportunity and an option for most. But hey, at the end of the day, it's so sweet to pick up that big victory. You saw Vivid highlighting just all of what unfolded there. If you were curious about how Bbucks team managed to give up that high ground spot, it just shows you anything can happen. And that's why you got to be, super dialed into what teams are on the high ground and how things are playing out, because you never really know. Jumping back on over here. Crime City. The action never ends here. It seems like Frogs, Vortec, and Bacon once again are just back in the mix here. Constantly in a bit of a standoff here. Thermite coming out immediately, though, to go ahead and start cranking open this bank vault here.
Just trying to kind of hunker down that position. They did split Crime City throughout the first couple of games so far, and now they're just putting all their attention. Get the vault, get the gold. There's extra chests. There's a lot of good loot. So if you didn't get the loadout that you wanted right out of the gates, that's going to be a second chance added overall, and it kind of flips the script on.
What's up, Halo? What's up, Isaiah? How you doing, man?
And Civ, do you go and try to contest that, or do you just continue to loot up? There is a lot of loot in Crime City. The black market towards the north, so they don't even necessarily have to engage in order to get the loadout that they need.
Yeah, that is right. And, it's a very common strategy for most teams in these types of lobbies. But Optics, Viper, and Alpha sneaking up. Little angle.
The rat plays, bro.
Shield crack and some white tags going to give him all the confidence in the world.
Got that plasma just kind of bursting through on the other side. Optics, getting the piece on the north. Gets the elimination. There's no teammates inside, so that goes to show to me that Riven was
It was so
just
slow. You could tell the lag in the server is really bad,
draw
but
the enemies away from somewhere else. And
he
he's
still
just
pieced him up, though.
trusting in his teammates. You see him there in the
He
distance,
still got
just
him.
slowly but surely. Monster, get that reboot card and give him a second chance, especially with the zone already looking like it's pulling a little bit towards the west.
And there's a couple ways they could do that, so we'll see what.
Halo, just subscribe to you. Thank you,
that
Paige.
team ends up taking.
Appreciate that, bro.
So we jump back over to Liam's team here, just outside of Demon's Dojo. So this kind of devolving away. There's another squad inching their way
What's up,
over
Halo?
the
What's up,
mountain.
Will?
You see Liam and company definitely know what's going on there. Jumping back to Maji here. Shiny Shafts. Looking good for this trio right now. Just Vixie left.
Ooh.
I was going to say, we saw what Vixie did earlier. Vixie is kind of nice with it. And yeah, he'll fall, but, not without putting his stake in it. Respect to King Vixie. I'm very, very interested in seeing what this guy's going to continue to do in the coming months here. He just keeps working at things.
I honestly thought this was a full trio, but they're going over the reboot. I see in the mini-map, Gloom is just watching
he
overneath.
lurked him.
That was my reboot van. Now he has to look elsewhere, hoping to maybe get some surge out of this player out of the sky. That's at least going to help their overall team as he gets the knock
Bro's
on
Kovacs
Gavin.
right now.
Not really too much of a loss for them. overall, outside of it being their trio, he really didn't have too much loot. But
Yeah,
since
he's
he
being
dropped
too
right
greedy. He
into
should
the
just get
box,
the
they are
surge
gonna be
tags.
able to
Obviously,
get
they're
that
going to get the
revive.
res off there.
So Gloom is just going to keep the pressure up, get what damage he can from Surge, and maybe try to find his
Not
way
worth
back to his
wasting
team,
heals.
because you see there's nobody in sight on that mini map, so it's a dangerous position if he were to stay there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I don't know where his team are. Oh, look at this though. Clix on the hunt right now. Talking about making solo plays. He's kind of leading the charge here as the Yamzo and Higgs playing catch up right now. Ooh, scanner coming out. You don't get to see that too often, but seems like something didn't feel
That's
right.
kind of a rare play. I feel like people
Backs
never
off
even
here.
find the scanners. Too many outlaw shotguns and
Just thinking for a moment, interesting to see them the south
Gray
of Lone
scoped
Wolf
SMGs,
players,
you know?
is typically they loot up their drop spot, they get that vault, they get all the gold, and then make their way up towards Magic Mosses to try to use it to get the splashes out of the black market and either the collateral or the exotic chug chug. And I think they probably said,
Yeah,
hey,
they're
this
moving.
might be a good fight.
Yamzo
We
has the
might be able
most
to take it, but then
eliminations
it's just
of
gonna take
any
us
player,
longer
and
to go
Higgs has
back
the most
to our
assists.
original game plan, back to the script that we
Dang,
wrote up
17
that got
assists
us
is actually
here.
kinda crazy.
And I like what they're doing, realizing what's actually going on and not wanting to stray too far
we had
away
the World
from
Cup
what
back in
has
2019. I
proven to
was
work
there
for
in
this
person,
trio.
yeah.
And although they
Why aren't you
haven't
playing this?
gotten
I don't
win
have a
just
trio.
yet,
No
they've
trio,
made
no
all
trio
appearances
FNCS,
so far
no pro
into the
tourneys.
end game. That is
No trio, no
really
FNCS.
what matters most right
It's
now.
a trio
Sticking
tournament.
true to that consistent.
And I'm repeating myself 8
game
times because
plan.
people
This
are
is
like,
arguably the best practice
so
you're gonna
yeah,
get
I'm trying to make sure
in the wake
everyone
of the
hears.
FNCS finals that's coming up.
How are you? I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Wave?
Virgo and
What's
Noxie,
good, man?
after that huge endgame appearance, put them up at 75 points. Very respectable performance so far.
Yeah, not the best game one, 24th, 0 eliminations. But that last game, third place, 8 eliminations. Really kind of making up for lost time with that 0-point game, number 1. And that puts them at least in 12th place in the overall leaderboard, within striking range. If they can have a good last couple of games, if they don't get the win, of course, they can probably finish at the top of the leaderboard. And you see
Oh wow.
Kin, Snakes, and Mystic just end up in a different exchange, trading some shots.
Dude,
This
that
is
twin
the
mag
very
is so good,
southernmost
man.
part of the map, and does look like they're just trying to disengage,
Actually
work their way
crazy.
over towards Mass Meadows, or
That
at least
has
that
to be
direction overall, to try to find
probably
a
the
safer
best
way to
AR
make their
ever
way
added.
towards zone, because if they were to continue
Honestly,
going north from
I don't
here,
know. What do you
they
guys
have
think?
that entire mountain range that they would have to fight up against.
I gotta say, his team needs to catch up. There's another trio rotating.
I don't know,
in.
is
They
there
look
a
the right
better
call to
AR
get
than
out
the
of
twin
there.
mag
Look
AR?
at the wide shot here, but Snakes and Kin, they had a chance to disengage. The call was already made, but they kind of greedily stood around fishing for tags, and now I'm sure they're regretting it. It's Anonia, Aether, and Corsi right now who are
I can't think of any others.
For some damage tags.
I mean, the Thunderburst SMG.
Corsi, though,
I know it's an SMG, but that
taking
thing's
massive
practically an
damage from the
AR.
high ground team. They're gonna come in there.
That
feeling
thing would
good
probably
about the
be
damage, and the shield crack that comes
close,
through. Anonia,
MK
though,
maybe.
mechanically slips out of there.
I don't know.
Pressure's on, no 1v1 here. Gives up the high ground once again. Opts for the low positioning, swings around, very nicely done. But status is on him, Jacob.
That pressure is just so much, and when this fight started, that third-party team that we saw disengaging, they were just the annoyance, like the fly at the picnic, just buzzing around, landing shots. They didn't necessarily
Sloan's
get the
MK?
elimination, but they made it much harder for that team to
Did I
survive.
say
They got
Sloan? I don't
jumped
think I
on
said
by
Sloan.
Powerless and status, and even though they're trying to disengage over on the side,
Overclocked
Power's still
pulse
using this
rifle.
as an opportunity to still accumulate
That's
those
it.
storm
Yeah.
surge numbers.
Okay,
Then
for
back to the mountain, in which
non-mythic,
they
though,
came
I think
from.
the
As
twin
long
mag
as the zone
takes
continues
it.
to pull in this favor, that mountain.
But yeah,
one of
for
the most
a
advantageous
pulse
positions
rifle
in the
as a
map.
mythic, yeah, I'd say the pulse
First
rifle wins.
instance we're seeing of pretty
But
southern
I'm talking
pull
like
right
gray
now,
to
but too early to
legendary
determine or tell
exclusively.
where things are gonna go.
I feel like the twin
Just
mag
outside the
AR
C4
wins, you
City,
know?
Rapid Threats and Booga, sticking to the true
Non-exotic,
unusual,
non-mythic.
very consistent, very
It's just a good
OG,
AR,
if you
bro.
will, just high ground towers, big holds,
Hammer
here,
AR,
ramping
nah.
out, right? We've seen
Hammer is
Threats
good
kinda
though, but I don't
blaze
think
up
it's
like
as
this
good.
time and
The
time
scope
again, and
on the twin mag
notice
makes
when
it
the
better.
surge comes around, they're usually
Hit way
about
more shots.
1,000 above, right? They really don't have too much problems typically fishing for tags. Threats almost baiting out other teams to just go for that brazen exchange there.
Just looking at Threads, almost averaging 1,500 damage a game. Just put that in perspective. Rapid alone has just shy of 1,500 overall throughout the last 2 games. So the threat's really being a driving force of their Storm Surge, which has helped them kind of rotate through those slow starts. Bylot, Aaron, and Nut.
Bob.
Uncontested at Flooded Frogs. And some
Box
people
them,
might
bro.
look at that as a blessing, a curse, depending on who your opposition is. Early Storm Surge, always a plus. But for them, 98
MK7
points
pre-nerf.
throughout those
Yeah,
first 2
pre-nerf,
games, putting them
100%.
towards the
But
top
once it got
of the
nerfed,
leaderboard
like I feel like the MK7 isn't all
Starting this
that,
game
you know?
ninth on
Like
that
I'll get an
leaderboard, obviously
MK7
minus
and
2
reload
teams, just
like a
few
few months
consistent
ago.
spots away from actually
when it
qualifying
was
for the FNCS
really in the
finals
meta.
if it were
And
to end now.
I never really picked it up. I feel like it wasn't that good, and it was a mythic one.
Coming back with Bucky.
I did like 23 body shot.
Cam and of course Oak is here. A little bit of an exchange happening. Again, this is Threats Booga on the other side of that seaport city.
Pre-nerf was
Have to be
crazy. Yeah,
careful
pre-nerf
how
was
things are gonna start
broken,
moving
bro.
from here on outwards. The zone's gonna end up pulling west, so saw Threats already.
Hey, live on
noticing,
Twitch,
oh,
yes
wait a
sir.
second, we
HaloBT
gotta
on
go.
Twitch,
So
HaloBT on
they're
YouTube, bro.
sticking to their usual plan of swinging around the outskirts. Big fight happening here. This one's looking a little messy. A lot of material being committed right now. Evan, Xanda, and Sandalit down to just 7 mats for Evan here. But the Gold Rush effect still gives them plenty of opportunity, plenty of big plays to make here. Evan losing track though of the opponents, not too sure where they are.
Almost feels like the lack of loot has them feel pressured to have to make a play. This is the only way they're going to get mats in their eyes. And on the other side, they feel it, and they're ready to kind of fight back. Let them make a mistake, land a good shot, and then you can use that as a green light to go. So as of now, they know they don't have the elevation advantage. They're forced to kind of converge into this box until they see an opportunity or a mistake made from the other side. As you see some third-party shots starting to bring in over on in the distance. Some of those are going to connect on the Zonda. And even
Did you post
though
the War
it's
Games
not a lot
video?
of
I did,
damage,
yeah.
that could be the
We posted a
difference.
reaction video today, guys, on HaloBT Reacts. And we posted
This is not going to go very well if they
a
can't find elimination here. Either that
different
or disengage now
video
while you have time
on
to go
the
farm.
HaloBT
Because
Games channel.
Either way, they've gotten the damage, but man, no max to play mid game is about the worst position you can be in. So sometimes it's okay to just call it. Oh, wait a second. Another team starting a third party here, looking to
Oh,
break things out.
man.
Fraggy AK is like,
This
nope,
is kinda
I'm going to
cooked.
go and maintain the structure here. And now it's causing them
They just got
more
dip, bro.
material than they would like.
Such a tough situation.
Did you post
We're
bad
seeing
parenting?
both
Yeah.
sides, just a huge lack
I'm
of
gonna advertise
resources
it later, but
overall,
yeah,
and
I did post it.
even if they survive, as the game continues on, it almost looks like they're in the center of zone. So more and more teams will look at this place as the place to be. But he runs into one. Sam's gonna be the
I don't
first
know
one
what's
going
going on
down.
there,
That
bro.
opens up that chance for them to take a
Yikes.
3v2. It continues to fire off. The smoke going down to keep them alive with the men miss, but it's causing a little bit of confusion. They don't know exactly where to go, and the full trio will be able to stay alive, pick up a second
other guy just die of
elimination
fall damage?
onto Evan as well. As
Looks
they
like he
rip
just
up the
flew
shreds.
off.
You know, I don't blame the team jumping in, but there were definitely other options there. Clearly, Flexi, Fraggy, and Zilix seem to have had the advantage, you know, all the way through since the early moments of this battle, but it is what it is. You make your bed, now you got to lay in it. Fraggy, Zilix, and Flexi still have a whole game in front of them as well. They got to get going and get to replenishing their
Random
material
sayings
counts
the
as well.
casters have, bro.
Still have the river there to play off of, so shouldn't be too bad.
Why are you not talking? Because everyone complains when I talk too much during these
No one to
events. So.
disengage, and this is very reminiscent
I'm
of
trying
a
not to
more
talk too much.
veteran move here. And you're really seeing the you know, two sides of the coin, if you will.
Yeah, they know it's like high chance the zone's centering up or pulling in one direction. So being on the side of that mountain's all fine and dandy. Early
bro
game,
going to the
trying
trash
to get
can
surge,
for?
but you don't want to be stuck.
How old
on the
you?
top
Still
of that
17,
mountain
guys.
with a max pull, because even
Still
if you do have the launch
17.
pad, that leaves you kind of susceptible to taking shots along the path. So I do
Yo,
like
hello,
what's
what's up,
on the
Hunter?
mind right now for Virgo, Noxie, Mason. Rotate early, beat a lot of these other teams to the punch. And
Was a good
because they're
plan.
rotating underground, they're relatively safe every step of this way for a free rotation to where they need to be.
Seeing a lot of good things out of Hound, Carillion, and Northern's team today. One of the few teams on the lobby that have experienced their fair share of finals. They've stepped foot in the arena a couple times before. What's the situation right here? So they're east of the zone. One of the few teams down here making a dead side rotate, and they have just enough damage to maintain their way through this area. That's not the most comfortable amount of damage threshold, so they will have to likely get into a fight here. Little do they know that they're rotating right into Listen, who's kind of out of position for his team. Well, look at this fight here, Jacob. Clix, Yamzo, and Hay is getting active right now.
Yeah, a good portion of this lobby forced to rotate south. Whether you landed
Crime
with
City box
the
fight here.
magic monsters, flooded frogs, you might find
When you playing
yourself
Reload, don't
rotating
know.
through this area of Crime City, especially since there is a black market there. If you do possess some of that gold to replenish what you might have lost, as Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs, they know with as much action as going on, not to get too antsy. Take your time, let your opponents make the mistakes, or let those chances come to you. They do have the elevation overall to kind of spot not necessarily just the teams that are right below them, but every team that they're gonna have to rotate into here in a few seconds.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things to happen too, is when you have two trios below you. And of course, these are the teams that land at the Crime City, so very familiar locations for these opponents.
That would have been a good beam.
Higgsy,
Are you gonna play scrims? No, I haven't played scrims in a very long time. You guys actually think I'm gonna play scrims?
How much longer are they gonna mess around this
Ain't
zone
no way.
here?
Ain't no
Seems like
way.
that question is about to be answered. They're about to
Nah,
make
I'm
a
not
move
even in
here
any
shortly,
scrims Discord servers anymore.
But the Surge shoots the warning out, so everyone knows now what exactly.
How old
is
are you?
at stake
Still
here.
17.
Xianzo Higgs seem to
I
be
have not
content
aged
with their
since you
damage.
last
They're
asked me
gone.
a moment ago. How much sleep did you guys last
almost
night?
looks like they
Probably
were
like 10
lurking
hours.
from elimination. As soon as the zone pulled towards the south, might have been the Yamzo. Somebody made that call and said, look, we got to go. We can get our damage. We can get eliminations later, especially with how quick they're making that first rotation. A Civ,
What's up, Kyle?
Rain, Airs just trying to push their way into the box.
I have
They know
seen that
one's
he got
weak on
signed,
the other
bro.
side. The
Pretty
Mendes
cool.
smoke is down, so a little bit of confusion. They might not know exactly
Zane, what's
where
up?
they're
How you doing,
at
bro?
as they jump in and outside of the box, end up taking a big shot. Civ just taking a little bit more than he can handle that situation, but it's a beautiful sacrifice because they were able to separate Jake down below, pick up the first of 3 eliminations.
Yeah, that med miss, double-edged sword, right? Gives you, of course, those quick heals. However, it's such a distraction. All that mist making it hard to see through, almost dual-purposing as a mini smoke bomb, if you will.
Yeah, I mean,
This
it's
is
not
the
that
Crime
bad
City
unless you're in the
vets here.
storm. If
Davies
you're in the
Ranger
storm, it's really
firing
hard to
Aztec, a
see.
Civ coming out on top, making good work of the team here and finding the damage that they needed. But the rotate, right? So now it's
You know
time
any
to go
celebrities,
here.
like,
Take a look at
personally?
the perspective. Dog had the build open, and Davies just wasted no time there.
Scuffed his new kicks right
People
there
in the
with that shot to
Fortnite
get him
community
down,
that
and then
some
just
people might
immediately the
consider
pressure
a
from
celebrity.
below and on top.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a lot of
But
these
if you
teams
mean
like
like
to rotate off the
mainstream
side of
celebrity,
these mountains,
where you're
not
thinking
finding
like
the easiest way down.
Rock.
Blake is going to get eliminated
no.
overall. And you see they're 32 above the damage threshold and continuously falling, and now they find themselves
Why are you not
below
in college?
overall.
I'm not going to
So
college.
as a duo, this is not going to be
I
the
made up my mind
easiest
on it.
road, but hopefully they can use their experience to help them out as they jump onto one, miss that first
I'm also
shot, but
17,
they
by
have
the
him
way.
separated into
I
a
just
1v1
graduated,
top
so.
sales. If he has the confidence, he could try to take
I
it.
graduated high school
Oh, they
early,
have
bro.
to take it. He's 19 below. This is a very important
You usually graduate
situation
high
that
school when
Sales
you're
has now found
like,
himself in, but
18,
no.
19.
Blake is down, so wait a second. It's just Neto and Sales, actually. I misread
Please
the
play one reload
situation.
game,
I
not
thought
today,
at
guys.
least they had the whole trio.
Aren't you
but
playing
they
no
seem to be
trio, no
crumbling here,
FNCS?
both
Please stop making me repeat
before
myself,
their
guys.
eyes, and now
Y'all
even
are
the
like,
low
you're gonna
ground
give me a
team
headache, bro.
opting to take shots at the
Like,
top.
please, man,
He might need
please.
some more damage, too.
I don't have a trio. That's why I'm not playing. No trio, no
Lucky thing
FNCS.
they do have going for them right now is they position themselves on the side of the zone or the middle overall, so they know that whole eastern side is going to open up, and they don't even have to focus on it for the next couple of minutes because they know nobody's going to be there. They can
Do you know any tier 1
one
pros personally? If so, who? I've met so many pros,
where
bro.
they know teams will have to
I went to
dip
like a
into
lot of
low
events and like
elevation
Fortnite boot
territory
camps.
in order to get across that open land. Otherwise, they're just going to be stacked on the north and the
2021,
south side of the
2022
zone.
time
Either way,
frame,
that could
so
be a blessing
I
for
met a
Senator and
lot of
Sales
cool
to try
people,
to
bro.
get some shots on any successful
But since then, I haven't met
Yeah,
as
these
many.
tags are very important right now. They're fighting
I haven't
their
really
way
like
out
left the
of
house
a
much, you know.
desperate situation, a difficult situation, but not
You never
an
have a trio?
impossible
Correct,
one for
yeah.
them to
I'm
turn
always
around
looking
here.
for one.
Meanwhile, Carillion just sits down broken,
Ooh,
then
that's
a
good offense play.
169 onto the teammate there.
Dang.
Liam goes down, and then another one. So
Good
a
shots.
3-piece chicken nugget to go for Carillion Northern and Hound here.
Halo, I just joined this stream. How old are you? I'm not doing this.
430 damage above.
So you're deciding to be
That was the
uneducated?
whole team's damage. and health.
I wouldn't word it like that.
The count there. Very nice for them.
I'm deciding that there's nothing I want to
worst
do
to just
in
bad,
college
right? It's not
that
too
would
bad
benefit
now.
me in my path in
Yeah,
life.
it's only a matter of how many, I guess, healing resources
I've decided
they have,
I would
whether
be
it's big
more
pots,
successful
minis,
without
just
college.
HP for them to kind of recuperate. They got themselves a good amount of elevation on that
That's
south side
probably
of the zone,
the
and it's gonna pull in
best
their
way I
favor.
can explain
So
that
not
without
gonna
it being
have
too
much goes here.
complicated.
Natmo's Aiden, they're the ones.
Yeah, it's not the
that long road
1960s,
ahead of
guys.
them
You
as the
don't
team trying to fight.
need
They get that
college
first
to be
down onto
successful.
Flexi, and
Like,
the second
obviously,
elimination,
you know,
since
do what
it
you
was
want,
only a
right?
duo still alive. They're all sent
But
back to the
I'm just
locker.
saying, like,
Yeah, we knew Flexi's
you know, prioritize your happiness and your passion and that kind of stuff over, you know, doing a random degree in college. Like, if you want to go to college to be like a doctor or, you know, whatever,
too soon.
100% go
all of a
for
sudden you're
it. But for
just
me,
caught out
my
just like
passion is being a content creator and streamer, and
Natmos,
I have had a
see
good
from
amount of
his
success
angle.
with it, so
He's trying to get caught in this,
better than any job I would
web.
get after going to college, so it doesn't really make sense in my position to do
Balloons
college.
team
Does that make
going
sense?
for a little bit of the mid-ground positioning
Oh,
here.
that makes
but
sense.
This is some really awkward terrain to mess with.
but
We're going
it's
up
always
this
a good
very steep
idea
mountain here,
to,
Jacob.
you know,
Notice
follow your
Clix,
heart with that
Yonzo,
kind
and
of
Higgs
stuff.
also recognizing danger of staying in the low ground, right? They're going to start making their way up to this kind of middling position, but not overcommitting because it can pull either way. So smart decision, I think, to play this general area. However, it's a decision nonetheless. You're going to have to live with
Just
it.
joined.
They're
How
50
short are you?
below, though. So Clix, Yonzo, and Higgs don't have the
Car of the
damage
day.
just yet.
Yeah, they're looking off towards the side. They saw they could take a box-to-box fight with a pre-edit towards the top, but they said, wait, just give us a second. Iamzo said, look off
Aston Martin
towards this
DB12.
edge. And you see how many players are having to rotate off that Canyon Crossing Mountain in their direction. So not only are they going to be able to find Surge, they get an elimination, and now they give themselves options, a little bit of flexibility that Sales and Sinetto do not have. But I will say, from what we saw them before till now, they've increased their elevation up the side of that mountain tenfold. They just need to figure out where they're going to get a damage. 124. That's a good amount below the Storm Surge, but in the next zone, it's going to get exponentially worse
another
if
mountain
they don't
endgame.
find the damage right
Have you
now.
guys noticed how
And just
much the
39
storm
bullets, right?
pulls
So notice
towards the
Sales
mountains?
really trying to be
No, it gets worse.
I mean,
Yo,
this is kind of crazy. Anyone else noticing this?
strategic, if you
Maybe-
will, with
maybe
what's
I'm
left
just
of his
being, like,
ammunition, but he really doesn't
too
have that
observant, but
luxury
bro,
to just
we've had,
fire at
I kid you
boxes.
not,
So it's gonna
between
be all the
EU
more
and NA
harder for them
today,
to get actual tags.
out of
There
the,
is Surge
what,
turns
8 games
on,
we've watched,
and now he's gonna
I think at
find that
least
box
5
that's
of them
open.
have
It's
been
weakened, but
snow
still,
mountain
and
endgames.
already
It just
came
keeps
through, it's
pulling
closed,
mountains
and it's just
over
a
and
matter of
over and
moments now.
over again.
Snakes and team
Kind of
see
crazy,
what's going
bro.
on here. They pick up the elimination, and Sinetto will fall now.
Ooh, that was a good beam.
It's a few situations
Is that a storm
like
flip?
that we've
1
seen when
HP.
a player,
Oh my
a duo,
gosh.
or even
Is
a
that a
full
storm flip?
trio below the damage threshold on Surge, they have to stray away from their overall game plan and get almost into the very next fight that they see. And I've already seen 2 teams go down because of that top of the mountain status, power, listen. They have all the time in the world to make their way down this side of the mountain. They can recycle a lot of their build. They just need to be very, very cautious of anybody waiting to do the exact same thing. Quanti, Freeze, they might be a duo, but that's a duo that you have to be wary of because they can turn things around at a moment's notice.
And look, they're being very cautious of that team there, but I wonder if they're too early for the rotate right now. Now they're going to allow that team to build on top of them, so we'll see. Can't catch too much tunnel vision here. Clix, Yonzo, and Higgs continuing to fight and drop teams in the mid-ground. Now jumping up to 7 eliminations. They had no elims coming into this.
Guys, I
endgame
appreciate
here,
that,
and
man.
all of a
Thank
sudden
you.
They are just putting up the
Just
numbers
join.
here
What's your
as
shoe
we
size? Okay, you guys
expected
gotta
them.
stop, man.
And most
We're doing too
importantly,
much.
So much material to work with.
Why
When you
does all of
need
your
it
audios go
most here.
viral? Dude, I don't know, but I appreciate it. It's pretty cool.
You gotta give Yamzo credit, the full trio credit, just constantly elevating themselves
Oh
higher
my
and
gosh.
higher. And they're being very proactive before the zone actually
Dude,
pulls
this
over the
is
top of the mountain.
terrible.
They wanted to increase their
Bro, if you're
position,
on
make it a
low
little bit
ground right now,
easier for them to
GG.
get up the side
You're
of the mountain
cooked.
while
Yeah,
every
just
other team at
GG. You
this
should have
moment
pulled
is
zone.
trying to battle their way up.
Oh
With the
my
rapid threats
gosh.
Because of their split decision early on in this game to
Everyone's on
accumulate
low
surge
ground. They
from
gotta go
different
up.
boxes. They're 275 above
If you're
the
on high
damage
ground here, you-
threshold, which
you
means they
pretty
can
much
focus
just
on rotating from point A
Place
to point
top
B.
10 guaranteed.
Even Bucky, Cam, and Okus here, again, very wisely positioned here above the rest. Now, they don't have a lot of material. However, they've already gotten up and over the mountain, right? So very few can read these zones well as some of the vets. They know exactly where they need to be, but This
Look at the
great
minimap. Yeah, it's
positioning
looking
has
crazy,
cost
bro.
them plenty of damage now, so they will have to work for a refresh here. Unfortunately, it's going to be likely Bbucks' team that they're going to end up jumping in on. The options are pretty limited at this point here. High ground and low ground, but Bbucks' team strikes first, and Bucky loses Cam here in the mix. Finds some exchange tags there, though. Keeps him at least in the game for now, but talk about timing there.
Yeah, Cam just lost focus for a second, went to look at high ground. They immediately pushed their way in, got the down. Now Threats are struggling to find his way back, but then the smoke is going to grant him a few extra time, but it's
Dude, Bucky's
Bbucks
popping
that
off
takes
right
the
now.
sacrifice to
Oh
keep
my
Threats
gosh.
into the game, and he reunited at the front side of the zone
Come
with
on, come on,
Rapid.
come on.
They
Keep it
might
going,
just
keep it
be a
going.
duo monster,
Keep the
but
show on the
duo,
road.
I feel like can make things work.
Hold
as
up.
Bucky makes his way down below. Okus is there.
I don't even know where his
beside. They have
teammates
4
at, bro.
eliminations. They have 2 different Chug Jugs to try to get the HP and shield up, but they have so
Good
many
100 health with
players
Chug
down
Jugs.
and around him.
I respect it. Bucky keeping the dream alive for the team right now, as is Threats here in the mid ground, and Threats still fighting his way through with Rapid here rotating as the dual attacks coming in from the high ground. So Power, Listen, and Status continue to maintain.
All right, Twitch chat. Y'all are making drama about nothing. You guys gotta chill. Obviously,
damage from the storm here,
obviously,
so
bro's lying
Status
about his
hesitant
Fortnite
to
account,
make
bro.
the drop down, but it is
You
inevitable.
guys realize
Meanwhile,
anyone in
Rapid
chat could just be
on
like,
ultimate
yeah,
low
I have
mats here, has
500k
to play for
earnings.
refresh. He
Look at
finds
my
the mats
account.
here
My account
at
name
the
is
end of
Bbucks.
storm. It's 2 players there,
You
but
know
he's
what I
out of
mean?
mats. He's caught in a bit of a back and forth.
And you know who you
scenario,
are.
but
Please
now
stop
Bonnie's gonna
lying,
be a little
man.
bit
You're
of a
trolling the whole
move for him.
chat. You gotta chill.
There goes a couple of mats to work with. Can't even
It was
find
funny for a bit,
Threats
but
in
now you're
all
doing
of
too
this
much.
here. I'm not even sure what Threats is myself.
Yeah, chill with the drama, guys. Chill, chill,
Meanwhile,
chill.
Bucky and Oak is still alive right now. Holding on
Threats.
desperately. No health to work with here, Jacob.
Threats finding an elimination, but he got separated too far from Rapid as Bucky. Okus, they're just staying
Oh
in the
my
middle.
gosh.
A fight for
Oh my
high ground.
gosh.
He's gonna break out. Now
That guy just took an elevator to the low ground. Y'all saw that?
They had to drop down low. Maybe they're out of builds, but listen, Power, Status. 2 of these 3 players qualified for their first major final.
Oh, man.
last season.
Oh,
They're
those
looking
bats
for a
are
repeat, but they
dangerous.
just get knocked into the backside of zone. Listen,
Oh,
that's
man.
a double. Bucky's still fighting it out, trying to shoot up.
Dude,
and he gets
Bucky's
another
popping off, bro.
elimination
Gotta-
on the
oh my-
Status. The tables have turned. Bucky fans are
Bro's
on the edge of their
locked
seats right
in.
now.
Bucky's turning up here and
Gotta put
finding
some
the tags that
respect
matter
on
most.
Bucky's
Okus
name,
is
bro.
still alive,
He's
too.
cooking.
He's got the firepower to work with, but no more mats to work with
Oh,
here. It's
from
gonna come down
behind.
to it, but a tag from
Oh,
behind
man.
will send him back to the lobby. And
That's
valiant
unlucky.
effort, though.
That kid
It's a
just, like,
duel
waddled
on
out
one
Storm
night.
there.
A trio on the low. The low ground teams have been finding themselves winning all day long, but Natmos has to time this perfectly. He has to play it smart, utilize the zone.
Nah,
to his
the low
advantage.
ground trio
Don't
wins
let
this.
team go up. Great tags here, and he is
Or,
fighting
sorry,
his
they
way
don't
through.
win this.
Straight to the finals if he can get the refresh
misspoke.
here. There it is, the match to keep him
Yeah,
in the game.
this guy,
The full
well,
finishes,
respect
the
anyone.
siphons are keeping
He's
him
chilling.
alive in the storm here, and he could be sending
Nice.
himself all the way through, and he does
W
it in the
match.
end.
That's 9
That
eliminations.
was crazy,
by
bro. Just the
himself.
up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down in the storm there, man.
Team overall,
Holy cow.
Natmos and Aiden have now just achieved FNCS finals with a big game
W qual,
win
bro.
as a
W qual.
trio. That will mark their 13th finals appearance in their careers.
Respectable plays all the way through to the very end, and honestly, we couldn't have counted them out ourselves. We didn't know what was going on there. High ground was a fight for it. Mid ground had battles, and then you throw in the mountain in the mix, making it all the more difficult here.
Just hi to my brother Alex. What's up, Alex?
Take
How you doing,
a
bro?
look at this one more time. You have to give this guy all the respect in the world. Natmos putting up the shots, and a 12 elimination victory royale will send them through coming out of game number 3. And who better, of course, to break it down than our analyst over at the desk.
Congratulations to the trio. I love right there at the end.
Y'all
right
are
there, little
trolling
quick
too much,
reload
bro.
to the shotgun. Like,
Ay,
hold
ay,
on,
ay.
just one moment. Hold on. Okay, all right. I'm going to the finals. Nice try, though.
I don't even know what I'm reading anymore.
A 12 elimination VR here at the halfway point. You know they've got to be going crazy to just watch in that moment. It's like, just think about you being Natmos' teammate, right? Just be like, okay, that's 1, that's 2. You're still going. You're crazy. You're cracked.
Yeah,
We're in
right.
finals.
I mean, and to look at actually their history of the play-ins, they barely scraped by. I think they were 91st
Wow.
overall in the play-ins. So to go from almost not even making it into the group stages to now punching your ticket to the Major 2 finals, that's got to feel good, Vivid.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
flipping
they
the script
cooked.
on us as well, winning from the high gun, winning a 2v3 situation, incredible stuff right there. And speaking about scripts, why don't we just go ahead and read off like what I said after game number 2 with the
chat, give me like
zones, right?
30
Pulling
seconds.
over
I'm gonna
the
be right
mountain,
back.
Pulling then
I'm
right
all out of
off,
water.
making it so difficult for
Actually
most
might
of
be
our
a bit
teams
longer
to
than 30 seconds,
actually
but
get a
around
hold
30
of some
seconds.
mats,
I'll be
you
right
know,
back, okay?
A little bit of safe ground during the entirety of this game. But for Natmos, Dozier, and Aiden, they were able to be the ones that came out on top. Incredible stuff from this trio.
It's, you know, a bit interesting. We were watching so many trios, but actually not able to watch this trio at all. And it kind of just goes to show you that although there might be a lot of chaos going on in the low ground, you're able to grab a bunch of eliminations. If you stay on this kind of second low ground, you're kind of getting a benefit of both staying low, but also staying a little high as well. And clearly that worked out for them, getting 12 eliminations, 9 just on that alone. That's got to be a good momentum going into the finals next week.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Speaking about momentum, right? Kind of the game-winning moment for them is when that higher ground chaos kind of ensued. Power, Listen, and Status were the ones controlling it for most of that game. But because of how that zone pulled off the mountain, they weren't able to actually get close to anybody, not able to find any of those refreshes. They were an easy one to kind of kick off of the high ground right there, pick up the high ground and pick up the win.
That's right. I love to see it. Of course, there's a couple things we want to highlight from that game, but first, a quick break. When we return, we'll break it all down for you. Stay tuned.
If you miss, you gon' regret it. Before you crawl, know I'm running it all. I'm built up like a pharaoh, now they praying that I fall. Through shadows, been burning through these battles. No weakness in my body, need to know you better ask somebody. Already, I consume the petty, it's plenty. I leave a penny for thoughts about how I'm living. Ay, turn up the track, going deep, I'm in the zone. You know I'm about to go, harder than hard to go. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it. No, it's a rap, got the match built like a pro. You know the legends go, harder than adios. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it. No, me off the top, no way. I came and called my name. I gave my life into my place, earned everything that I claimed. Nothing ever could replace me. 3-4-3-4, square dance on the floor. This is not a ball, I'm above it all. Start, I see my glow up, where you supposed to go. Proceed on the low, can't lose and find the go. Leave me in the zone, I take your mind and then I snatch your soul. Turn up the track, going deep, I'm in the zone. You know I'm about to go, harder than hard to go. When the lights shine bright, that's my show. Burn up and see the glow, I'm gonna make it. No, I get it, they love my whole steady. Fake ops don't listen, told you this ain't hypothetical. Answer the call, prove this once and for all. Can't reach me with an arrow, summer nights I never fall. No cattle, the goat don't wear a saddle. Go riders off my body, cut them off, they acting sloppy. Already, I consume the petty. The vision's 2020, believe your eyes are winning.
Guess who's back? Back again. Alright, what's poppin'? What is poppin', guys? How long did bro take? It wasn't that long. It's like a minute. It was a bit longer than I said I was going to, but yeah, sorry. It took a lot of time to rotate dead side, you know.
I want to make it known. I like Vivid. He's cool. All right. Welcome back to the FNCS. 2 games left to go. Don't shake your head, Kelly. Welcome back to the FNCS. Dolzer, Natmos, and Aiden got themselves a 12 elim victory royale in the last game. In case maybe you're just tuning in, welcome. We're super glad you're here. In that last game, okay, so, you know, there's like this item called the kneecapper.
Yeah.
And you know, it could save you from fall damage if used correctly.
Okay.
There was something that happened in this last game.
Oh no.
With Clix.
Don't tell me. Did Clix do the dumb thing with the baseball bat?
Okay.
So.
Oh
yeah,
no.
This kneecapper is supposed to save you, but not everyone always uses it that way, unfortunately.
Man, Zeke, you need to make your way over to the analyst role right now because that was quite the breakdown. Eomzo Higgs and Clix, listen, they're doing an incredible job, but sometimes Vivid, it doesn't go the way that you want. And you actually broke down the
I don't even know what
last
happened. I
week
didn't see it
for
in
Group
the
1. So
broadcast.
what exactly do you think happened here?
I actually haven't seen this yet, so I'm paying close attention to what actually happened to the trio here. Clix, Higgs, and Eomzo. Kelly was kind of
they were doing good, and then.
And I think the moment's going to be right.
Oh my god.
Yep.
They all died?
Here we go with Clix.
No!
Oh, the whole trio within like a second of each other. It's completely.
And we're laughing.
7th elims though. I mean, hey, listen, it could have been worse.
Their whole trio.
Could have been worse.
I thought it was just Clix that used the bat and Crux. I was like, it happens, man. You know, sometimes you sell with it. It's good.
Especially in these group stages.
All three of them.
Watching it again, great.
Oh my gosh.
You can only do so much with, especially this new mobility that's.
They just dropped max loot on some random dude that was down there.
There's little things that happen sometimes. Zeke, this isn't something that we should really dwell on.
Oh man,
that's fair, right? It was a very chaotic
they're still in qual
zone,
range. It's whatever.
Of course,
but
you know these mountain.
That's a bad day right there.
Have been brutal. All right,
I think we
can
No.
all agree they have been very brutal. But as we
definitely
turn our
not today,
attention
guys.
here to the standings, remember
No,
we're
I'm
trying to
preaching,
end
man.
the day
I'm
with a
tired.
victory royale or two, and basically just imagine that top 10 right now, right? From that last game, we had a big game also from Booga, Rapid, and Threats, who showed up pretty big. We've seen them now that they've had 3 games, a 5th place, a 2nd place, and now a 6th place. So they're playing within that top 10, and I really like that consistency. I do feel like we haven't seen the team's full potential yet. It almost feels like in some ways they're kind of holding back. I don't know if I'm maybe just overthinking that.
No, that seems to be the thought process, especially whenever Booga is in a team.
Y'all in the Twitch chat, you guys are literally starting drama from nothing, bro. I'm just timing this kid out. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, blah, 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 blah. I got to time you out for 10 minutes. I'm sorry. Just the amount of just stuff I'm reading right now, bro. Like, you guys are just bickering back and forth about literally nothing. I'm sorry, bro.
To take height, but when Bucky's trio jumps
I'm doing
in
that,
there in
and
moment,
then I'm clearing the chat.
Yeah, I mean, we got to go ahead and mention Bucky before.
Sorry, y'all are driving me crazy, bro. I'm starting to get a headache reading this chat right now.
Onto Booga. Actually, they continued their game elsewise. He was looking like he had 0 materials. Great clutch from Bucky there.
Like we're trying to watch FNCS, guys, not argue about who has earnings and PR in the Twitch chat. You know what I mean?
But like, you know,
but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're not in trouble or anything, bro. You're chilling. It's just for the greater good of ending this discussion. It's just best if we end the discussion here. You know,
call out Vivid. You know, the fact that he did eliminate Booga, that's big, right? Especially for him. Obviously not on the side of Booga, that's bad. But for Bucky to kind of like really start to hit that momentum again, we're trying to pick up. We're trying to make things happen.
in this group? No, I think P was already I think he played week 1. That's what everyone was saying.
Yeah, I could probably feel the same way for a lot of our other trios right now, knowing that this is pretty much at 2 more games, or they have to go through that last chance qualifier where only 3 trios move through. They don't want to have to go in through that, Zeke. This is it. 2 more games to go.
Oh man. Monster D-Face, Jacob PR, find your seats on the battle bus. Give us that bird's eye view.
Let's get it. Game 4, boys.
Yeah, that's right. I'm ready for the action. Game 4 now, starting to heat things up here. 3 teams have punched their way straight through to the finals.
Let's go.
Things are really starting to look interesting. I
When
want to
will
know
we get a face reveal?
who's going to take the blame
right
for
now.
Clix's team hitting that floor.
No way.
We'll just have to see, though.
No
we're
way.
Jumping in for game number 4.
Holy cow. This is crazy.
Game number 4, Monster, and this is really where you kind of look at that leaderboard. If it were the line, it is 127 points as it stands. Carillion Northern and Hound are going to be the ones kind of holding on, see if they can make themselves have exponentially better game so they can push themselves into the bubble and really not have to worry about it. Everywhere else on the map, some spots have opened up throughout the first 3 games, and you're seeing things continue to calm down over here towards Demons Jojo, giving Jesse, Jerem, Liam, and Ayo Cod a chance to really loot up and think about their strategy going into this game.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that now if you're finding yourself around those 40, 50 points, I mean, you are in about the most desperate situation of anyone in the game who's going to be dependent on that victory royale, unless you make 2 masterful games out of these last couple opportunities. But for folks like this team here, they have everything it takes so far to be in that consistent conversation for the remaining spots. What do you think the point cutoffs is going to be? Around 180, 200? How far do you think we got to take it?
I think around like 180. That's been kind of the lowest so far for the most part that it has been. So I would think 180, 200, that should be your goal. And they already got a first knock in this situation. So a 3v2, something that's been splitting up, and you see the scanner going down. All the positions.
Yo, Cal with a new member. Thank you so much, Cal. Appreciate you. W Cal.
Going to be able to continue
Thank
to
you,
try
man.
to push that fight. As we jump on over Clix, Yamzo,
Yo, New, what's up?
Business
What is
as
this,
usual for them.
How you doing,
Only
man?
one of them's going to focus on breaking open the vault. The other 2 are going to loot the outskirts of Lone Wolf Lair.
Find it
Get
interesting
shots
how
where
Clix's team
possible,
always
but really
uses
take note
the
of teams that
scanner.
might be walking towards
You don't
that
really see
black
any other
market,
pros
because those
using
are
it
the
very
ones they
often.
really have to worry about most.
But these guys always carry it.
It's always those teams that are.
I think it's part of their fighting
area.
strategy. Once they're like mid-game, they always throw them down early to get the
All
marks.
in God's hands, Maji and Gavin continuing the Shiny Shafts fight. This is a
You gonna watch the Star Wars live stream at 7?
happening here.
I don't know what's going on with that. Is that on Twitter?
Usually he's the one to go down.
check.
We've seen so far him being the clutch factor, but Psalm 28:7 is going to fall there as well. Ian, all in God's hands. Just really making work of these teams here.
I don't see anything on Twitter about leaks.
Rapid Booga threats.
Oh wait, no, here we go.
Over here towards
Fortnite Star Wars
game after game
announcement
after
could
game.
take
There's a
place
lot
tonight at
of loot
10:30 p.m.
over
ET. The
towards
Star Wars
C4.
Celebration
It's
live
kinda
stream
crammed in these
starts
buildings,
30 minutes
so you
after
can't
I'm Stop reveals
necessarily
tonight, and
easily
a
shoot
panel
for Surge until you're
where
looted up
Fortnite stuff will
and
likely
ready
be
to
revealed
go.
starts
It's
2
gonna
hours
primarily be up to threats,
later.
up to Rapid, trying to get that full loadout as fast as possible. and
Maybe
then
if it
try to
gets confirmed,
stretch
yeah,
themselves
but I
outward
don't
on
want
the
to
surrounding
stream
lands. We've
until
seen it throughout
11
these couple of
p.m.
games. They
for a
usually set up
maybe.
2,
You know what I mean?
3 different surge towers,
But
and
yeah,
that's how
it
they're
has to be
doing
a, oh
as
yeah,
much
this is
surge as
happening,
they
you know?
are in these early games to allow them to make those slower rotates that we've seen in 3, honestly, realistically, games so far.
Big games, consistent games, slow and steady for sure, but not out of the woods just yet. Gotta keep the pace going here. I'd argue this is the scariest spot to be in, right? Or right, you're at right like 130. You're like, dude, you know, we're just getting points, you know.
Yep.
In order to keep it up, clearly not everything's going so perfectly round after round. But again, this team
Yo,
is
Dark
lucky that
Phantom
Buzz's
with the
team
prime sub resub
qualified
4
out the gate, right?
months,
things
bro.
just started to
Thank
change
you.
for Noxie's
I
trio,
appreciate
kinda
that. Thank
moving
you so much,
afterwards,
dude.
'cause they're
W4
one of
months.
the teams on this kind of western border.
Let's go,
Talk
boys.
about
We're at
that.
253 subs now, bro.
Snake
Thank you.
and Mystic are as well, and
When I said they were
they
announcing
seem to
something on
really
their Twitter,
enjoy getting
let me look.
third-partied here. They're going
I was looking
right
at
back
leakers' Twitters.
to this area
Did they
where
say
they
that
got
on
into this
comp, or did they
huge
say that
fight
on-
just last round? And it seems like an ever-evolving story here. Another set of players coming in. I'd assume that's Listen, status, and power there, but we'll see.
They might have said that on their official Fortnite.
A hot spot for a lot of our teams that are kind of landing on that mountain just south of it as well.
You excited? Because I'm excited to catch the Star Wars Celebration live stream tonight for all news on what's coming to
Power's going to try
Fortnite.
to start the disengagement towards the outside. Shogun
what's
Solitude,
happening
that's
during
where they
that?
know his solo's already there. And just in the nick of time, another trio moving up.
It's on the Star Wars YouTube channel.
Polar, taking his shields down. Listen as well. And they're going to see that as a green light. They don't even know they're chasing a solo. They just see a weak team that they put damage on, that they could try to fight
Yeah,
isolated,
probably not
so
watching
far away from
that.
everybody else on the map.
It doesn't seem like there's anything really going on.
Listen, taking a lot of damage though, and the Storm's gonna continue to put the pressure on his head. Gets the splash off, but first,
Oh my
he's
gosh, I thought he was going to
tags.
double one pump him for a
He
second.
gets one, but the follow-up was too strong. It's like status now.
Bro, if he got a
Go ahead
double
and buy some
max
time for
pump
Powers
clutch there,
on
that
the
would have
other
been
side of the
crazy.
wall.
When are you gonna post the scary games from
Team's
last
just
night on the
gonna
HaloBT
back
Games
out,
channel?
call
This
for the
week.
disengage. Okay.
We just posted one today, guys.
Drill's gonna take
Y'all
that
are so
out.
antsy for me to upload, but dude, I'm uploading. Y'all gotta watch
briefly
it.
saw
We
for a
uploaded
short
a
moment
HaloBT
they're
Reacts
rotating
video
into a
today on my
potential
HaloBT Reacts channel, so watch
third
that.
party up the
And then
side
we
of that
posted
mountain. When you
Bad
make this much
Parenting on my
noise, remember,
HaloBT
it was
Games
more
channel.
than
We posted
just
2
these
videos
two
today,
teams
guys.
fighting.
And
It
I've
was
streamed almost
originally
8 hours. We're at
power
7
status,
hours and
fighting
45
third,
minutes.
but everybody really
Like,
getting caught off guard.
I'm
You
cooking,
think
guys.
it's
You gotta
slowing
watch
down
the
over towards
content, though.
Demons
You know what I mean?
Dojo. All it takes is one
But yeah,
hidden
we'll
moment
have
from
those
Riven,
games
a
that I
mini,
played
and
the other
regular
night
Bard to go
and the
ahead
night
and cut
prior.
them
We'll
off.
have those
Really catch
posted
them off
in the
guard
next
and
week. We're gonna
solidify
upload
those
every
key
other day on the
eliminations, making
HaloBT
it go
Games channel.
down to their fifth and
So
final
we
game.
have, I think, 4 videos or 3 videos left in the vault, I guess, being edited. So those will be posted over the next 6-7 days.
Their 2 eliminations. It makes you wonder,
But yeah,
you know.
we're gonna cook, guys. Don't
I
worry.
get why they wanted to pull out of that fight, but their teammate was down. They just left him. All right, they just said, "Hey, buddy, you're on your own." We're just gonna
videos,
go
thank you, Donkey.
try to
Appreciate
run
you, bro.
this one out, and you can see what happens here. They end up earning no points now in this game. That's going to be a major setback for Snakes and team. They're going to be dependent now on a Game 5 victory royale, and hey, at least the format allows you to still
Oh no, I
have
said
hope
6-7,
in
didn't
every
I?
single game.
Oh man, every time.
This is where, you know, with the time that they're using, watch a couple of the teams, figure out what's working.
How do you guys pick up on that so quick, bro?
The game, but the action, this game.
Y'all listen to me say that, but you won't listen to me saying I'm 17 years old. Like, man. That's how I know y'all are trying to rage bait me 24/7. You listen to that, but nah, I'm 17. Like, ain't no
slows
way.
down and Nut just
Halo, how old are you? Halo, how old are you?
They get that elimination quickly cleaned up, bringing it to a 2v1 situation. So far isolated. You might see one player in the mini map towards Whiffy Warp, but I don't think there's going to be any time for them to move on over. As with Byla, Casey, both of them go down, and it's going to be a double revive coming out from both of these individuals.
Yeah, but look at this. They have the chug, right? They can bounce back a lot faster, it looks like, than Kale's team here. And talk about a very important battle. They're at 108 points here. They are very much in the conversation for a top 10 finish here today if they do
gotta get
not
that
pull a
consistency,
victory
though.
royale. So this is all the more of an important situation for them to try to find their way out of at this point. They already have the reboot card. It might just be time to disengage.
Yeah, I know it's not something that we talked about much, but that last chance qualifier, only 3 teams are going to be making out of there, advancing to the finals. Hey, if they actually do go for a reboot, this could be some free and early surge for Byla. If Nut actually does get the elimination, that's Siphon, that's HP, keeping him in this situation just a little bit longer. But it is going to be a little bit of bait.
These sneak attacks. I mean, a lot of people are ratting around, but like,
Byla's just
low-key
trying to
working,
buy
though.
some time, and he's built a cover right now. If that was Aaron that actually did get back up in this situation, he has at least somewhere to land, but it's going to be short-lived. They immediately bring it down to a 2v2, and Casey just needs to buy time here. Let the Siphon go through, but I'm not sure he's going to be given that opportunity.
Now he's going to be able to get the save here, it looks like. But wait a second. Good cancel comes through. I respect the play, though. Leaving Byla behind and try to find the lurking shot. But now it forces him kind of into burning all these material here. There it is. The save comes through. Hey, 3's better than 2. That's for sure. We know that. But how much resources have they spent here? Look, Kale's now down to no mats. Still has a little bit of heals to work with, though.
Just a lack of HP. He has him scared by Yep, he saw him on the other side. Creeped the angle. Took down Kale. Another elimination for them. And they're already jumping onto that third. Casey down below, and he stood no chance.
These guys are good
he had
fighters.
no extra HP. It's basically an all or nothing against Nut, who snapped his fingers, made him disappear back to the lobby, and just
They're doing a
another
24-hour on
team that is
Twitch.
on the list that goes
we
down
had 2K
to
viewers
game
between
number
Twitch and
5,
YouTube today.
all
Yes,
or nothing
otherwise, no.
situation.
What's happening here? Maniac. Just a rat in his little home here. Trying to get smoked out. There's 3 players to the north. Here's how that all played out. Oh, he puts up a fight, though, before getting...
Wait, have I got my Twitch drops
into
yet?
this
Let me
solo
check.
situation.
Hold on.
Jumping back over to Bucky Cam. And Oak is
Drops
here.
and rewards. Nothing's really happening on the broadcast, by the way.
Just a repeat of
Oh,
the
I have.
previous rounds, playing for
Oh,
surge
dude,
tags
sick.
here at the Seaport
If you
City.
watch Fortnite streamers for 2 hours
Bucky
today, you get
really
the bundle.
showed
So if
up
you're
last
watching me on
game.
Twitch right now, you'll get
123 points based off of the fact that he managed to pull.
you'll get some free items.
Not only a couple important
Dude.
eliminations, but a lot of placement
go.
points there. To really make the best of that last end game. But just like Byla's team, they have to stay in the running here.
I do like free
Extremely
cosmetics, bro.
competitive. on
All right,
the
sorry. I'm back.
consistency point leaderboard.
They're only 4 points. To start this game, they're only 4 points from being that team that's on
Clix
the
on
bubble.
height. Hold up.
But right now, from the outside looking in,
Bro,
just
11
need to continue their
chugs.
consistent games, build off of that confidence and momentum of that last as Clix, Higgs, and Yamzo
They're
find
vibing.
themselves parallel rotating to another one of these teams all the way towards the north from Magic Moss's Pump Power, even just under Flooded Frogs. That's a lot of the space that Clix, Higgs, and Yamzo use to try to find early damage, whether they're going for those box fights or disengaging altogether. And it already seems that they got what they wanted out of that position. And with the zones, a few times already today, moving towards the south, they're trying to be very, very proactive and beat a lot of these teams to the punch. And that's where they're going to get their surge this game.
Puka going back to his tower, trying to see if he can find
Listen to
more
meta courses right now.
surge tags
Dang.
themselves here.
He's locked in.
Has to play a pickup. Rapid seemingly taken down here.
What do you get from the drops? It's a back bling and a spray, I believe.
That's part of the risk that you take with how they play the Seaport City, right? They end up spreading out, trying to secure some land mass.
Just in time, too, because you see all these teams rotating, you know, west of Seaport City, from the north, moving south. Clix's team is going to be another one of those teams rotating in. So if they would have waited just a little bit longer, that would have been a potential risk, because Rapid, yeah, he might have been rebooted, but he could have easily been targeted, dropped down yet again. Bacon, Vortex, Nerface from Crime City. They got that first and early elimination, and judging now, they have 3 overall. They might have just wiped Crime City, using that to get their early Storm Surge, and now they have the luxury to kind of rotate. Yes, they're in zone, but they have a lot of space where they don't or aren't going to run into a team, or at least anytime soon. Try to take maybe this western rotate, maybe get in just north of Mass Meadows and kind of beeline it the rest of the way there.
Nice little find here. Couple gold splashes. And they're cat material too, so their strategy seemingly coming together
Is that
here.
for this pickaxe in the shop? The gold one? I
The
think so.
Crime City now
I
to the
think so.
safety
People
of
are
the
saying
zone.
that it
Keep
is.
close tabs on
so I'm
them.
going with what the
We get to
vast
jump in
majority
with
of the Fortnite
Soneto
community is
Blake
talking
and
about.
sales. It's kind of been like a
Name
mixed
a country for
performance
that.
all in all from them.
America.
There are times when they're in great positions and times like now
Pull out
where
the bald eagles, please.
they're really wearing the damage of the early game. 108 points though still puts them in the conversation at the moment. I like this. They're playing for the medallion.
Just play a little slow, play a little steady. Just get a little bit of resources at a time. As you see them just trying to looten up the armored van that is going to be left behind. And without a teammate, they're probably trying to look, see where they can try to get a reboot back on up, over towards Pump Power. That's going to be the first place I'd look, but the fight's already breaking down. Yamzo, Higgs, Clix. There's a whole nother trio down below, and they are in the driver's seat with full control over this fight, basically converging and forcing them onto that low ground.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. There's a lot of teams in the vicinity. I think they recognize that as well. They had to have
it's not
seen
worth
one of the
fighting.
trios rotating in
If
from
they
the
just get
distance
ahead,
and
save
they're
these heals,
beelining
make it end
their way
game,
out
they
of
can
here.
probably get a win
But
here.
they know it or not, it's probably the
And
best
quick.
decision now. They're
First
only at
place qual,
149
yeah.
points, so if they make an end game here, they should be all but qualified. However, there is still a game worth of end games in front of them that they need to get through first in order to feel absolutely confident of their ticket to the finals being punched in and secured. Meanwhile, Maniac picks up one of his 2 teammates that were downed. And this is the trio that nearly won the last game. Fuse, Thetic, and Maniac actually coincidentally got the
Oh, wait,
Elam
hang on.
credits for Clix and his entire trio.
Hang on,
Higgs
hang on,
and
hang on.
Yamzo off the fall damage. So the tick there must have put a little bit of damage in on them.
Seeing a lot of teams just slow to rotate out of the zone overall, especially since it continues to move further and further towards the south. As soon as it looks like Aaron, Nut, and Bila are going to make it towards the edge, It pulls further and further out. There is going to be one team nearby, but a lot of them might be forced to kind of focus on the rotation. And you can see in their inventory, 2 out of the 3 members of this team do not have any of your normal mobility. No kneecap or no gauntlets. All they're going to be able to have is those splashes, which actually burst the speed. But you do typically want to save those to later in the game, those moving zones, especially with the lack of mobility. So it's going to be a rough road for them. But if they can make it to the zone with the resources that they have,
not yet. We'll probably get to it eventually.
TK Freeze and Quanti right now on the move here. A couple tags coming in. Whoa. Freeze with the counter fire.
Someone's getting fried.
So many angles. Multiple trios with vision lines on them. Ends up costing them a fair bit. That's going to kill their momentum for sure. Oh, and that makes sense. One of the teams is, of course, Booga on the high ground there. You have to assume it's likely Okis or someone on the nearby side. They're all in this general area for their draw spots, but wait a second. We knew Clix, Higgs, and Iamzo were making a smart rotate before, but who do they rotate into that's costing them all of this? It's Elush in the trio, but Iamzo clutching up alongside Higgs. It seems like Higgs might have been the decision maker there.
Dude, that exotic AR is in comp.
They found that first elimination.
I didn't even know that.
From the team, even though they're moving further.
Oh my gosh, I thought certain exotics weren't supposed to be in comp. I figured it was too OP. I used that for the first time today in that ranked match earlier, guys.
And Clix adds another elimination to the list of things that they have, and they get a little bit more on that Chug med kits.
I know a lot of y'all don't like it, but it fits my playstyle so well. Because you get that pepper effect with it, and then you just spray and spray and spray, and it speeds up the more you shoot it.
And with the zone
so then you get a stupid fast shooting, legendary
Yamzo and Clix. Actually pulls to where they can position themselves in zone, wait for it to open up, so they get their pick of the litter of where they want to be.
Yeah, just a short ride to the safety here, and the zone's going to be sliding their way, so this is pretty nice. Hot on the press, though. You have Viper and Optics. What are they going to do? Picking up a med miss from the down body, so just snaking their way through what's left of the loot there. Meanwhile, at the Seaport City, the home of Booga, who has the prime real estate, the penthouse up top here. All eyes on the scene for Freeze, TK, and Quanti.
Pickaxe is coming out in June.
Their way into this great position.
Nah, what's the source though? Who said that on Twitter?
All this material count, but
June's crazy.
Trying to figure out what's their next move now.
Really was thinking about their storm surges.
Well, the tourney ends at 7 p.m.
Because I was kind of questioning their position.
There's one game left after
this. Inside of Seaport, inside of one of those builds, you don't have a great vantage point over every other team like Booga Threats and Rapid Duke right above them. But they did so good getting damage early on. They don't have to worry about taking that risk, putting themselves in a spot just like that. See everybody towards the outskirts. But Threats and Rapid, kind of the leaders in this team in terms of the ones hunting for that damage. They're 760 above the threshold. They have like an emergency launch pad just in case they do need it on top if it does pull far away. I think they're setting themselves up for another one of these games where they might find themselves on the slow side of the zone, maybe another top 5.
See if a top 5's in the cards here, but give it a minute. Maniac infused.
Oof.
All right, they got caught skipping the line. They get sent back to the lobby there.
GG's, bro.
You gotta respect it, you know, for a solo player picking up his team, trying to get back in the running. He definitely
go to pro as a spectator, give you the pickaxe. Yeah, I saw him, man.
For them now.
I'm not gonna be able to go though.
For Optics, it's up to him now to see what he can do. Surge is active.
If I was invited and I was playing, I would definitely go. And I'd move everything around, but I have a pretty packed schedule, and to go as a spectator, like I would love to,
because of
but
that launch pad, even if the zone does pull
it'd make more sense to me to
away,
focus on what I got going on. Because I mean, we just moved into a new house,
how many other teams are on that side of the zone.
But yeah, if I was playing, it would make way more sense to go.
Especially with the zone pulling away, they can launch pad, they can
because there's so much money on the line, and you know, being there in the stadium playing, I can stream it, I can make YouTube content on it. You know, it'd be worth it. But yeah, me just being there in the stands is not as much worth it.
Using all of their resources to make it.
But I do want the pickaxe though.
Their only real blunder so far today was, well, it was that last game.
I was going to ask you, who do you think on their team is making the call to jump on this trio?
Oh my gosh, bro's 1 health.
That's underneath them. They're all sizing them up, but wait a second. Power FN 1 HP flirting with the storm line there in the siphon. Whoa, talk about
That's pretty
best
convenient.
opportunity right there.
Yeah,
Gives
get
him
a
a lot of
little HP
HP,
action.
little leftover finds here. Gonna at least give him some hope.
Oh, another med kit.
Makes a difference.
Yeah, missing some shields though, and he's 72 below the damage threshold, but Hound just trying to go and land a little bit of a cheeky shot. He doesn't need the most damage in the world. A well-placed shotgun shot, a couple of tags from the Hollow Twister AR.
That was
Another
so awkward.
Another player individually
Oh,
that
no,
he
man.
boxes up, gets the
Oh,
ramp
oh,
in.
wait, you
The
can't
Mongo
cook that.
Classic is out, but he misses a big shot.
Oh,
He still has full
now he's not
advantage,
cooking.
but the tables have turned. Hound's still trying to do what he can, but he's getting choked out by the
yeah.
zone until he eventually goes down to
GG.
Murray, who turned the tables in the blink of an eye. That was just incredible way to stay
Is
alive
NA? Yes,
and
sir.
start to get some placement points
Give
because
him the
now we're in the
title,
top 17.
And that's really a showing of what happens when you catch
Buy the
one
ticket,
off
you
guard,
get
right?
the pickaxes. No, you have to go. You have to
Probably
attend
had peak
to get the
adrenaline
pickaxe.
rushing
They're
through
giving it
him,
out in person.
And the nerves
At
set
least
in,
that's
and
what
Hound
everyone's
couldn't
saying
just close it
online.
out. Look at this beautiful
So I
aerial
could buy
shot
the
right
ticket,
here,
but then I'd just be
showing us
wasting
how much
money because I wouldn't be going, you
contention
know.
there is on this rotate here. No easy freebies
Where is it even
here to
located?
move
Are they
across
doing it
this
in
zone
Texas?
right now. Everyone's on the
Where
outskirts
is
and now
the
starting to huddle up
Fortnite
just at the spear
program?
point of the new storm, and they
Oh, it's
most of them
LA.
moved pretty early. The zone hasn't even decided to start
May 10th in
rotating
LA.
till just now.
Dude, I would love to go to LA.
Some of the last in line here.
$500,000 prize pool
Yeah,
and then
Blake
opportunity
there,
to raise the
seeing
pro-am
list,
trophy.
Just fights
Dude, that's
happening
so
still,
cool.
even on the edge of zone. Meanwhile, Quanti Freeze
Oh
and
man,
ZK
I wish I was invited,
have to
bro.
decide what they're gonna do. They're gonna go for a refresh potentially before making the move.
Yeah, although they may not necessarily need the materials and stuff now, they're trying to be proactive, seeing who they can catch off guard. Rapid Booga threat, same thing for them. They're already starting to build onto that high ground, and they're expending a lot of resources in this 8th zone. It's almost a feeling of deja vu, because one of our earlier games, we saw a team take high ground in the 8th zone. They ran out of resources, they got contested, and they lost it all.
Happens to the best. Booga, Threats, and Rapid, though, on height right now. Metal build starting
You're
to come
showing
out.
thing. Yo, appreciate that, bro.
Curious to
Thank
see
you.
what they're going to end up connecting with next. Over the top. Once again, onto Bucky Okus. They just can't get enough of this team here.
You playing Hello Neighbor? Not
That's
today,
what
man.
happens. You know, they land near each other, so it's inevitable that they're going to be somewhat hovering depending on where the zones pull in. Last game, it was Bucky's team who got the best of them. Booga, Rapid, and Threats, though, do seem to be in the most prominent position now. And I don't see them letting go of this chokehold they have on the lobby. Clix, Higgs, and Yamza, though, struggling through the low ground here. They've just continued to enjoy playing this low ground.
Also, I may be noticing,
Yeah, 176
but this is
points to basically all
another
but qualify.
snowy
just
mountain
maybe
end game where it goes up
couple
mountain.
more eliminations happen. A couple more.
I may be
placement points,
noticing
365. Now there's 645.
another
up the
match
threshold.
with a
Yamso's
snow
taking some
endgame.
damage, but he's leading
Where it
by
goes up
example,
mountain,
making
and then
sure
down
Clix
mountain, and then
Higgs
up
have a
mountain, and then
safe
down mountain.
rotation on their way in.
I'm just saying, I'm noticing a pattern, bro.
Momentarily get targeted out, but they quickly
These
jump
zones
on
are not
even
feeling
over, and
random
that's
to
gonna be
me,
the
bro.
reason why Clix goes down, just too far separated from Higgs
I don't
and
know. I
Yamso.
mean, that's pretty crazy,
I was
man.
going to say, you just can't.
When I
do
play
that
ranked,
when you
I
have Booga, Rapid
never get these snow
on the high
mountains as an
ground there with
endgame.
Threats. You can just see that they are shredding any opportunity of a player that gives them a chance to. And this is how you play high ground. This
Nice
is how you
stream. Thank
start
you,
to
Carlos.
rack up those elims. Again, they're not the flashiest
I wonder if they
trio
have different
by any means. However, when it
zone
comes to endgame, it's where they
polling
really start to
patterns
shine and find their points. Look at
for
the
tournaments versus
cross over
ranked.
here to cut this opponent off.
Like
from
in
the high
tournaments, you're
ground
more
spot.
likely to pull
Higgs
them
and
out
Yamza
than
holding on,
in
still
ranked.
playing the low ground front side here, trying to rotate, but
We need Shadow
Booga
Bombs
has
back? Yeah,
control
right.
of high ground here, but they're starting to run out of map. Booga just has 6 to work with.
Oh,
They're gonna
Higgs with
become
a crazy
desperate
one
too.
pump.
Meanwhile, Higgs, though,
Oh my gosh.
on the
Oh,
low
no,
ground
he can't go.
showing
Oh, and
what
Yamzo
he
goes
is
down.
made of. 5 elims for them
Oh,
in the
guys,
top 10
no.
now. Another great showing here
Should've been
in the
together
match
there.
so far, but
GG, bro.
all eyes on Booga, Rapid, and Threats right now.
Maybe Booga with the win here? They're chilling on
Momentary
height again.
contested fight, broken
They're
lead
playing
in
very
20. We're
confident
looking to
today.
rope up, but they get shut down. Quickly running out of builds. Bucky goes deep into the zone. Sales goes down. He's trying to make his second FNCS finals after making his first last season, but that road is cut short. Quanti Freeze and TK down below. They know a lot of these teams are going to have to jump down and meet them on that low ground, and they're trying to be in the driver's seat when that happens. As Bucky, Cam, they're shooting towards the back. Rapid, Booga Threat, they're using the Metamis smoke to try to buy time, but Rapid goes down
Rapid goes down.
again.
And Bucky seems the last to
maybe a
survive here. He just
Bucky
waits
win?
it out and times it perfectly. Gavin
it's
might
either
just
gonna
be
be
the
Bucky or
refresh for
Buddha,
them now.
man.
But Bucky's out of mats too. Cam and
Everyone's out of
Ocus
mats.
here are
Yeah, they keep going up and down, up and down.
Everyone in this game here needs a refresh, needs material, needs a way to have a little bit of hope, but it's Ocus right now who's on fire. That
Oh, man,
drum gun
everyone's
in hand making all
broke.
the difference.
No one has any
Just
loot.
10 players standing here. No
Oh,
one's
Booga goes
healthy.
down.
Booga's
Oh,
gonna
man.
fall. Threats is gonna fall too.
Wait,
And
Bucky with the win? Hold
Ocus,
on.
and Cam are the only trio
No
standing.
way.
The only strong trio at
No
least.
way.
There's one down below, but they're in shambles.
No way.
Getting
He's
ripped
popping
apart
off.
As two more players go down.
No,
Bucky
his teammate-
is really
I
leading
have the
by
makeup. Oh my God. His
example.
teammate goes
They
down.
have 12 eliminations as a team, 213
Oh, man.
points.
Come on, come on,
but
come on.
they
We need a
don't wanna
Bucky win out
qualify
here, bro.
through consistency. They want to stamp their way by force, and the drop down is now coming in. They're doing it by force because they're targeting up on the high ground. And Bucky, Cam, they're quickly running out of build, so it's almost an all or nothing
gotta make a play.
situation. Cam goes down,
Oh,
ready to
now
finish
they're
the
getting
fight.
pieced up.
Damage is there, but Liam gets struck. That's a big
Oh,
shot by
he
Cam,
choked.
but he gets taken
No,
out
he
as well.
choked.
Bucky
Hit
by
the max
himself.
and he choked.
1v2 situation.
Oh my
The
gosh.
zone is there. The Siphon comes in.
Bucky's
He needs
popping
the
off.
elimination on the 20. Now
No
it's
way.
coming down to a 1v1
No way.
situation, and his
Is this actually a
opposition
1v1
went
though?
deep in the zone to try to
Oh,
win by
Bucky's panicking. He's not gonna win.
Away on the other side.
Yeah, he
Bucky versus
panicked.
Broken, and he breaks through.
Bro,
Bucky takes the
they
game
actually
and advances
had
to the
that,
finals.
man.
You know what?
Cam
You gotta
panicked and then
respect that
Bucky
end game.
panicked.
What
Just
a
the
clash
pressure was too
off.
much.
It was, and you are
They would have
seeing
won that too,
2023
man.
Bucky for good reason right now.
Oh,
Fine
gosh.
force. Shout out to Broken though, who clutches
They
up the
played good,
shot
though. I think
to
they
win
qualified
the game
regardless
and
off of
send his
consistency.
team
They've been
through
playing
to the
phenomenal,
finals.
but
What
just seen them
a
get the win
game
was cool, you know.
that was there, Jacob.
Yeah,
Well played to the other team, though.
20. They really just took that last fight by storm. Even when things looked a little shaky, Bucky getting elimination. They're trying to tie it up. They stayed confident. They held their ground, and they picked up the eliminations. And that was big because now they don't have to play the last game out. They can watch all the action out tomorrow. They get a full week break before finals.
Look at this angle here. It was a crazy fight. I thought Bucky had it here, but the shotgun out of, just ammo there gave Broken all the confidence there in the world. The victory royale for game number 420. Liam
Yeah.
Broken
That
will
was
be
a
going
good end
straight
game,
to
though.
the
I gotta
finals
say,
there,
that was
Zeke.
fun.
Bro, what was that end game? Dude, these games have gotten more and more chaotic as they've gone on. Obviously, we will talk about Bucky after the break, but we have to focus in on Broken 20 and Liam securing themselves a spot going to next week's finals. Oh my gosh. I feel like we can't give enough credit to the players like who kind of make it to like those last top two, right? Because you just have to be in like so much control, so much focus that you have to know kind of what's happening at every moment. Like obviously the game as a whole is chaotic, but when you come down to that last 1v1,
Yeah, it gets
man,
extra
you have to be
crazy.
zen and in the moment. And for them, Broken was right on the other side. Bucky not having the shotgun ammo or reloaded. Broken ready, right? It doesn't matter who's on the other side. I just need to hit this shot, and he does. And now their trio is going to the finals.
Especially when you go from a 2v1 against Bucky and one of your players goes down, you gotta think the 1v1, the final moment there, that's every opportunity for Bucky to take the win. But Broken, in that final positioning that we got to see in the 1v1, he knew where Bucky was aiming towards his opponent, so he actually rotates in front of him to drop down where Bucky isn't facing. It was such a smart play from Broken. And what's even more smart from them is that they were in 26th place before that game.
Wow.
And I think between the points that
They
you can earn
needed
in two
that. If they
games,
didn't
that's
win,
just
they
not
weren't
gonna be
qualling.
enough for consistency. So to
Dang,
take that victory
well
royale
played,
in one
well
of the
played.
last moments you can, Vivid, that's what stories are made of.
Yeah, I mean, gotta love the format, right? The underdog story right there.
Yeah,
coming
it's
in
definitely a
true.
cool format. I
20
like it.
PM and Broken, they did such a good job. It's not very often we actually see a team actually
least for trios,
contest
they should
high
definitely
ground,
keep this
They
into
did
the
that against
future, you know?
Booga, Threats, and they didn't end up getting the high ground, so they just full reset and opted, you know what, listen, if we can't get the high ground, we'll go to the complete opposite. We'll play the low ground for the rest of the game. Worked out very, very well from that trio. Great adaptation right there. We'll see them in finals.
Man, what a game. Of course, we'll break down that clutch from Bucky after this short break, so stay tuned. More to come.
Yep, last match. Let's get it, boys. I'm turning on that. I want to see if I did. There we go. Okay, yeah, if you guys are watching the Twitch stream right now, we have drops turned on. You see how it says thanks for watching Twitch? I have drops on my channel turned on. So by you guys watching my stream today, you guys, if you have your Fortnite account connected to your Twitch account, get a free cosmetic, or 2 free cosmetics technically for watching 2 hours. So I got the Ace Wild FNCS spray, which is a Twitch drop exclusive. I don't think it's ever coming to the M shop. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I've seen. And then I got the also free item of the FNCS Hunter back bling, which is kind of tough. I kind of like it. I don't know. I feel like these wings shouldn't move. It looks a bit awkward, but I like it though. It's clean. And the best part is it's free. It doesn't get better than that. Make sure you guys are playing Infinite Box Fights though. And if you guys want to follow me on Fortnite too, it's more HaloBT on Fortnite. We're at 23,000 followers. You can just hit this little magnifying glass up here. Type in more HaloBT, just like that. No spaces, no caps. Bang, bang, boom, pow. Right there. Favorite. Helps me out a ton. We're trying to hit 100K on Fortnite. Do we got a new item shop soon? Isn't there a new item shop in like 20 minutes? Something like that, right? Ending stream after NIF. Oh my god, I can't even read. I'm sorry, I'm getting really tired. Yeah, probably. Unless we get about 2K viewers between Twitch and YouTube, and then I'll do a 24-hour stream. But yeah, most likely I'm hopping off after this. I expect you to full box someone in reload. I will. When I play reload, that is. Chat, what do you guys think I should do for content for the rest of the season, by the way? I'm gonna mute this for a sec. Would you guys want to watch, like, for my Fortnite videos, would you guys rather me do more spectate videos and more, like, reload-related videos, like reload challenges and stuff in Unreal Rank and yada yada? Or would you prefer me playing more Battle Royale Unreal Rank? Because I have a lot of really cool Unreal Rank challenges I want to do, but I don't know if you guys would rather me do reload or would rather me do Battle Royale. Because I get very mixed opinions on it. I'm seeing a lot more reload. A lot more reload. Okay, okay. I think I'll occasionally do Battle Royale and like sprinkle it in. Just not to do too much, right? But yeah, I think I'll do majority like 90-10 for reload versus Battle Royale. Because reload, it's a lot easier for me to upload YouTube videos on it. The matches are very quick, so that means I spend less time recording, meaning I can get more done, right? So reload, I'll be able to upload way more, you know? Oh, gosh, did not mean to click that. Did not mean to click that. Bang.
To do, and I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing High Ground trade so many hands compared to what we saw from Group 1. Bucky, though, doing everything he can, almost getting the 1v2, but just a little bit distracted by Liam there, giving Broken the exact opportunity he needed to take Bucky down in those final moments. But Vivid, Bucky showed everyone that he's not done
I expect
yet.
you to hit Unreal and reload. I will, bro. Don't worry about it.
He is here to go for the grand finals.
It's a reload, brother.
I mean, you gotta love it about Bucky, right? I mean, it's also with their trio in general throughout the day. They've just gotten
not
better
a problem.
With every single
not a
game,
problem at
right?
all.
I mean, they've gone from 22nd to 9th to 3rd to 2nd, right? And it's like after those first 2 games, we were like, oh man, like Bucky, Okus, damn, they're not really doing too hot. But then we have games like the last 2, right? And they're just doing so well. And I love how Kelly mentioned that at the end there, Bucky almost picked up that 1v2. It was just like 5 seconds before that in that highlights. He did hit a 1v2, right? So it's like that would have been the second one of the game. But I actually love how they played that, right? At one point, they were on 2nd height, and it was like...
Doing ranked reload tonight? No.
They just see the med miss.
Chat, I've been live for 8 hours, bro. I'm tired, man. I'm like, you guys think I'm a robot, man. I'm exhausted.
No idea, but they can literally see it. They start to apply pressure.
I can't do an 8-hour plus...
Which was ultimately the fault for their trio.
Unreal rank. I'm unranked right now, guys. I have no rank. Look.
Yeah, man. And you saw it there in the
that's my
clip.
hack.
So
Sorry
he
about
goes
that.
for like the
joke, by the way.
pickaxe because he goes to shoot, and then he
is it?
swaps
Where
the
is it?
pickaxe,
Where
right?
is it?
Why wouldn't you
I'm
just
unranked.
shoot? It's because
I'm not going from unranked to Unreal right now after being live for 8 hours, bro. I'm not doing that today, guys.
I mean, he was.
I'll do it later in the week. I was gonna do it today, but I didn't realize FNCS was going on.
It is
so.
sometimes how it goes, right?
I changed my plan for today
had an
from
alarming amount
doing
of
reload grind to
zones. Sorry about that,
spectating
guys. When I
FNCS.
typed in the code for today where the zones would be, I missed one button there, so I went ahead and changed it. So we shouldn't have a mountain zone. Beep boop beep beep should
Tomorrow,
be good now,
maybe
I
tomorrow.
think. Man,
there
you
is
gotta
FNCS
call
tomorrow.
out
I
Booga,
could
Rapid,
do
and
it
Threats there
while
as well. I
FNCS
love,
is going on.
dude, that got me.
I don't know.
I'm
It's
not
up to you
gonna lie,
guys.
just-
Would you guys
and
rather
shout out
me
to
do
observers
that
when we get that wide
than
shot of
watch
like
FNCS?
you look up to the top left and you're like, what's going on there? Like, why'd they stop?
Because
moving?
Mr. Savage is
and then we cut to their
playing
perspective and they're
EU
sliding down the
tomorrow
mountain.
morning, I think, and then
with no
NA, I
mats,
don't
and
even
it's
know
like,
who's
oh,
playing,
okay,
bro.
I see.
I think
Like,
everyone's already
they just
qualified for
kinda-
NA.
They made the play, right?
Like,
They
big
did
names at
what
least.
they could with what they had.
So, I
Yeah,
don't know.
this
I
isn't
guess
the
it
first time
depends.
we've seen.
If I wake
Booga
up tomorrow and
lose
I'm
height
feeling
and actually
super
be able to
Fortnite-y,
kind of
I'm
handle
down.
the situation well.
But
Obviously,
I gotta
though,
have
like you
mad
said,
stream
that
play,
zone,
dude.
There's just only so much
I'm
that
gonna
you
put
can
on
do.
like a 2-minute
But
stream
that
today, something
actually, I think part of the
stupid.
reason
Once
why
I
they
get to
were
like
low on
platinum
mats is
rank.
because 20 tried to steal height away from them in an earlier zone. And
What,
they were
you're
able
unranked?
to
Yeah, I haven't
actually
played
kind of
any
stop 20
Fortnite recently,
and be able
guys.
to regain height once again. But you know,
Haven't
once you
played
do
any
enter those
reload.
engagements in the high ground, your mats just disappear. And so you got to kind of think, are we just going to stick to high ground and hope that the like zone pulls back over our build, or is this when we drop to low and mid ground? But dropping on the leaderboard here, just one single space. Rapid, Booga, and Threats now currently sitting in 6th place. And my goodness, Vivid in 1st place. Well, it's none other than Bucky, Okus, and Cam.
Yeah, I mean, incredible
Wow.
for them to kind of find themselves towards
Some
the top.
cooking
of the leaderboard,
today.
kind of bringing themselves
Dang.
back to like the
They're doing
Booga, Threats
fantastic.
and Rapid conversation. Though, you know, most consistent when we talk about a trio is usually the one that we see towards the top of the consistency leaderboard. But if you actually take a look at the games that Booga, Threats, and Rapid have had, they've been like the most consistent, right? They've been top 6 every single game. They kind of have low eliminations between 2 and 5 every single game, which is why, you know, we typically see them not actually be able to find themselves in winning positions because they're so low on eliminations. But all their games are very, very similar. So I'm actually going to coin them as like the most consistent trio right now.
I like it.
Okay, I vibe with it. I vibe. Guys, this is it. Last game of the day. One final opportunity to either get a victory royale or to end in the top 5 in consistency. For the last time, just today.
All right, chat, who's ready?
Varsity Phase, Jacob PR.
Last match, boys. Last match of the night.
Who would have thought it all comes down to this moment right here? Monster,
Got
by
some cooking
no
to do,
means
right?
are any FNCS is over after today, but it will get exponentially harder having to go through that last chance qualifier.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And you know what? If you're about that 191 point threshold for Clix, they still have to earn a little bit more to feel super confident about being qualified. But from there up, the OGs, the veterans, right? They just about have done it. So here we have it. Game number 5. Let's go. All right, Jacob. This is
Let's
the
get it,
last
boys.
time we're jumping on the battle
Last match of the
bus for
night.
this Saturday.
Let's make it a good one,
here,
right?
And we gotta say,
Get
this
some
has not disappointed Group 2. We
cooking.
knew it was gonna be the most stacked coming into it, and I gotta ask you, just give me the real answer. Has it exceeded your expectations or what?
I think these groups in
Come watch
general
this at
from
3 a.m.
last
Oh my
week to
gosh,
this
man.
week
You gotta go to bed soon. That's
surpassed it
crazy.
by a long shot. When you
3 a.m.
typically
watching
think
Fortnite?
some of these
Oh
tier
my.
1 names, the superstars that you've
Bro's
seen
full
every
locked in.
single season are not winning games.
Dude,
and
I
they're
haven't
having
been able to
fight
stay up past,
and really
like, 1
claw
a.m.
their
in
way up
such
the
a long
leaderboard
time.
in order to qualify.
I
and
am
that just screams excitement. That
out.
just goes to show
The second
how
1 a.m.
difficult,
rolled
how
around, bro. I
challenging
can't
some
get
of these
past it.
newcomers are actually becoming in the state of Fortnite competitive.
Yeah, I think, you know, even looking at the teams that have pulled some victories, right? The only one up there that, to me, was no surprise was Muzz's trio, Japco and Rise, and everyone else really has have to fight for it. It's been neck and neck
24-hour stream, nah.
contended battles in the end.
Not
and
today, guys.
Really, the low ground teams just finding opportunities. So at every layer, it's been extremely, extremely interesting. But take a look at this. Jake, Ood, and Dogo contesting the Lone Wolf layer. So this is new for Clix, Higgs, and Yamzo. They have typically
Wait a
had this
minute.
drop completely to themselves before rotating out to the Magic Mosses or otherwise. But
Hold on.
already seem to be strapped in and
What's
ready
going
for
on
action
here?
If they get this elimination here, these 3 elims, I think that'll be all they need to be qualified through. So we'll see.
Yeah, this is a real interesting decision from
Yeah, why are they
Jake
landing on Clix?
and their trio, because like you said, they're
Yo,
essentially
Sports
all
with
but qualified. On the other side, you
$2.
have
Thank you so much,
9
Sports.
points.
Appreciate you, man.
need the
Please stream reload tomorrow. I really want you to. Thank you, man.
In order to keep
I'll
your
see what I can do.
FNCS journey alive in
I'll
terms
see
of
what's going on, see the
directly to the
vibes,
finals.
all that good
So just
stuff,
a
and
very
then if I got some
interesting
free
decision. On
time
the other
for
side,
it,
Clix,
I'm down.
Higgs, and Yamzo throughout the course of the day,
Thanks so much, Sports.
early
Louis
game,
Sports.
you know it's been Storm Surge or lack thereof that has been one of their problems. Now you give them contested out of the gates. If they win this fight, free and early Storm Surge, this will be a huge confidence boost if they can win, for either team for that matter.
See what Jake's got. He's
it's
looking
a
for
bit
an
weird
angle
that
to
the
get
dead
working right
last team
outside.
is
Clix
keying
takes
Clix.
Beyonce, though, making sure they maintain the vault here first.
That's
going to be the
bit
huge
strange,
reward,
don't you
but
guys think?
This team slowly working their way down. They're a bit split up. Dogo sitting on top of Clix. Higgs and Yamzo here. They might be looking for the double edit, but he's just throwing those thermites down, right? Looking for the explosion, looking to really cost them their mats here, which I gotta say is a great strategy right now, because you know they don't have much down here. Jake playing the outskirts. Oh no, he's got the big
God.
explosions coming in now. And
That
this is one
thing's
of the most
annoying, man.
destructive weapons in the game right now. Cooldown resets pretty fast here.
It just burns through your mats. If you're off spawn, it cooks you.
Ammo. He can just continue
Yeah.
to just charge it, break a lot of these covers. And you saw moments ago, they did not have a lot of material overall. They immediately got pushed down low in toward their vault. There's not a lot of farm to fight
this
there.
is
So they
weird.
can continue.
This
right
is
now for Jake
really
and his
weird.
trio to put this pressure on from above and not get too antsy to get eliminations or damage. This might actually
They're
work
out of
out for them,
mats.
because you see Clix final build already down.
They gotta
now.
get the
Yes,
mats in
the
this
vault has opened up,
vault
but
here.
there's still
They're not gonna have
very
much. They're gonna have like
little
maybe
materials overall if this breaks down to the
120
whole
builds
fight.
between all of them.
Well, we know they have the weapons to work with, though, so let's see how this is going to
Dude.
end up playing out. Splashes come
This
through,
is
so they're
very
healthy.
strange, chat.
They're ready to farm it, but Jake is just putting in this pressure here.
They have two. They have two. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I almost feel like Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs are crossing their fingers, hoping for a third party to come in, distract this team. So
Nah,
they can try
they're not
to
gonna
make
get
their
third
way
partied
out.
over here.
There's two different lasers just
What
beaming
is
into the
this,
box
man?
with little builds they have left going out the window. But that's the second time at least Higgs is finding little angles here to fight back, deal some damage, and kind of whittle down their resources on the other side.
If Hugh's
Are
the
they
only one on this
dipping, or are they
trio
gonna
right here
keep
that
fighting
actually
this?
has mats. He was the one that was busy playing high ground. They leave one behind. They got to make a move now while they have a chance. If they notice,
Oh, they're trying to keep the
this
other
team let up
team
the
off.
pressure a
These guys are
bit.
trying to third party.
and luckily it's because Aaron
I
and
see.
Nut
Okay.
have seen what is unfolding here, and they're already rotating in. So this is going to give Clix's trio the opportunity to sneak away, and
They're
it
not
seems
qualms,
like
so they're just griefing.
they're finally out of the
Yeah, but I
vault
wonder
now.
if there's something more malicious going on.
And there they go, the full disengage from the other side. So, hey, I think they got to count their lucky stars here, because this could have ended really badly. And like we said, of all
now
the
they're
three
dipping.
teams that are up at the top from 7th, 6th, and 5th place
Weird.
spots respectively right now, they're the lowest, and they're the ones that are questionably on
Weird.
that borderline for
They
how
just
many
sat
points you
there
would
and
likely
spammed
need at the
Clix
end
for
of
like
this game to
5
be
minutes.
fully qualified, right?
And then decided, nah, I don't feel like it
very,
anymore,
very-
and just dipped.
Overall, just good choice, but I even like it better than disengage. The longer a fight like that goes on,
What
we both
a
know, we saw it
weird,
last week,
like,
where a third party
don't
starts
even know
to
what
come in
that
and makes
was.
it harder and harder for anybody to try to survive a position like that. Back on over to Crime City, where we've seen Vortec, Nerdface, and Bacon, at least in the feed, solidify the eliminations to win Crime City for themselves. Maybe a little bit of a slower start than they wanted, but now they get the vault, and they can make their way towards the black market. Just have to be very, very conscientious and aware of the potential of how many other teams are either in Crime City getting the scraps like we see one is, or overall at the black market just trying to take as much loot that they can for themselves.
Well, they did finish the team fight there too, so that's the first time
Love
they
watching
get the
this. Thank you,
instant
Jaden.
elims at the
Appreciate you,
Crime
man.
City, so much better position for them to be in coming into this
Think
last
Mama
game.
HaloBT would win
Sales
Grand's
and
vouch.
Sonetto, though, 160 points
Vouch.
here, holding on to the dream right now for another finals appearance. And look at their strategy right now. Completely spread out across the Foxy Floodgate, taking full control of this area. They have the high ground mountain as well for just downloading all the information here.
It's almost like a stressful situation when you are the line. In terms of the top 5 in consistency, you said 160. They are that team in 5th place. Do you think that adds a little bit of nerves, or do you think it kind of builds a little bit of confidence? As long as we continue to play how we're playing, we should be okay.
Yeah, I definitely am in the camp that if you are about to qualify through consistency, you have more nerves. You have more nerves than any other game.
I'd agree. Definitely
but I
more
could
nerves.
be wrong. I mean, Fuse, Tick, Vibes are definitely in the same situation here with Maniac there, but
Bro's wearing the bush cam dad skin.
Vibes are pushing for the fight right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, another team's coming into this. This is not looking good for Maniac.
It's weird to see someone sweating with the skin on.
Ooh, just so
Hey, what's up,
happens
Chaz?
that Maniac's team is not the
that the
one
real Booga?
targeted,
Yes.
and Vibes team is instead, and now they're forced into the sandwich here. They're the team in the middle somehow. And sometimes, you know, there is a little bit of luck factor involved in this game. And if you're the Tick, Fuse, and Maniac, you're happy you get bailed out of there. They were lower on material. They were almost, again, arguably losing that exchange, and now they get to slide on out of there.
Yeah, and they're one position above Blake on that leaderboard. So they're inside of the bubble. Anybody going down here, especially if you're in contention of getting one of those consistency spots, you're gonna feel the pain. Rightfully so, because of how close you actually are. 3 teams still in this position. 2 more just towards the north. 4 overall into 2 separate battles here. Everybody just trying to spray into the box.
What about you, Commander?
Recore, Taram, and Ariel, aka that is Dorito, like you kind of mentioned earlier on. They were able to get into the black market
How many's qual?
from Magic Mosses and get that
I think like
mythic collateral
200.
AR.
Look at this.
Oh, that right?
Forced into the
Someone
buildings here. This is all just starting to go downhill for them now. Ariel, Recore, thinking about moving out of here. They're at 90 points, so they've managed to have their moments, but not quite enough to be up inside the consistency range, so they'll likely need a Victor Royale as well. Jumping back to Clix, Higgs, Yamzo here. They're not forgetting what team was costing them their early game situation. They're getting right back into it. This time now with a lot more arsenal to work with. Clix playing the outskirts, allowing Yamzo and Higgs to be the front man.
Wait, these guys are still fighting them.
Yamzo calling for the disengage, though. They're content with the tags.
Interesting.
And look, they still have a long way to go right before they get all their material counts situated here. So not quite out of the woods just yet for their mid games.
Okay.
Yeah, almost seemed they can kind of just go back towards that black market. They do have some extra gold, a surplus, so they're able to kind of utilize a lot of the resources down there before they make their rotation out. Noxie, Virgo, Mason, 158 points in terms of consistency. They would be 6th place on that leaderboard, and they started only 2 points down. Monster, that is one elimination that really could make the difference at the end of the day from going through last chance qualifier or going to the
scare games later in the week, guys.
finals. So it's really almost got me at the edge of my seat, nervous for a lot of these competitors today.
Oh, Yamzo gets
That's
the
funny.
null damage, by the way. I was wondering, I'm like, what are we watching? Clearly he's not hitting the
man.
shot, but little fall damage here just to round that story out. And looking at the feed, Higgs gets the follow-up. So we'll jump back in the second first of Mini Beans, Rivet, and regular BRD right now.
You live
Have
tomorrow?
to
Yeah.
win this fight here.
It's Jez, Jerem, Ayo, and Liam on
Dude,
the
I
other
love watching
side.
these box fights, man.
Even though it's 2 teams here, 1 team towards the
I don't know.
right. Just
Personally,
on
I
the
find
outside.
box
That's
fights
one
a good amount
third
more
party.
interesting
and right
than
to
build
their
fights.
left as well from the west, coming in from the
I
north.
feel like there's a lot
That's
more skill with
fourth
box fighting.
Potential third-party team, and I don't think
watch
anybody here
West
has
now.
a line of sight on those third-party
Bro, West goes until like
potential crashes coming in.
what, 11 p.m.? Ain't no way, bro. I've already watched 2 regions today. I'm not
necessarily
nah.
trying to advance
I'm not
forward
doing
for
West.
no reason, even though one does take
It's too
some
late,
damage.
man.
He's
If
gonna
West
have
was
to count
earlier,
back.
sure.
Let his team pressure outward, so that way he could try to get those
Can you do
shields
a day
back
in the
up
life
and
of
become healthy
Fortnite,
once
bro?
more.
That's a video.
That's just Doritos team coming from the outskirts, just listening, just watching.
You guys
Don't
really
wanna
want?
dive
Yeah, I mean,
in 'cause
I could bring back
you
another
have
day in
that
the
high
life,
ground
but
trio.
I don't really have a whole lot
Letting
going
this
on
fight
right
kinda
now other
take
than
its
doing like
course.
secret business stuff, stream
Beans
stuff,
jumps in, finally
video,
now looking
YouTube
for the
consecration
closure.
stuff,
Nicely timed there onto
and
KD
IRL.
first. Now Liam tries to come to the rescue, puts
moving
a
and
great
stuff.
tag down, but
A lot of
at the
stuff.
end of the day, it's 3 shots.
But I don't have
3
anything like
guns, 3
particularly
barrels versus
interesting
just yours.
content-wise going on in my
They have the numbers
IRL life right
advantage,
now.
and it comes through. And Doritos team dives on the team in the tower. They're like, oh, you don't want to jump on them? We're going to jump on you. And that might be a fight.
Did you get anything cool for your birthday? My birthday in October?
The northern zone there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Maniac.
But that was in October,
Again,
brother. Why
on the
are we bringing
bubble.
that up right now?
In the qualification
It's
range
been a
right now,
minute.
Jacob. They're holding on here. But they're playing
Scary games
way
tonight, not
more
tonight, guys.
passively
Later in the
than
week.
any other round
tired,
we've
bro.
seen them before, playing these dead rotates now. This is also the first we've seen an Eastern
My
pool
throat
like
hurts
this.
so much from yelling yesterday
So this
and
is what,
streaming
you know,
all day today
I
and yelling
think
and
is
talking.
telling, right? We asked that
Like,
question.
my throat's
when
starting to feel
you are
raw,
about
bro.
to
Like, I
qualify,
gotta-
does it
I
make
gotta
you
chill,
nervous?
guys.
Do you do new
I'm tired, bro.
things? They look to be doing new stuff
So-
right now.
Yeah. I was kind of agreeing that. I
Yeah.
knew
Later
exactly
in the
where
week,
you're
we'll do
going, where
scary games.
typically a team like that would kind of crash a fight, get their surge that way. They realize how close they actually are. And if you look at some of their games, 8th, 6th, 2nd, they only had one bad game where it's 22nd with one elim. So they realize as long as they can kind of take little notes, those recipes from
House
the
tour
first
for
three
vid?
earlier
No.
games,
No,
get
no.
towards the end
Yeah,
game,
I'm
the
never
rest
gonna do
should
house
be a
tour,
little
I'm
bit
sorry.
easier. Not everybody having that luxury though, as you see them.
I'll do a
still kind
setup
of
tour
bunker down
eventually,
in
but
this
no house
position.
tour.
The two victors, essentially, of the previous fights that we were watching, still within one box away from another, just outside of the zone. So they're kind of just waiting. You rotate. You rotate. That's one of the things is you're gonna have to rotate first if you're one of these teams, and you just got to be very, very careful not to take too much free damage when you do finally make that rotation.
There's a team not giving up any free damage. Cam, Ocus, Bucky, 219 points. They've made it. We'll be seeing them in the finals,
Or just
undoubtedly.
bump the wall.
What is this? What is
This
this
is a shrine.
gross angle they're playing right now?
Yeah, I don't know what they're
catch someone
doing, man.
off
This is
guard
so
right here.
awkward.
What they're
I
doing
mean,
right now is
clearly they're
hoping
first off of
somebody comes
consistency,
in
so
from
they
outside
got their
Storm
strats
with a
down, but
water
this
sprite
just
that has
feels
maybe
kind of
one or
weird.
two charges. They go to recharge it at the shrine, and that's what the angle Bucky was looking for. Not really seeing anybody rotate in that direction. They're just going to quickly reposition. They don't want to be hunkered down too far deep, especially since they look over towards Mass Meadows. They hear and see multiple teams towards the backside of zone, and to them, they just smell opportunities at Surge.
A lot of teams situated. And backward Nerf faces trio. Force the med miss. Deep in a storm right now. This is going to attract a lot of attention. They've already garnered, it seems. But the surge is active. One team's going to fall to the west there. To it. And you don't have to worry about that. They're 3 elims above. Looking just fine. Taking a nice little rotate here underneath the lip of this low ground. Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs. Getting into the fight. This is up against a Mini and Rivet, so they try to come play for what seemed to be a reboot, but Yamzo caught out of position, put down. Clix has to play rescue now. Mini Beans thinking about coming back for the Siphon. Splash has come down to keep
This is
Yamzo
awkward.
capped off here.
Uh-oh. That third
They
party,
just keep
Dorito and
getting
his
griefed,
trio
bro.
again. Hearing the noise outside of zone,
they're
they're
coming
coming
in.
to crash it. Clix looking to get aggressive. While they have a little bit of an advantage since they did get Yamzo up. Amendment smoke going down. Clix is going to try to
I just
utilize
heard a
that.
crazy
Mini Beans
car.
on the other side as a couple of shots are going to land.
Oh my
No
gosh,
knock
bro.
just yet. Just the shield going outside of the window. Clix
I have no idea what that was, but
so the
someone just
damage isn't what he
gassed it.
wants it to be, but he finds another mistake and takes advantage, getting that elimination in that
I saw him
fight.
far away,
and now
too.
they see Rivet by himself, a solo, and they're going to pressure all 3 together, take them down, and put that team right back to the lobby.
I was going to say, if nothing else, at least this is good that they're earning points right now because the chug splashes are starting to come through. The gold splash effect is on Dorito, Aereo, and T-Rom right now. We're
Yeah,
now
that
looking
exotic
to
AR
press
is
the issue, but there's
crazy, bro.
another trio as well.
Chat, where do you
here.
get that exotic
It's
AR
not
at?
looking
Does anyone
good
know?
for Clix, Higgs, and Yamzo here who
I've
have
barely played any
all of
Fortnite this season. I have no idea.
attention attracted
It's
out of
the
nowhere.
exotic
And
accelerant,
yes, they may have found the
right?
extra mats here,
Accelerant
but
Hollow
it's
Twister
all
AR.
going
Where's that
straight
spawn?
to defensive use
How do you
here to
get
try
it?
to stay in the game.
Is it gold?
Vibes
Is it
and
dill
Lush
bits? Is it secret
Zesty
vault?
here
Is it black market? Is
Actually, are
it
pretty desperate right now, forced to
Misty
take tags.
Mosses?
So
Really?
a little bit of a saving opportunity here, starting to line up for them.
Is it actually over there? I feel like it's kind of a random
like,
spot
they
to put it
didn't
at.
think
So you gotta get a dill bit and you gotta do the black market near Mosses.
Kind of pulling further and further towards
Okay.
the south. Yamzo, Higgs, Clix, took that fight rather
Is
quick
it
enough,
in the
allowed
black
them to kind of
market
disengage
nearby,
for
or is
free.
it in the actual
Go ahead
POI?
all the way towards that eastern
'Cause isn't there
side,
like a
try to make
bunker
that
or
slow
something down
rotation
there?
Over Booga, rapid threat, staying in Seaport City. Since it moved over in their direction, they've been able to utilize that, take shots at every single team, almost every single team in the lobby to get 1,300 damage above the threshold. You see they're leading every team with over 11,000
Dude,
damage
they're just
in this
getting
game.
griefed right
They
now.
just
man.
can't seem to get a break right now. Clix,
Yeah, it's just
Yonzo,
it's
Higgs,
team after
really
team
struggling
after
to get
team after team.
get ahead.
I'm surprised none of them have gotten
setback
knocked yet.
after setback right now. Clix
I mean, they're
is
doing
the
a great
last
job
in line
despite
there.
the unfortunate
Yonzo just
circumstances.
squeezing away. Clix jumps down under that bridge there. Don't go up. Don't do that.
Yeah, do not go up.
Stay low. There it is. Gets the Yamzo's builds. Rapid
Black
threat to
market
Booga.
under the bunker.
I
Okay,
was
good
gonna say,
enough.
was
Thank you,
Booga
chat.
actually hit firing, by the way, 4 surge tags there? He sure was.
Oh,
Kind of
Clix
crazy.
goes down. Oh, they might key that.
Clix goes down. That means Threats
Now
knows.
they know they got the
Threats
knock.
knows. He saw the knock. It's just, do they stay? Do they
Oh
worry about it?
man, this is terrible.
With how weak they actually
This
are
is
down below, but they have a
terrible,
lot
bro.
of
What am I
extra heals up
watching?
above. Remember, they have the vault. They had access. They can buy more out of these machines. That
Oh, good thing
Yamzo
they
sees
have
at least
meds.
one med kit left behind. Almost nothing for Higgs, and almost makes you think there's not enough gold for the patch up either. So he's really going to be relying on whatever Yamzo has on
Clix
his
is gonna
inventory,
full bleed
whatever they
out.
find along the way.
Oh man.
Oh, they just left Clix. They couldn't pick him up. It wasn't worth sitting around. They got to worry about moving to the new storm line. And look, hey, like I said, those 3 eliminations, extremely important. It puts them at 200 points now, right? They could have been at 191, which would have surely raised some concerns, but 200 feels a little bit better. Shots come in on the distance.
Yikes.
And that's from Threats there.
It's not great.
Higgs now forced to fight back here.
I don't think Higgs
This
is
could
gonna
be
be
a
able to
great
clutch.
opportunity for him to find
He
something.
doesn't have the loot
He's
to
gotta
clutch
go
with,
all
you
in
know?
on this Frenzy fight here. Frenzy knows it too. Great edit. It's his as well. He's waiting for it.
Nice.
Oh no, pressure's on, and he does find the
Another
tag
point
there.
though. Come on.
Nice. So many mats picked up there. Puts him at 99. Siphon's
Alright,
gonna
way
keep him alive
better
and
loot.
healthy for now as well. This is a great opportunity for the Xset Higgs right now. Again, making his debut on this stage here. We'll see what he can do. The opportunity, the chance is his now for Threats. Rapid and Booga, they've all but solidified their position. This is the most elims we've seen from them, Jacob, in an early game like this. So already confidence going up for this trio here.
Yeah, just game after game. Exactly what you're seeing here. Them holding themselves back into the zone. And now they can easily rotate straight to the east to where the zone is kind of covered up over towards the Kappa factory, make their way in, really all dependent on the heals that they do have left, but already you're seeing that's going to be the strategy as they start to make their way on over. A lot
Chat,
of
what do we think
teams
is
that are
happening in this game? Who's
dispersed
winning?
Take a control
Who you
of
guys
the
got
rest
winning,
of
bro?
that zone towards the outside, so timing for them is of the essence if they really want to capture that position overall. Bucky,
Higgs died, did he?
Focus, Cam, same thing for
Aw,
them, but their
man.
journey is not as far.
Yeah, so they got
almost
no
not as
placement
risky
points,
with them
bro.
not taking damage from the zone.
I'm
if they're
also
gonna have
still
enough.
looking at that map. I see one solo lurking.
They should be
laid on the
comfy.
back. Could be Higgs there.
Because they're at like what,
There's
205?
Okis,
They should be comfy
the
unless
king with the drum
other people
gun
in like the
here
top
in the group
15
stage.
really pop off.
So far, really putting up a great performance all in all. They got a short way to the
Chat,
new
does anyone know where you get the
new
mythic
storm
drum
there. It's
gun
gonna be
at?
nice and easy for them, up and over.
I have no idea where that's at either,
Using
bro.
those kneecappers.
So the Accelerant
Looking
AR,
at things from the sky here.
the
Nerdbase
exotic
is one
one,
of the few
is
teams
at
in a
Magic
prime
Mosses,
position right now.
and then the
Maniac
mythic drum
gets
gun
confused.
is probably a Dilbit, right? And where
They
is
can
that
just
at?
sense grand finals, just a arm's reach away, but they gotta make this top 10.
Meadows?
Oh, look at the lurk.
You sure? Oh, it's probably the
Booga threats
black
Rapid, even
market
saw that. We know on
above
the other side of the map,
Meadows,
you know
right?
they're lurking nearby, but you see the western side of the zone overall. You have them dead
That
center,
makes sense.
Maniac Fuse, and the Tick right in the middle. Every single other team is stacked on the western part of the zone, and they're
This is
feeling it
awkward.
because now Threats is the pressured underneath.
dead.
15 HP, gets
Nah,
peeked
shooting
at
that
by
wall
none,
there was not the
taken
play.
down.
GG.
Booga and Rapid now stuck as a duo.
Yeah,
You can
okay,
see,
it-
even though
it
they might
is
have
that
some
black market.
materials,
Okay, good
the
enough. Thank you,
lack of
Jeff.
heals, the lack of resources.
I'm getting the
is
meta
the
down,
most
you know,
alarming
we're
part of
learning
this
it.
situation as Rapid finds elimination on the Byla, at least giving him some materials. He's almost maxed out, and it may be bandages, but at least it's something for them to work with, Monster.
This is bad. They go blow for blow, and then the zone pulls far south. Like, this is perfect for Maniac and Fuse's team, who had the opportunity to watch that go down and then get a relatively free pass for the rotate there. Noxy, though, what happened here? Their tournament run is on the line now. Virgo and Mason are down. It's up to Noxy to try to clutch this one out solo.
If Noxy doesn't win this game, he just needs to pick up as many solo points as possible and hope and pray any of those teams above him on the leaderboard that are in the bubble win the game, because that would open up a spot at the bottom of the leaderboard, and they are that spot. So there's a lot of pressure on Noxy to try to make something happen. Luckily for him, 672 above the damage threshold. For him, it's going to be a monumental focus on getting from point A to point B, not taking too many risk and challenges, and just survive.
Doing scary games today?
Not today, guys. Still alive on the outskirts here. Just
later this week.
Riding their way through ever so slightly. High Ground has a whole new trio up top. It's Nerdface's team trying to go back for back. They had a chance to win the game before. They're looking to see if they can do it again. The Tick, Fuse, and Maniac, though, are in position right now to go to finals if they can just weather this storm in this zone. It doesn't get more dangerous than this. Half of it's in the water. It's going to force artificial congestion here on the landmass, where, you know, usually you'd have a little bit of a spread going here, but forget that. Meanwhile, on height, a much different situation happening here. This time they have mats to work with. Nerdface's team is feeling pretty good about this one.
And for a second, you thought no hills, no mountains in the zone. Fortnite said, but wait, we got one more, as it goes back on over to the north toward the Kappa factories. Not as drastic as some of the other games, but it's definitely going to play an impact. As High Ground right now is still dominated by Vortex, Bacon, and Nerdface. They have not looked back at that opportunity, but down below, Break Sales, Sinetto, 9 below the damage threshold. It's not alarming right now, but sooner or later, they're going to have to figure out where they're going to get that damage. And right now, it does look like Noxy's the target. We know he's a solo. He's getting some placement points, but it's not enough yet.
Yeah, Noxy's doing a great job, bro.
Noxy's still holding on
He's
here.
cooking.
167. Still making a
He might get to like
run for it,
170,
and he's above
180.
the threshold somehow. So Sinetto, Blake, and Sales arguably have more of a difficult situation ahead of them, but they're working through the low ground. Noxy just watching what's happening. Sinetto looking for a chance, looking for an opportunity. They're going to break through this wall here. It's Fuse in front of them. This is everything. This is both their tournament opportunities on the line right now. They choose to dive on Maniac's team, and Maniac, recognizing the danger behind them, recognizing danger in front of them, they have to make a decision here and choose a battle as well.
It's basically 3-4 bubble teams all clashing right here, right now. Bucky's gonna get the knock on the one. Oh, his spot all but secured, 240 points, and he is just crushing hopes, crushing dreams on his way to the finish line. 714 damage for them. Not a singular worry in the world as they make it forward in towards zone. They're not there just yet, but they're just staggering themselves to try to catch anybody off guard. Everybody else is trying to make their way in.
Wait, they're trying to grief-fight a little bit.
But he has to try to make his way out. It's only so long he can stay in this situation.
I don't think anyone's going for a play for it yet.
As he gets the down, Siphon comes in. Noxy, it's still alive.
Oh, Noxy's popping off right now, man.
He's trying to heal his way through this one. I can't believe Noxy is still holding on.
Bro's locked in.
Teams in the game.
He was like, wait a second, my team's dead. Let me actually try now.
He really desperately wants it. Sales somehow loses his teammates, and where he had the lead just moments ago, now finds himself down and out. That means Noxy has out-survived him as well. What is going on right now?
Everyone's going for height too.
On the line here.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Breaking out. Look at their point threshold too. No one is safe just yet for consistency here. Big tags coming out here.
Baseball bat's tough, bro.
Players fighting on both sides.
Frogs is down.
Oh no! High ground is starting to go down.
My God!
Bro got him with the baseball bat.
That's a home run!
That is a home run. Oh my gosh.
They're on the bubble and they're trying to burst their way in, and it's all up to
What am I watching right now, bro? Baseball bat simulator.
Points, no builds left. A top 10 performance. Another team is going to go down, making his way into the top 9. Booga's going to take down Cam. Hound is going to fall. Maniac and Fuse are the duo on the low ground, trying to keep their dreams alive for this FNCS.
Well, I'm just watching what's going on for Maniac's team down here in the low ground. They're down to just 2 players, 207 points earned, a refresh in front of them, an opportunity awaits. Meanwhile, Malji and Gavin are just listening to this all go down. Take a look at this, though. Big eliminations happening here for Nerdface's trio. They're still in the
Dude, I don't know
running.
who's gonna win this.
Keeping him alive. He doesn't
This is
know
really
which way to
anyone's
go up
game
or
right now.
down. Players in his box. He's gonna fall. And now,
Oh my gosh.
down to the ultimate low. Knee capper sending Maniac flying in.
Baseball bats,
and he's
bro.
still fighting for
Holy
it.
cow.
The bat is coming out. And Zip
Oh
is
my
here to earn
gosh.
these points. They are
Does
at
Zip's team
11
win?
eliminations. What is
No, you gotta go
happening
too much.
here?
All duos left alive that I spoke to.
I don't even know who got this. Like, everyone's one person.
1v2 situation. He has the mythic pump, 80 HP, and time to
1v2
pop
here.
these minutes. But down below, Gavin, he has
Oh,
the
man.
huge win condition, the med kit, the med miss smoke.
I think
He
the
needs to be
solo
able to
wins
play
this. I know
right,
that's
but
kinda
Sandman
crazy
on the
to
high
guess,
ground,
but
full control
bro got a
over the
mythic
game.
pump,
He
more
knows that
mats,
duo
and the
down
other
below
kid
is
is
gonna have
one
to
shot
make
down
their
there. If
way
he gets
up the
siphoned,
mountain,
he
and that
wins.
is the
Yeah.
moment he's trying to strike.
Yeah, you just
First
wait,
down's
just
gonna
sit
go
in storm.
through. Maji lost it
Sit
all,
in storm,
but
do
Gavin,
nothing.
with all the HP
Do
in the
nothing.
world, it's gonna
Do
come
nothing.
down
No,
to
no, no, don't
Sandman.
key him. Do
Can
nothing.
he make the play? Can he stop the heal off? He goes in, tries to slide in.
Oh
gets
my
another
gosh, you made me
shot,
too
and
nervous there.
does it.
Holy
He
cow,
clutches
okay.
up, stops the heal off, and makes
Wow.
his way to the finals.
What a game, man. Well
Talk
played,
about
bro.
putting it
Well
all
played.
on the table there and fighting for it.
That
when
was
it
just
matters
straight
the
chaos
most.
there. Like,
And
everyone
he
was just
made the
desperately
right
trying to cling to that win there.
decision. One could argue that that was so risky, but in the end,
Yeah.
he hits the
Hey, risky
tags.
business, but paid,
That
though, right?
matters. Game 5 was easily the most entertaining. Talk about a close run. 56 players had their first opportunity, their first chance to fight for a finals today, and a few made it through. Xanda, Evan, and Sandalit end up being one of those teams now. A
Yeah.
12 elimination
Well
game.
played, boys.
And
Well
then
played.
14-15 Elins to win that game there, Jacob. What a run for them that was.
What a run. Don't let those points down below confuse you. Just because they have over 1,000 doesn't show enough of what they went through in this game. They started in 21st place, Monster. 74
Yeah.
points. We were talking all day long. You don't want to
That's
be in
a
that
clutch.
win or you're in situation, but they were not only in that situation.
Clix quality, he
they
definitely did. He
destroyed.
was at over 200.
Congratulations to them, but that's going to do it for myself and Monster D.
Alright, W event though, man. I gotta say, that was actually fire, bro. But yeah, let me pull up the leaderboard for you guys real quick. Let's see what's going on the Fortnite tracker. Give me like 2 seconds. Let's also look at the item shop real quick. I think it's mainly the same stuff we just had. Anything new? Coachella, emotes, Adventure Time. Oh, we do have some new stuff. Okay. There we go. Gonna buy that real quick. You already know. It's kind of ugly. Never gonna wear them. Anything else? WWE stuff. Combat. Ice Spice. Lady Gaga. Sabrina. Alright, pretty good item shop. I got one new skin. Alright, chat. Let's see this leaderboard action, and then NA Central. All right, so these are all the players that qualified, guys. I'm just gonna slowly scroll down. But yeah, anyone with 1,000 points won a match, by the way. So if you won, you instantly qualified. But top 10 means they qualified. Oh my gosh, yo, Clix almost didn't qual, bro. Holy cow! If they didn't get those kills, they wouldn't have qualled grands. I didn't realize it was that close. I thought they were like chilling. No, they were. Wow. That last match where those kids just griefed. That actually would have got them out, bro, if they didn't get those kills. 5-point difference. Yeah, so anyone in the top 10 here qualified. So congrats to all these players. Well played, 100%. It was a good event. But I've been live for 9 hours, guys. I'm going to head out, bro. Love you guys so very much. W stream today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the live stream, okay? See you guys. W stream!